Welcome to another episode of the Adam and Wag Show. As you can see, we have assembled a star-studded panel, including two of my favorite hip-hop Caucasians, DJ Vlad and Trap Law Ross, as well as the biggest Pyru himself, Wag 100, obviously. And then behind us, we got Remo. Academics is on the way. Should be here in like 15, 20 minutes. I don't know where this conversation is going to go, but I guess at least to start, I want to just acknowledge to Whack that something happened right before this whole Fed case, which was Bricc Baby and Loose Cannon appearing on the No Jumper show together, which in and of itself would have been the news, the conversation of the week. Pales in comparison a little bit to the Fed case. But how are you feeling seeing Bricc and Loose come together like that, seemingly under the auspice of them both having their issues with you? Let's start there.
It was a little fake because what I'm used to hearing is something totally different with that. But, Adam, the day, a couple weeks ago, when I came in talking about Bricc got ambushed and Bricc called you and I got Loose on the phone. That day, when Bricc started saying, what? I had my kid. You had your kid too. And I'm like, what is he talking about? He like, yeah, I had my kid too, right? So I'm looking at the phone now. The story you gave me in 600 was totally different. That's the day. And I hope my phone comes on because I'll show you something. One thing I like to do is my thoughts, I'll go on my phone and leave notes. Because when you close it out, it times and dates it. So if I could show you a note that's showing you my thoughts after I see something, it lets you know where I was, right? So sitting back, just listening to it all and following it all, it was like, it been a game being played that didn't even have to be played. You know how, like, when you do shit for people, you do it because you want to do it. We all old enough and been in the game long enough to know, do what you want to do, because if it goes bad, know you can live with what you've done for that person, right? So seeing that, it was like, I don't have a problem with it, but it was like everything you heard a person say they was gonna do, and you seeing that and it's not happening, it's just like, it make you scratch your head and wonder what you're dealing with.
So basically what I'm taking from it, you think that Loose was kind of doing a play that was rooted in his true feelings. Like, you felt like he actually was ready to break away from you after all this time that you guys have been super locked in, and he chose to do it by, I mean,
creating a fake beef.
So
you heard it when I called in.
Right.
I don't know what was said prior. Once I called in and started addressing what the issue was, you seen that, hold on, what y'all talked about this, that wasn't there. That wasn't, everything he said was there, it didn't exist, right? So it's like, and it's a little deeper because it's like other things was going on that I had caught on that really wasn't real, right? So I woke up to that.
Because it did seem like if Loose's reason for being done with his friendship with you, if all it took was you believing that his house getting raided in the clip that Sharice, his wife, posted, you casting doubt on that. If that
I still don't believe it.
Right. If that was the entirety of it, that just doesn't seem like a good enough reason for Loose to turn on you.
Okay, let's look at what we look.
Friendship.
Let's look at what we looking at now. Things work in mysterious ways. If the SWAT and the feds come to your home and you already on the list to get picked up, why would they let you go?
I mean, he was saying that he was just getting swatted by like a fan.
But it's obvious from what we just saw yesterday, the indictment was signed on the 17th.
But if you get swatted, it's the local police showing up to your house,
Hell
whereas
no.
they got taken down by a federal indictment.
Did you look at that video, who was involved? Those was negotiators, and you had every agency there.
But it's still going to be local, state people,
No,
right?
hell no. Not when you talking about hostage situations. But whatever it may be, that's just my thought, my belief. So, and what's crazy is, my phone, I text him When I seen it and told him, I didn't believe it.
Uh-huh.
That morning.
Right. So he could have dealt with it by just giving you a call back and saying, "Hey, bitch, why you saying that?"
But that what it was. He claimed that I let somebody on my clubhouse floor call his wife a bitch. When we went and read the content back, nobody said nothing about his wife. They were talking about R&B.
Oh, okay.
Right? And then when he said, well, what you said, I said, hey, look, bro, if I knew you was in jail, I'm not going to tell the world you're in jail. You got a lot of enemies. You got a mother over there with a child, right?
Uh-huh.
If I watched you go to jail, I'm not going to tell the world you in jail.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to do it, but I didn't believe it. So what I did was simply played the middle, and I just repeated what his wife said and left it at that. So his thing is, you repeat what my wife said is running content on me. Hey, look, bro, Blueface game myself. When content come out on me, Remo, we run it on my floor, right? So at the end of the day, if you told your woman to put the content up, I said, why'd you put it up? He said, in case something happened to me. I said, well, you could have put it up on private. Nobody's seen it, right? But when you put it up, it's going to be talked about.
Right.
Let me ask you this, based on that, Wack, because I feel like it was interesting when you called into the show when Luce was on there, right? It seemed like he kept flip-flopping about what he was actually mad at you about. And it seemed to me that whatever he was really mad at you about, if he was even really mad, it definitely wasn't what he was saying. It was a secret. So, like, just to make it clear, like, was it fake or was there something else he was mad about? Because it didn't make no sense.
He had no reason to be mad. He made something up, right?
He forgot mid-conversation what he was mad at you about a couple times, I remember.
Because he know that I'm going to send him the content and he's going to play it. Here you go, play it.
So do you think what was really happening is that really, because he already knew that stuff was about to get deep, he was
I don't know. I don't know if he knew that. I believe now that he was mad about the 600 stuff and him exposing about what the family said about the kid, right? I believe now, looking at it, that he may have known that he was caught up in the overall thing, right? I believe that's why he was a little bothered that 600 was pushing that issue about what the family was saying about the kid.
He seemed panicked. The way he was moving seemed
because, bro, he said that they had already reached out to him. He would tell me things, but it didn't make sense to me, so I just disregarded, right?
Did you note that at a certain point in the podcast, and it really didn't take that long, Luce became so high that he was almost incapable of being involved in the conversation anymore?
No, because after I stopped,
he wasn't smoking. It was just from Bricc Baby breathing weed in his face.
After I got off the line, I wasn't even watching anymore. It was just, the thing about it is like, yo, Adam, it's real shit. If I feel like I got something else to do and I want to go my way, I'm just going to have a conversation with you. But I think what it was sometimes people set out to have a motive. And I understand that. I've been in the game too long. Everybody has a motive with something they're doing. Everybody has a motive. Could be a good one or a bad one. And I think that because I started to figure out other things that had nothing to do with this, he was using that as a reason to not have to talk to me. You got to remember, let's just keep it real. I took Luce 13 months ago. Prior to me taking Luce, did you know who Luce Cannon was?
Yeah.
Right? I took Luce and set him on the side of me. When the light hit me, I made sure it hit him.
Yeah, I don't think I was that familiar with him before
you
brought him on the pod.
I didn't do it because I did a contract with you, right? I did it because I genuinely wanted to help you. So you didn't have to come up with some fake shit. Bro, if you say, yo, you want to go handle your business, because we've all seen this before. If you've seen this more than me, right? What is there now, it's a motherfucker to see if it's going to be there later standing on your own. I know because I went through it and I knew what I had to do to continue my climb up the ladder. You know what I'm saying? Like Vlad, you watched it. Last time Vlad seen me before we came back together, it was Ray J, right? Ray J went another way. We still remain business partners, but he started doing other things. So I had to reinvent myself and go find new business and find another ladder to climb. So I know what it is, but it's just that I believe his thing was, let me tap into his resources. I introduced him to act. I brought him here a few times, right? He was asking me about Vlad. Vlad knows this because I was talking to him. He's like, well, get me on Vlad. But I understand when I say certain things to Vlad, if you know Vlad, you kind of read his body motion and you just leave shit alone. Because at that point, just tend to what you got going on with Vlad, right? So, you know.
And I responded that he just has too much drama around.
Yeah, and I left it alone.
I just don't need to bring that into
but
my
I
house,
get it
you
now
know?
because it's kind of like, can you trust it?
And he is a wise sage because probably a year ago, I said something on behalf of our good JCat friend, Spiderloke. Hey, Wack, Spiderloke thinks you got him banned. You should have him on. Wack said, or Vlad said, I'm cool. It's like, you know,
It ain't going to bring no substance to him.
It's no problem with Spiderloke, but it's just not really the kind of content that I want to do
And that's
right
real,
now.
because if we would have saw Spiderloke on Vlad, it would have been like Vlad lost Boardwalk and his ass is on Baltic. It's just real, right? So, you know, at the end of the day, we all doing things. You got extra things going on. Vlad, we definitely know you got going on. I got extra stuff going on. We all got extra stuff going on, but it just kind of makes it like when the next person reaches out for a little help, you kind of be like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, Wack, let me ask you this, because I've been knowing you as this legendary kind of behind-the-scenes figure throughout hip-hop for decades. I'll keep it real, I hadn't really heard much about Loose Cannon until he started hanging around with you.
That's a fact. That's just what's real.
But I knew very little about him until I've read this whole this criminal complaint, and I've become to know how close he was to Big U, knowing your relationship with Big U. Now I'm looking back thinking, how had you and him got so close considering that history?
They didn't become cool until Luce was no longer cool with. But he was.
how are you trusting a guy that was so cool with
up
Big
until
U?
like what, 2 years ago?
Nah, 2021, early
Oh,
2021.
okay.
I just helped him out. You know, I looked out for him. Like I didn't, you know what I mean? So it was like, you know, and I did a lot of cleaning up. I took a lot of hits doing that. But I didn't mind it. I felt like I seen that he wanted that. Some people like want that and they want to be that. And I know it only goes so far versus you understanding that. Understanding this game and wanting this game is two total different things. Because when you understand it, you know to keep your resources available. You don't burn no bridges, bro. Because you never know when you got to reach back that way or something's going to come at you, right? Amongst us, we got 100 different, what I don't got, he has. If he don't got it, he'll say, let me call Vlad. You know why? He don't mind calling Vlad saying, Wax trying to get this done because we're cool, right? If he knew me and Vlad wasn't cool, to stop in him. So, you know, that's people that understand the game. People that want the game, they'll do what it is just to gain. But your gain is going to be limited.
Do you feel like kind of taking somebody and putting on somebody that was so close to Big U and fell out, it's kind of a diss to Big U, right?
Nah, Big U I had no, that wasn't the thought.
Like if I took AD and put him on my channel now, that would be kind of a fuck you to Adam type shit. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of, do you feel like that was a move? Or was
And
that
if you blow him up, that's the ultimate flex.
But that's kind of what he's trying
Which
to do.
is kind of what he did with Luce, because nobody knew who Luce was. Because
I blew him up.
Know who Luce
he was
was
just
at
a
all.
thug to Big U,
Luce
right?
had been trying to do music and all kind of stuff for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Right? You can see his history of his work, his body of work, right? But, you know, I took and did what I did. I did it with a lot of people. But I didn't, Big U wasn't even a figment of my imagination. It wasn't a thought. I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to do this for Big U. I wouldn't have did it at that point in time.
Do you think that pissed him off to the next level, though? Big U.
No, it probably did because Big U was used to me being his resource. And to see one of his underlings or somebody that he utilizes for something else, have that me moving with him like that, doing some of the things I've done, it probably did, but that wasn't my thought. I'm doing this for Big U. I wouldn't have did it because at that point it ain't pure. It ain't. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have been genuine.
When you started bringing up the whole Christopher Lovejoy DNA story that everybody was talking about, right? Like
he was only able to do that story because I set it up to be done.
Okay, but what I'm trying to say is,
See,
like,
did you do that a lot, Trap?
Did you expect?
But hold on, Trap. You got to correct that.
No, let's go.
You do that a lot. You're a foreigner guy out there, and you be
Foreigner
talking
guy.
about our shit like you know what you're talking about. So if you was really watching it, Lovejoy didn't grab it until it was on the internet. So now you got to ask yourself, how did it get on the internet? Right? I knew I couldn't just let him talk about that because they were going to do what they're doing now. So I had to position it so it was on the internet.
So you put it on the internet, or you had
No, well,
it?
what I did is we have a segment on the 100 Side of Clubhouse called Murder Mysteries. And I simply sent the girl Tink from Chicago the newspaper clipping from 2021. She was oblivious, so she started running the murder mystery. She's good at it. She'll start reading and digging. She'll come up with all these rabbit hole type scenarios, right? And when she got to certain points of what it may have been or what is this or what it may have led up to, when she would break, I played a snippet from the audio we had from the family.
Yeah.
So the snippet I played first said they found his DNA under my brother's nails. And they was like, okay, and I stopped it. And the floor is talking about, okay, well, that could have been whoever this person may have been. So they talk another 20 minutes. And like, well, who could the person have been? So I played the mother saying that they had to track down Big U for a year or so, and the feds forced him to give his DNA. So I know that these two people worked for Big U for years. He would know their voice, right? I have a media team in the GOO. The media team took all that, chopped it up, put it on the internet. Once it got on the internet, 600 was able to grab it and do his spin on it.
But the question I really have around that, because there's a great way that you broke it down for us there. But were you surprised that Luce and them had such a serious reaction? Did you think that he was going to get wrapped up in this whole thing, or did you see it as a separate thing, this Big U situation? Because I was surprised that even Brick's getting wrapped up in it, right?
It was funny. One of my business partners called me. He doesn't even do social media, but he was watching that. I swear he's out of Philly. He called me and said, "Hey, bro, I think your boy Luce has some ties to something." I blew it off. What are you talking about? Right? Because he was like real adamant about it. He kept calling. He like 600. I said, no, he's not. It's off the internet. Nah, man, that's the recordings we got of the family. Luce was on the phone. The recordings I got, Luce was on the phone the whole time. Right? The family been contacted him for a year, but he never reacted to it. Right? So when he seen that I wasn't stopping 600, I told him he's covered because I made sure it got to the internet. I said, bro, we're warning him. 600 hates him, so he's having his fun, but we're warning him. I'm going to be real. If somebody took my DNA a year or so ago, after a year, 18 months, I'm thinking ain't nothing of it. I'm not even thinking that my skin's under about a dude's nails. And I hear the family say they found his DNA under the nails. I hear that. That's going to be alarming to me.
That did turn out to not be completely true, though, right?
No, it was completely
From
true.
the complaint, it said that the DNA that was found, it couldn't confirm that it was Big U, but it couldn't rule it out too, whereas they could rule out the other individual, right?
No. I don't know where you saw that at.
I really saw it said that. It wasn't completely confirmed that it's Big U's DNA. That's what I'm seeing, and there's still no...
There's no... Listen.
They said it was inconclusive or something like that, right?
So, do you want me to read it out?
Go ahead.
Read out.
Okay, so... Wait, the DNA profile, so DNA was connected from RW's ankle/sock area, consistent with the direction that RW was dragged into the desert off the highway.
Oh.
The DNA profile obtained was not complete, likely due to the aforementioned inclinement on whether due to the inclement weather on the night of the murder. So the weather and the way that the body was left overnight, I guess in the cold, in the wind or whatever, meant that the DNA profile wasn't able to be completed. So it says analysis of Henley's DNA profile, Big U, was inconclusive such that he could not be excluded as the contributor of the DNA, but it couldn't be confirmed. And Robinson, on the other hand, was excluded as a potential contributor of the DNA. So it wasn't confirmed, but it couldn't be excluded.
Do you know who Robinson is?
Robinson.
That's the driver.
Mm-hmm.
That's the driver who told them they drove to L.A., picked the kid up, where they took him, and how he was killed. So when you got something that says you're not excluded, it could have been you, maybe not. But then you got the dude with you who gave DNA once they brought him in. Big U didn't know it. And they show, you didn't touch the body. That means he's identified Big U as a killer. That's who really told on him.
But all I'm saying is that, from what I understand, the DNA thing, to make the statement Big U's DNA was found under his fingernail.
That's been running in the media a lot.
That's not been conclusively proven as true.
These mics are kind of sensitive, so you might want to pull it in a little more.
Right?
Yeah, no, that's what I've
Yeah, well, you got to remember, we didn't make...
They've been saying that as a headline since Wack started talking about it.
You got to remember, we didn't make the statement. We just played the recording.
But this is the thing. Do you feel like it's kind of overcooking Big U's involvement? Now, obviously, it's an open case. It's unresolved, right? But the headline of DNA found under fingernails is not... It's a little overshooting.
What's the difference in what you did?
Because this says it can't confirm it.
Listen, you know I'm allowing you to question me right now, right?
I appreciate it.
Because you did some punk shit the other day. See, the only difference is you usually do what you did the other day sitting over there in London somewhere, right? And you're not here, right? It's a lot of places you can't go. You send Adam something as if it was a clip of something I did I wasn't supposed to do.
No, he sent me a
gotta clear this
screenshot
up
of
a
a
little bit.
page from the indictment.
that's cool.
Where Big
You
U
the
was
receiver.
recorded on a
You the
wiretap, basically
receiver.
saying that he punked you
Hold
out
on.
with a whole bunch of people, and
Hold
it
on.
had
No,
a
it was a
quote
receiver.
that he attributed to you,
Okay,
but it
well, hold
wasn't an actual video
Hold on.
or recording.
Hold on, hold
this was
on.
Big U's version
Hold
of
on,
events.
hold on. You're the receiver. So
Pause.
since you read everything, right? Tread lightly with this. Because I've been telling myself for the last couple minutes not to really do nothing to you because I know what you was trying to do.
Okay.
So since you so thorough, did you read what Big U said he did to me? No, either you gonna play smart or dumb. Did you read it?
Yes. Can I say one
What
thing?
did you
Can I say
find
one thing in my
there
defense first?
That's the bullshit and the real shit.
But can I say one thing in my defense
I
first?
just want to know what you read.
I feel like stuff that Adam said that he put source on top of. I just sent him an image of the indictment and said, "Have you seen this?" You
No,
went
you
in,
said in that
you went in the
page.
room and you said a bunch of stuff.
No,
that
you said
was
in
a
that
little bit
page.
added on.
You said in that page. So I'm
It's in that
asking
page.
you, just gonna let me know where you at with me.
Mhm.
Did you read that and did you use your brain to understand why and why not? So
I'd
I'm a
say
dude that
yes.
then violated Big U like no other human being, right? Violated him.
For sure.
2-3 years, right?
That's such a claim to fame now that Big U is like the ultimate bad guy of LA.
No.
Him being able to say that he violated is like him
Wait.
saying he went up against Al Capone.
No.
and lived to tell the tale.
No, you got to remember, I don't see Big U the way y'all see Big U.
I know.
Big U done sat on my couch with his head down, scared straight in situations where he needed our help at. I don't see him that way. A motherfucker who I had to pay rent and help take care of his family, who then sat on my couch and said, help me. I don't see that dude as that, right? But if you read that, right, it says, we was 15, 20 deep, right? And we caught him. And he was by himself, right? You do know I jumped out on them. You do know I wasn't walking. I'm in a car with 800 horsepower in it, right? I'm very capable of whatever, right? You do know my homeboys was adjacent to them, but
Here we
they didn't
go.
even, that they had no idea they was there, right?
The Henny
know
Man.
that.
Right?
That's new information.
You do understand that,
screaming.
right?
Yo, I'm here.
He's
Big
screaming.
This is my vlog.
Big
Big
Ack,
Ack.
how you living? Oh my God.
Now
he's
we
in here
got
with a
Mount
360
Pod
kit.
Boy right here, bro.
Hello,
Hey, man,
we
what's
said
hello,
you in the
Shay.
middle.
How you doing? First time meeting.
Come on.
IRL.
Hold on. We got to get to this right here.
He's trying to pack
Sit
out
down. We on
Traplo
some
right
bullshit
now.
right now.
I'm
Yeah,
getting
we need
pressed
a
as we
judge.
speak it.
Hold on.
We need someone to litigate this
No,
situation.
hold on. Watch this.
I'm glad I'm here at ground zero, man. This where all the indictments.
Watch
get
this.
started.
So let me give it to you, right?
Smell like police
Let me-
donuts up
hey,
in here, man. I brought my badge too. Yo, I said this the Fed Avengers. They got me.
Yo,
they
not
got
Fed
Adam.
Avengers.
They got
No,
Black. You
Mount
know.
Podmore.
Shout out to the new
No
recruit,
Fed
Remo.
Avengers.
He the undercover.
So
He
listen.
the worst
Show,
undercover.
yeah,
ever.
Hold on. Let's
No,
get
they
back
said,
to
they
it,
said the
right?
undercover had a stutter.
Oh, the undercover had a stutter.
We're eyeing
That's
up
Flacco.
Actually, no.
Flacco.
Won't you read it?
Look, I just
No,
feel
I
like
want you to
I
read
feel
it.
like
No,
I
I
will
want
read
you to
it.
read it.
I'll read it.
I want
no,
to read
I'll
it.
read it. Can
Read
I say something
read
before I read it? Because it's very
it.
important.
I want
Context.
you to read it.
All right, I'll read it.
I want to see how
I'll
smart
read
you
it,
are.
and then I'll give what I thought of it, and then I'm
Go
going to
ahead,
repeat
read it.
what
I'm
Adam
like-
said about it.
I'm
'cause
I
you
want a
spun it-
dramatic reading.
You spun it crazy.
read
I want you to
Before
read
y'all
it
get to that,
dramatically.
Hey, third, y'all out there?
Yo, before y'all get
no,
to that,
I'm going to expose something
Don't bring
that
the
I
Pacoima
never
out.
exposed.
yo, Wack,
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm so glad you're my friend because all your ops just go to jail, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
Oh.
All your ops, every nigga don't like you, they going down in
I
the
mean,
ball of
listen,
flame,
man, I'm a legal
Yo,
guy,
Wack's my
man.
friend. I'm telling you.
Go ahead, read it. Read it.
Henley
I'm on him for doing this weird shit. Go ahead.
Henley recounted to victim one, and then this is on a wiretap, right? So bear in mind, this is very important. This is Big U bragging about doing this on a wiretap to somebody
On
else.
the phone.
Not
Go
knowing
ahead.
that he's being listened to, right?
Read it.
Henley recounted to victim one an incident in which Henley and Rollin 60's gang members chased down Wack 100, attempting to hurt him. Quote, there's 15 to 20 dudes with us with hoodies tied down. I got my hoodie on, all black, tied down. She like, boom. She jumped in the car, paid for, redacted, and then took off. Boom. This dude screaming. My wife, drawers. I see you, Eugene. I see you. Eugene Henley, I see you. He's screaming all of that. He's got his blower. His blower's out.
Allegations.
But he's messed up. I gotta read the whole thing. But he's messed up because nobody's around. We like, bitch ass dude. I'm like, yeah, bitch ass dude. He's like, something. He's like, redacted. Die here, man. Don't do this. My wife, my kids in that car. Drawers. Don't do this. He's screaming.
Now, You tell.
He was about to turn you into
I
Swiss cheese.
I want to see how smart you are. I've been violating him for 2 years. Violating him, calling him rats, snitches. He came up there 20 deep to get me, right? And he's telling me some word. What stopped him from fucking with me?
So look,
No,
this is important. I'm about to give you this. Let me get to it. My interpretation of this, me personally, and bear in mind, my interpretation wasn't put out there. Adam hopped on the live and said, No. This is so crucial.
I want you to tell me.
Because I'm gonna get to mine. Mine's okay. Adam hopped on there and said Wack was begging for his life. I didn't say that. You put source on that.
I want you to listen.
Adam put source on it.
I want you to tell me what you get from that.
This is what I'm trying to get to.
Why didn't he touch me?
I get to it is because you might not want to admit this. You had your blower.
Okay.
You're begging him not to kill him.
Now stop right there.
Right?
Like Clubhouse.
If I got my blower and you 20 deep with hoodies and I'm by myself, right? No begging to plead. That's when you really do it, right? What do you think my mentality was? For a dude not to approach me and you come to get me, and I jump out my car talking, what kind of conversation you think I'm having to make a dude say, don't nobody move?
I agree with you.
Now,
hold
on.
I feel like
Blick talk.
I feel
Third
like
y'all out there?
You probably was on that Soulja Boy shit.
Now I'm about to expose something nobody ever knew.
Oh, shit.
So here it goes, right?
Ground zero,
I'm
man.
here.
That's what
All
I'm
of this is a parking lot, right? I'm here. They walk down. They walk right past my car. They didn't even see me. When I seen them get here, I jumped out. Y'all looking for me? Right?
Shit.
They stopped. They back was to me. Y'all, I had everything I had, I could have dealt with everything in front of me. Now, what they didn't know is I'm talking to my team. Big Unim is here. Now, watch this. Look, watch this. Big Unim is here. I'm here out the car. Third, who was here, and here?
You taking notes?
Hold on. Third, who in that parking lot when I'm confronting these 20 Crips was 20 to 30 feet in every direction and they didn't know it? All my homies was behind them.
That's new information.
Listen.
That's new information, man.
So listen, check this out. So when I'm letting you know, there's no need to beg nothing. What did I tell that fool?
Let's do it.
My home, they still don't know to this day that all my homies was positioned 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock. They didn't even see them. I'm talking to my homies in code, letting them know which way I'm gonna push them. I said, nigga, ain't nothing but 20 of y'all. I'm going to down 3 of y'all. I just told him I'm going to get off in 3s. Right? At that point, he knows if he getting off in 3s, when he go to 2s, he running out of it. These dudes right now to this day had no idea that they was ambushed. So why the f***? You see, he said I was by myself, right? I wasn't by myself. All you got to do is pay attention to the 3 people who got off the stage with Kanye. Now let's do the math, dummies. The 3 dudes in red, does he look familiar? So where did they disappear to? When we walked Kanye to Fig, because that's where his car was at? Right, let's clear that up. Kanye said, Wack, my car is on Fig. I said, well, we got to walk around. He like, why we just can't go right there, so you got to go through the crowd. He said, your people would, I don't care. So we walked Kanye through the crowd, took him to Fig, went down the escalator, got in the cars. I pulled out first. I always pull out first. Oh. My people is here, and here. As you seen, he said what? He was by himself. The bozo don't know till his day that he was already ambushed. So once I'm going, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna do this. You know what happens when you start to run from that and you start getting that blowing at you another way?
It's like
what
a
happens?
military operation. I like that.
So now the world knows bozo. Think about it. Where did the 4 dudes go that got off the stage with him and Ye? Where did they go? They were in the parking lot with me. But you tried to play it.
But if you were the threat, then why didn't anything happen?
What do you mean?
You said you did the ambushing.
You got to ask the 20 people. They came to get me, right? Listen, I'm going to be real. They marked themselves out. It'd have been 20 power rules going to get one person, and they jumped out like that, you would have had to use that. I told Big U, this is what I told him.
You gave him a pass?
No, I told Big U, yo move.
Did you call him by his government name?
I said, I said, yo move. You going first. Let's get to it. He said, cuz don't move. Cuz it kill me. It's exact words. I'm telling my team in code, talking to them, I said, you ain't holding the cards. They listen to me tell them to do what? Hold, because I see them moving in. I don't want you that close, because I'm going to make them scatter. I got some shit that's going to make freedom ring. That's a fact. Think about it. What make 20 gang members stop in their track? A 38? Does that do it? Nah. Gotta have some shit, right? Let's just be real.
You pull a Drake on them niggas?
Let's just be real.
This just says blow up.
No, I'm asking you. What make 20 dudes stop in their tracks? And you know they had some shit. It takes something. Listen, it's a fat, ugly broad walk through here. We wouldn't trip. We'd keep talking. If a bad bitch walk through here, we gonna stop and look, right? So it gotta be a showstopper, right? So now I just exposed to you that the bozo said what? He was by himself. I never was by myself.
But this him on a wiretap bragging to somebody else,
Right,
possibly.
he got
in
it
the
every
story,
word,
right?
yeah.
But you sent it like
Adam
it
put
was
the sauce
real.
on this originally and
But
said
see,
begging. I never said begging.
But you sent it like it was real.
I was just reading what you sent me.
That's
on,
the
bro.
part he's mad about, the begging. I never
No,
said that.
what I'm saying though, the part I'm mad about is you act like we cool. You didn't send it to me and say, Wack, what's up with this? You did the bitch ass shit you do, but they just can't catch you. So I'm here to let you know as a man, you's a bitch ass nigga for that.
No, he's not.
take that.
Because
No, you
all he
definitely
was doing
that.
was
You
showing
definitely
me
that because
a page
we
from
got a
the
relationship,
biggest
right?
news of the
So why you
day
didn't tap in
that
with me?
my podcast
You
co-host
read the
just so
headlines.
happens to be
This is
named
not
in.
public. This is not public.
If I get something on you,
Yeah.
who the first person I'm sending it to?
Of course, you're going to hit me about it. But wait.
But this was
You
no
sent it to
Rico.
me
He
too.
tried to send it to bro as if it was exposing me to something.
Nah, this is
that's
like
what
got
you
a show
think.
together, and, he's
And
in
I'm
the
gonna be
environment.
real.
But what did I send you before that? I sent you in there too. No jumper. First thing I sent you was no
I mean,
jumper
you're
in
reading
there,
through it. You're
and then I
sending
sent you
me
another thing
a couple of different things that
Bro,
seemed
it's
of note.
107 pages, bozo.
And he sent me
you
two.
chose to send him that.
But you were on the phone live, busy, so I knew you were on the
No,
phone.
no, that's
you
some
were
bullshit.
live. I was watching live, and I
He-
sent it to
that's
him.
You were
some bullshit.
called into the news
That's
at
what
that
we're
back
moment.
into the room.
Listen, it's 107 pages, right?
True.
And out of 107 pages, and there's some crazy stuff in that content. You chose to send him that, so you thought you was isolating Wack on some bullshit. That's what you thought.
That was
Keep
my
it real.
intention. That
I
wasn't my
want the
intention.
boy in you to tell the truth.
No, that wasn't my intention at all.
So what was your intention?
Real talk. I was reading through it. I see that section.
You see how it
That
feels
was
to
the
really.
craziest
You
thing.
see how it feels to really be in front of the people you talking about and playing with.
No, I hear it. It's
It
tough.
feel your. I hear
He
your
does that
heart.
all the time.
No, he don't. No, he don't.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Man, that dude get caught in certain places. He know it. He in certain places. While you get up and go to Chicago, yeah, boy,
What I'm doing is worse than what he's doing.
no.
He's
because
not even putting any
they
of them
don't
stuff
fuck with
in it.
him. They don't fuck with dude because they feel like he's a foreigner and he's stirring shit up.
No, they love him for that.
No.
I've seen it. He's
No.
in here all the time
No, bro.
while I'm interviewing random
you know the
people.
difference
They're
between-
all geeked up to take
You know
photos with him.
no. Listen, let me tell you something. If they catch dude,
Oh, man.
like I caught him, I'm just chilling, but I'm gonna let you know, don't play with me, right? If you claim we got a relationship and we cool, bro, don't play with me. Don't do the back door shit. Because when I tell somebody I'm straight with them, when I get it, I send it to them, right? The fact that you send it to Adam while we live, you know what he gonna do. So you wanted him to present it like it was some bogus shit.
That I would say that was.
So when you read that, you didn't get that big. You was putting extras on it. The real reason why you didn't attack that man is for something different. You didn't get that from
He
that.
didn't even
To be
add
fair,
a
though, I
narrative.
didn't add any context. I just sent him a couple screenshots of multiple things from here. That
He had to
included him.
read it to send the screenshot.
I did read it. As soon as I saw that, I sent it. I was unfinished.
If you didn't put narrative on it, like I know we posted that. Like we posted
Hey.
all the juicy parts. All the
Yeah, that's
juicy
cool.
parts. I mean, we have no comment on it because
what you do.
And obviously, like I think I could see the context in this. This is a nigga gassing. He's telling. It's like me being in a fight and me like, yo,
But here go
yo,
the thing, though. Here go the thing.
Yeah.
Know what to gas and what not to gas. Choose your enemies and make sure you got your friends, bro.
But you're conflating him sending me
I'm
a
telling you, I'm
screenshot
telling
of
you
my
straight like this.
podcast co-host being named in a federal
Listen.
RICO indictment as if he was somehow trying to smear your name or like create a narrative
I'm
about
finna
you.
go to New Orleans on you. I'm going back to Miss Gladys. May she rest her soul. Put some respect on my name, boy.
Yep,
You
gotta do
understand
the
what I'm
hand rub
saying?
for that. You gotta do the hand rub for that one.
Yeah, put some respect on my name. Ain't that how Stutter did it?
Nah, I think Wack feel like you were
Listen,
trying to like
all
almost like
three
call
of
him out because Wack has told his story before, so I guess he probably feel like you were sending.
No,
like,
what I'm
yeah,
saying is
Wack
I
ain't tell
felt
the
he
truth.
was smart enough to read that and see the extra bragging and boasting that he's putting around what the real reason was.
I don't think he had ill intent because he sent me multiple pages too, and that was just one of the pages he sent. I
He
think
ain't
Adam
sent-
just came and read it out.
He ain't sent me one page.
I was reading the whole thing.
Did you have his number?
Yeah, he
Did
got
anyone
my
else
number.
send whack pages?
I sent them the shit.
Yeah, Wack be having it.
You sent it
you
to
mean?
me. I
When
was
I call
shocked. I
Wack
talked about
first
it.
words
I
is
sent them the shit.
Wack first words was, didn't I tell you? I'm like, God damn it, nigga, you must be the Oracle. Yo, Vlad, I know these flashback videos gonna go crazy when you're done.
What? The
Shit, they got
Everybody-
the yellow Bezy shit, this shit. This shit's going
Yeah,
on.
Yo,
free
listen.
Bezy, man.
And what's crazy is, let's clear this up. How does Wack know? Because the people tell us. Straight up. My number's been on the internet for 8-9 years. I never changed it. For that reason. If you want, today I got a call. The Mexican dude at the bottom left with the blue shirt, his wife called me. Mr. 100, yeah. I'm Mejia's whatever wife. I said, well, what's going on? I said, what was he doing with Big U and them? He said he did business once or twice. He don't know them like that. They told on him. I'm a single mother now with a 6-month-old baby. I said, I'm going to send you some incredible diapers. Give me your information. But she was able to get to me because my number's there and I keep it there on purpose. I'm just simply saying, listen, man, we expose ourselves. When we do something, we expose ourselves.
And by the way, I do have a theory though, and I don't know if you guys know. Again, I joined late, and again, first of all, I wouldn't even entertain any conversation. I see some people trying to with the bullshit. You're not listed in this indictment as witness, cooperant, victim, nothing, which means the police is acknowledging you've never had contact with them, right?
Never. It was over with.
They actually describe you as a rival, basically almost somebody that they might be looking into their damn self. So it doesn't look like. But I will say, some of what you may have done may have helped with the timing, right? I think you.
What's that?
I think you
What you
tipping
mean?
off Big U. I think that definitely.
I
helped
did
with the timing.
what?
I think you going online and saying that, and the only reason I'm saying this is that if you ever read any federal indictment,
I did what? I tipped him off?
you tipped him off via
What
online.
did the lady say in the recording I sent you?
Well,
Please don't what?
please don't tell. But this is why I'm coming to this conclusion. So the way how these type of, especially murder, like we haven't seen the grand jury indictment. It has to go to grand jury. This was done through just a complaint, which means they usually go through this is a 4-year investigation. They're definitely going to grand jury. They only do, that's a quick way to get an indictment when an officer or an agent says, we need you to sign off on this that we can arrest them. I think that they think Big U is about to be on the run, honestly. Why would he be on the run? Wack is on everywhere. Yo, they're coming. End of the month. Like, and I thought he was capping. So, again, we're going to see the
Oh, that was
real.
capping. Still?
I thought it then.
How many times have I capped?
Man, you didn't like him though. Plus, you're saying certain shit. I know you spoke to or you had some information from the fam. Like this is like you should only know this if you're doing the investigation. But I get it. They told the people. So we're gonna get the real indictment
Right.
very soon.
Yeah.
But the way they did it is usually to prevent. They did it to Dirk because Dirk was gonna board a plane.
Right. And I hesitate to even open this can of worms, but we have reason to be skeptical about your statements about Big U because you
don't.
obviously co-signed loose cannon telling the story about how Big U basically got Nipsey killed or whatever.
We never said he got Nipsey killed.
Okay,
Why
but
y'all
you're
keep
saying that he
that?
had premeditated knowledge that Nipsey was
No,
going to
what
get
he's
killed.
saying is,
And that didn't really pan
No,
out,
what-
although a lot of people are now looking at those statements as if they might have a lot more validity than they once thought.
what are you talking about? Because Big U that says, that's my little brother. He was the face of the neighborhood. All I did was support and stand behind him. But on page 83, he says, what? I'm the biggest Rolling 60 come out. I'm even bigger than Nipsey Hussle. That's what he said, right? Did you read that?
Wack-
Did he
I
read?
seen-
No.
I seen
Wack
that.
Did he
this on
read
tape.
that?
I can tell you
seen
that.
Huh?
seen
You
that.
seen that, right? But this is the dude. This is why I told you, hey, yo, bro, every time I see dude talking about, that's my little brother, that's this, and I know what you said in my house and said and let me hear and the things you told me and the things you wanted me to do that I refused to do, right? I sent you him telling me, here go the contracts, go after the state for me. All that. He's a snitch. He's this. We got this. We got that. We got this, that. And I'm sitting back. Yo, tell that dude to release them sex tapes. Nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Yo, Wack, the only eerie thing about this is that everything that I think you had to educate, like, because we all listen to you on Clubhouse, right? You had to educate us what the grid program was. You were asking questions then.
We educated y'all.
How is this guy with the grid program?
Say it.
The feds basically said the same damn thing. You got a crystal ball or something. I'm just glad to be your friend, okay?
I got a crystal ball at home in form of R&B. Them cheeks.
Dual crystal balls. Gotcha. Yeah, but I mean, in general, if you see an older gangster with a charitable organization, what percentage of the time is it just a scam so they could still be doing bullshit?
I ran with him for 17 years.
Not really, right?
Yeah, really.
17?
17.
We saw y'all publicly for a couple years, really.
No,
right?
that's you.
Yeah.
Big U came home in 04.
Okay.
Beat his son half to death. We bailed him out.
Why'd you
Paid
do
for his
that?
attorney. Reggie probably told you about that. If not, he'll tell you because he was around for it, right? Paid for his attorney. That's back when the Infinity QX56 first hit. We had the same matching car. Like you wouldn't know if it was him or me, right? 17 years we ran, right? 17 years. He would tell people, Wack got the key to my front door. That's why I told Bricc, hey, Bricc, I've never seen you in my life. I never seen you at Crenshaw High. I never seen you at the funerals. I helped him bury a bunch of dudes over there. I never seen you at his crib, at the office. I never seen you. You didn't come out to all the video shoots, all these radio events we was having. How the West was won. Me and my boy AD created that. Crush Groove, we created that. I had contracts with Nick Masters at Live Nation. I would cut Big U in so Bro could eat because we were showing him how to hustle in the industry. Before he left, he wasn't in the industry. It was Key to Rock from 6-0. It was S-Mac from 6-0, the industry guys, right? There was no Big U. So when he came home, we embraced him, set him at the table, and we plugged him everywhere. This is why when I stepped away from him, all the industry went away from him.
You really feel like that?
That's a fact.
Everybody stopped with
Go to
Big U.
2021.
I feel like a lot of people think it was the inverse of that,
No.
where a lot of people stopped with you.
Who, me?
Yeah.
My plugs ain't stopped. You know that.
Definitely felt like you became a lot more controversial in the industry because of that, though.
Because of what?
Because of you and Big U going to war.
Bro, no.
I don't take it as that.
You
I think
crazy.
it's vice
I
versa.
always-
I think it's vice versa.
I
think
was
maybe
always,
streetwise.
bro, he had no contracts, right? His only artist that got a deal, me and Game, got him the deal. He screwed it up, right? You got a dude that's struggling to try to keep his home from getting took and all this other crazy stuff. Wack was all DJ K. Slate. That's me. We put him with T.I. S-Mac plug. All my artists on my side. When he needed scooty bikes for the kids giveaway, who supplied them? Yo, could you get Game to promote my football league? Who got that done? Right? Yo, could you help me? Could Nip go on tour? Who got that done? Let's talk about it. Like, bro, he has no real connects in the industry. Zero.
And you've always kind of been resentful of the fact that people treat him as if he's kind of on your level.
I'm not resentful that he ain't got more money than me. He ain't got no he has no plaques. He don't have no resources. He has no stamps in the passport. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
What
yeah,
are
look
you
at it
talking
completely
about?
different. Like I
He
feel
not
like
on my level with no damn music industry.
Wack's like one of the most
That's crazy.
influential voices.
I mean, Big U hasn't had successes in the entertainment world. People act like he does, but there's no
Because
real
we
receipt
put it
for
around him.
He did
That-
like one documentary style show.
That was my show. I
Right.
gave it to him. They begged me for 18 months. That's the homie from Compton Paul Rue show, Jim Bob. Jim Bob came to me for 18 months. Him and one of the Writers for Power, begging me to do it. I didn't want to do it. No disrespect, because I didn't want the segment to end with music with me. I always told myself, when I do that type of style thing, I want to have my other thing going on, right? Which like now I could do it.
Yeah.
Because it's going on, right? But I said, Jim, by no disrespect, that's a G homie. But I said, go ahead, Big U do it. He'll eat it up. He looking for the light.
Wait, Wack, let me ask you a couple questions because I ain't gonna lie. It was reading through the entire indictment. I was fucking flabbergasted of just how accurate. And I'm not gonna lie, You said these things, and all these niggas gaslit you up here. They were like, "What are you talking about? What AK case? What this?" Nigga, I'm reading through the shit. I'm like, this nigga Wack is on the money.
June 23rd, 2023.
But how do you find out about that though?
Okay, I'm gonna keep it 100. Could I tell how I found out about it?
Whatever you want to say.
Okay, a certain person's wife is intimate with a Paru. You know it's the truth. Paru, dead homies. When I come off it, I'll FaceTime him.
So that's how you really found out?
Nigga, when he went to jail, she called her significant other.
I think it was like an ex-boyfriend.
Ain't no
type
ex,
situation,
ain't no ex,
wasn't
no,
it?
no. Ain't no ex-boyfriend. Cause I know my homeboy and I know his situation. Right? It's Lil Jon's homie. Lil Jon know what I'm talking about. He's a very well-known dude. He's tied to a bunch of people, right? So when he went, I get the call. He said, hey, you know that boy called up. I said, who that? Whoop. I said, how you know? He said, you know. I said, oh, okay. You serious? He said, yeah, I'm going to send you his info. They come in, they catch him with a K. She gonna know because she at home. They catch him with a K. This how I knew. This is why when Bricc was saying in one of these rooms, having a tantrum, I don't know how cuz be knowing he on some police shit. That's because, nigga, you got a leak in your waterbed. I don't wake up and say, the day while he was still in there, I'm on Clubhouse saying it.
Not gonna lie, man.
That's
I
crazy.
called the date.
You called
I called the date, the year. I told you what caliber.
Let me ask you, actually, I got a question for Adam on this. Because, like, even reading the whole thing in this what they call the Big U Enterprise, and even when Bricc Baby comes up here to work, even certain conversations being allowed on this platform, do you ever pull you to the side, like, again, not saying that it would be the cause of it, but it's exacerbating it, right? It's so adding context. Like,
All
where
the time.
y'all are coming in here and I mean, there's a part where they're like, hey, we knew this, but then on the No Jumper podcast, they corroborated it. And I'm like,
no, definitely. And just because I have it pulled up, I really want to just play this one clip that has been going kind of viral that's like generally considered to be like the most federal clip that anybody on the podcast has ever had. This is Loose Cannon.
So basically, it's like, cuz he'll be like, he'll
Talking about Big U.
manipulate things. Like, we'll go and
That's
do
the Indictment.
something, and the same niggas we do it to show up to the house like 10 minutes later when we trying to, counting everything, right? And we be like, how the f*** they get the, well, we're going to just give them like $40,000 back and stuff like that. But cuz it's actually putting us in paperwork, right? And like doing like real police shit. I seen the nigga get like 20 guns, and when he got 20 guns, he's selling them to the homies. But I'm like, why are you writing down the serial numbers? So it's like he was doing like shit like that, and I didn't catch on. So it was like I'm waking up now. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm high-tech shit. I'm his right hand man. You get what I'm saying? So when it came down to like dirt and stuff like that, I'm gonna get it. You get what I'm saying? And then like.
People are pretty astonished because almost that exact thing is listed in the
Now let
indictment.
me go back to what you asked me.
Conversation.
Yeah.
This is why when Loose Cannon was calling me about what 600 was doing, I'm looking at the phone like, you can't be serious. 600 then made a video with him saying what he was saying 2 seconds later and put that. So you're calling me about what 600 is saying. Brody, have you forgot the things you said?
So basically, though, they both was admitting that they were saying police shit.
600 wasn't saying police shit. Because
he was trying to contradict it. He was trying to say
600 was reporting what was on the internet. That wasn't on the internet.
That's his own personal story that he lived.
I know how to protect my team. How did it get to the internet? I made sure it went to the proper stages of getting into the internet. I ran a Clubhouse room. I played snippets, had my media team tape it, clip it, send it to YouTube, and I sent you 600. Now you can talk about it. It's on the internet.
All right, so Wack, when you hearing stories of Loose saying shit like that, so you didn't have...
That ain't my business.
No, but you didn't have any clue that he could be caught up in this Rico or anything that was going on?
How would I have? I had no idea.
I think Loose thought he was kind of...
I had no idea.
That's the thing about...
Loose thinks that because it was 2-3 years ago, like, oh, he got 20 guns. It's like, it just sounds like he's talking bullshit. But when the feds are actually able to put the case together and show that this is the type of thing they were actually doing, all of a sudden these
What they're
podcast clips
keying on in
become
that-
very important.
You know what they're keying on in that?
What?
When he says, I'm his right-hand man. See, Luce's case, the robbery he has nothing to do with Big U. What they're doing is they got this guy. They got sex trafficking, they got extortion, they got a murder, and they got some wire fraud, all that
And
stuff.
same
right?
things with Bricc is that none of his charges are actually related to Big U as of
But
yet.
what the Big U, Bricc, and Luce have in common? They're all from Rollin Sixes.
Rollin
And guess
Sixes.
what? Brick's situation and Luce's situation independently involves the same guy that was being extorted. So they're saying you were operating for Big U doing these things.
Yeah.
The same guy, Dale Monster Annoying, right? That Big U sent Sylvester Vest over there to pick up $1,000 every week of the Fed's money. You read that, right?
From the dispensary guy.
From the
right?
dispensary guy, right? The same guy that was going on with is the same guy that legitimately had issues with these two men that had nothing to do with that. They had nothing to do with they didn't know Big U was even doing that. But when he says, I'm his right-hand man, they saying, okay, 606060, Best 60, and Best ain't even a gang member. Bear Claw 60, right? And we got one target, the same dude. Well, you did that. Now, we ain't going to say it's independent. We're going to say you did that because they was doing that.
Yeah.
And we're going to call this the Big U enterprise, which is some bullshit. When the realest thing Big U said on his turn-in little videos was, Loose Cannon, Brick Baby, or not Brick Baby.
He said,
'cause
Loose
fucks with
Cannon,
Brick.
I don't really
No,
fuck
he
with
did
him.
say
Brick
Brick
Baby,
Baby.
I don't really fuck with
But
him.
he fucks with Brick Baby.
But he
No, he said he
but
doesn't.
he did say
He
in the
does- I
video.
don't
say
think
he
he fucks
don't.
with Brick Baby. Do we fuck with Brick Baby?
Yes.
That's a fact.
Wait, he denounced
No,
it?
no,
He
he
denounced
fucks.
Brick Baby.
In his
Really?
exit
Yeah, but
video,
he fucks with him. But Loose, he don't.
I mean, but it is alleged that, and that's why I'm so surprised that if I'm Brick Baby and I feel like him and you have a close personal relationship,
Mhm.
I'm either quitting or I'm telling
No,
you
bro.
no more conversation about
Bro,
me.
no, no.
He definitely needs to be careful.
It's alleged that he would rob somebody and then have these conversations. And first of all, they were tapping Big U's phone. And
They
would
got
break it down with him, which is pretty much kind of like extortion.
I don't think Brick
And
was doing
if
any
it-
of that stuff while he was working here. I'm gonna be real with you.
Okay, but
or
if
at
you've
least
done
I
it
have
in
no
the
idea.
past,
Yeah.
why would you ever talk about that man's crimes if your
a lot
crimes
of
are
these
linked to
dudes
his?
feel like if they get away with it
You
for
don't
a
wanna-
few weeks,
listen.
that they're safe.
Brick never wanted to talk about it.
If me and you used to rob stores back in the day,
Yeah.
and then now I'm on a podcast, and people want to talk about your robbing history. Maybe we're talking about you robbing stores in over there, and I
Yeah.
never robbed stores. I don't want to talk about you robbing stores. If we used to do something of the sort, that's why I'm so surprised that I thought Brick like maybe didn't have anything to do with it. I mean, again, obviously these are allegations, but kind of reading, I'm like, I don't know
What did
you,
Brick say on
that
your
paycheck
show
can't be that good. I would
when
have
I
stopped this
asked
whole
him
show.
about the AK case? He said what? It was dismissed in Compton court. Ain't that what he said? I said, what's up with that AK case? You called June 23rd, 20.
You said
It was
DA
dismissed
reject.
as DA reject. No, it ain't, Brick. The feds got it, along with the cell phone. So now you got to ask yourself, if I got caught with that, right? I'm going to be like, yo, bro, I got caught. They ain't gave me a court date.
But-
I'm not going to hide it.
By the way,
There's
that's
a reason why you hide it.
by the way, people think that you're the cop for that, but in
I'm
reality,
the what?
No. In reality, that's just being smart. It's the same thing with Zay Osama when he got caught with the switch in the Uber, and New York picked it up and dropped it. And he's like, I remember he dissed me. He was like, "Yo, I told you they ain't had nothing on me." And then the feds came right, like, "Come on,
The
like
feds,
that's
no,
just
you
using
listen what I'm saying. Compton Court never had it. The feds has always had it. Day one.
Mm.
He knew that. But why'd you lie? Because you know you got that sealed file over there about Sue surfing them in Jersey.
Well,
That's
what
in
did
the
Brick
paperwork.
ever have to do with them? You think Brick is in some way
Big
complicit
U
with that?
too. He had a sealed file. The exposers, Prince, Lavish, pulled it up. We tracked the case number back to Sue surfing them. First, we thought it was some Dirk shit. It's not Dirk shit. He got a sealed file, dope case, New Jersey. It's the same shit. Indictment,
it is.
Sue surfing them.
Yeah.
I know it is. Nigga, we the exposers, bro. That's a clubhouse thing. Let's straighten that out too. The exposers come from Clubhouse, on the side of Clubhouse, right? It was whack, 600. I let Loose Cannon in.
He really bangs Clubhouse like it's his neighborhood.
Yo,
That's a fact.
It's crazy.
That's my tool.
Yo, whoever on Clubhouse,
level of
no,
commitment
he
is
got
nuts.
great
Boy, you
sources
better
on.
check-
He
boy.
got, and listen, they on Pacer because
Boy.
I looked up the same thing and I was like, I see Jersey, but I'm not putting together what you're saying. I'm like, why the fuck is a Jersey thing reference to Bricc, baby? There is
Big
a
U's
Jersey
in the
case.
same paperwork.
But what the hell could they have been doing with Jersey?
New Jersey 60s.
Right, but what were they doing?
I think there
involved
was
with
someone with narcotics.
Brother,
I
if
don't
you
know.
read it, it says Big U's a gang leader. He supplied drugs and guns. He's number 4 out of 14, right? They got him identified, the conversations, wiretaps. This was crazy. Big U know this paperwork exists, but he don't change his phone numbers. He don't change his Instagram. This 2022. We in 2025. He still got the same information now. But 2 weeks later, when they go to serve the indictments, everybody that's in the paperwork early April, late April, they pick everybody up, but Big U name not there.
Wait, how
Took down a whole nother 5.
How do you know what's in the sealed indictment for the
No,
the
we
sous
matched. No,
Oh, you-
no, we
oh,
got
you
the
matched-
sous surf. Well, we got that work.
Okay.
That's not sealed.
Okay. Yeah.
But we matched case number
Case number, okay.
of Bricc Baby sealed to their indictment.
Okay. It's just a sealed document.
It
in the
says
case.
New Jersey
okay,
drugs.
Got you. Damn.
And I just want to say this as someone who I think, out of this group, I think I was the only one that really maintained communication with Big U over the years. I remember
That's
when
your friend.
y'all two were cool. I remember at one
Super
point.
tight.
I remember at one point you called me because you were upset at me over something. He was trying to smooth it over or something like that. So I remember y'all were cool.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
bro,
so
that's
this
just like
to me just kind of saddens me how it devolved into what it devolved into.
if you read that paperwork, you understand who he is. Dude is selfish. He want to be the one. Be the one at which you're the one at. One of his older homies said, Wack, you a good dude. You done helped us a lot over here, bro. Every time you do something for him or open the door for him, he gets more envious of you. In his head, he's saying, I'm Big U from Rollin 60s. I'm supposed to be able to do that. He said, every time you do something for him, teach him something, give him a plug. I'm grateful and thankful for any plug, any resource I get, anybody that helps me out. I'm never looking I want to be bigger than this dude. I just stay in my lane. I want all my friends, my buddies around me to be bigger than me because it gives me something to keep climbing for. And if they're bigger than me, if I slip and take a fall, I got great support. It's the way I see it. Nobody ever tell you they got the feeling for me that I was trying to outshine them, outdo them. None of that. Right? He's a selfish dude. He can't help himself.
And y'all fell out because he tried to backdoor you on some
Yeah,
business.
when he went to my label and did what he did. Yeah.
Hey, how long did you know about the because I think the majority of what came from this indictment came from that murder investigation when they got the Title III intercept, which is the wiretap. Once that popped off, like it led to them kind of concocting this Big U enterprise because they're just sitting on his phone, and I don't know if Big U was just like, even though they even have him saying, "Yo, I think they're listening to me," but he just stays with the same phone and keeps talking about crimes allegedly. You
What
know
did
what
I
I mean?
just tell you?
You
But
always
it's the
say that
murder,
Big
though.
U is
Did
dumb
you
as
ever know
fuck.
about that?
Do you credit
No.
that to just that?
What?
You always say that Big U is a fucking moron. You
Oh,
said
he's
that to
dumb
me
as
many times. So when you say that, is that the explanation for it? Is
No,
that
he's
he's
dumb.
just not
He's
really
not smart.
He's not with it enough.
But he's somebody that people will reach out to because he built his name.
Big drink.
The team around him built his name. So, but he's not smart. People will come to him for something. He'll have 8 people on the phone be like, yeah, my guy here, my game be taking, yo, could you figure this out? He's just not smart.
So, wait, so when did you know first, like, ever hear about this murder? Because
A year ago, 2024, when the family called.
So that audio is from that long ago?
No, that audio's from March 3rd.
All right, so the family called you another time.
The family called me way back in 2024.
And what was initially
Not only did
said?
they call me, come to find out, they reached out to Loose Cannon and 600 Independent. When we started talking, they like, yeah, they contacted me too.
They should have reached out to Big Homie CC.
SKG, same way.
No.
Right? They reached out to her too. So I heard what they was telling me, but I'm like, all right. About 3 months later, I go have a conversation with another one of my homies, and I say, yo, I got this call. And he like, yo, Wack, that's, because some things happened with him behind that, right? So I'm like, okay, food for thought. And then March 3rd, I woke up to a text. They found his DNA. Whose DNA? I put it up on my Instagram. Whose DNA? Big U. What DNA? What question mark? My brother. Vegas? Vegas. That's when I called. When I called, she was there with her mother. She's telling me the mother get on the phone and start filling in the blanks and tells me don't say anything. They're going to get him at the end of March, top of April. So at that point in time, whether I f with him or not saying anything is the police program.
Hey, by the way, I'm wondering, like, the Fed sat on a wiretap for 2 years on him. And I'm wondering, did that kid have, like, some significance, or was it, like, a lot of community support? Because they look like either they wanted Big U badly or...
Big U was working. He had the New Jersey 60s. He was taking them down. If you got a dude in the middle of 2-3 operations, one, they're going to say, look, bro, he's not going anywhere. He's asleep. He don't even know y'all coming for that. So the whole time they're building their case. Do you know they monitored him and fed him extortion money up until March 14th?
That's one of the craziest details. The detail that they gave somebody money
So
to
it
pay
made
for
sense
extortion.
why they were coming to end of March, top of April, because they were getting as much as they could. Every time he accepted the federal $1,000, right? And by the way, I told y'all dude broke. Anybody 58 years old extorting a dude for a stack and 500 pockets is hurt. This is a fact.
He accepted 500 one time as a payment.
I mean, over the couple years of the grid program, he got 2.5 million, and they said he was just taking money out. It's no way he's broke. They showed properties that was worth.
Did you see him begging for help? Do you think he had turned it up before he turned himself in? If he would have, he would have known it's not whack at 600. He had no idea what his paperwork read. How we got his paperwork reading it when he talking about turning himself in, and he don't know what's in his paperwork.
Yeah, but I think that was a smoke signal to the streets that you guys are snitches, that they can handle you.
Snitches where?
Well, no, that's him.
He didn't know we had the paperwork?
No. When I watched that Big U message, I was just like, yeah, I don't know if I want to be around whack in LA for the next couple months.
Snitches where?
No, because if a decorated street guy is going down and his last video is like, just to let you know, when I was getting arrested, this guy was with the cops.
Stop. Didn't I tell you he's a dummy? Rewind. Listen, they hit his house, they say 4:35 in the morning. He said when they was raided, they just kept asking us about whack. Dummy, you was never there when they raided. It's cat.
That's what I'm saying. It's a smoke signal to put a target.
How the hell they asking you guys about whack and you're not home when they raided?
Well, somebody could have been home, but still, that's
nobody was home. His whole family was in that van.
So you don't think that they were trying to put a target on him?
And then he said 600 was with him when they raided. It's obvious 600's in the street, filming the house.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not about telling the truth. It's
He
about
clearly pulls up after it already happened.
Way after.
Yeah,
it was like 3 hours after.
And he also accused you guys of basically putting a case on him, which is insane to think that the feds would just pick you guys up because 600 made a bunch of Instagram reels.
Well, but that's why my theory is right. He just wants to put a target on their back.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That's just listen.
It's just brain dead that he thinks anyone would fall for that.
So what happened to the investigation in
some street
2021?
dudes
What happened to Vay, who said, I drove Big U from LA. We got a call that the kid dissed Big U in the song. I drove Big U from here to a studio to an Airbnb over, he killed him and threw him in the ditch over here.
Are we ever going to hear that song?
Well, I don't know.
The Big U diss song?
Never was out.
The song thing doesn't quite make sense to me.
It's a weird concept,
The song thing doesn't
right?
quite make sense.
I don't know. I never heard the song.
They're saying that the kid apparently recorded a song that was dissing Big U, but then he was signed to Big U and was there for free to record at a professional studio.
But he was kind of mad at Big U, so he made a diss song about him, and then Big U heard it, so he drives to Vegas, gets in an argument with him, ends up killing him.
Did he ride with Big U to Vegas?
No.
They got in an argument at an argument / altercation at the studio. That's why they deleted the footage.
Yeah.
They then go somewhere else, and by the way, they did pretty good forensic work on that, because where they found him, They tracked the time that you would normally take. It was after midnight, so it
I
usually
called
take
50
17
minutes. The paperwork said 48.
Yeah,
it was 2 minutes off.
Wow.
It was pretty much accurate. They got the forensic from the blood to say, hey, he wasn't killed here, because the first cops that pulled up, they said, oh, he was killed on the side of the road, and they're like, no. Look at the gravel, the dirt. He was pulled over here, and essentially he died somewhere else, and they matched it to Big U's GPS, which is
it's like if you would kill someone over that, you probably are just killing people all the time.
No, they didn't. Like, fix that.
Wow.
What Big U did is he went to one location.
Oh, he turned his phone off.
The platinum producer turned it off, waited so it wasn't tracking. This where the dummy went wrong.
Better than me.
This where the dummy.
This is my job.
This is where the dummy went wrong at. He went and did everything he did. Instead of keeping the phone off and not turning it on to the next day, soon as he got done with the body, he went back to the producer's studio and turned it on. That's how they was able to triangulate.
Yeah, and
the
apparently
time.
he was dripping.
He should have
sweat
left it off.
or like just wet somehow.
He should have left the phone off.
And he told him, "Yo, I just."
But
came
he's
from
a
the gym."
Yeah, that
dickwit.
one's crazy.
Yo.
He always been a dummy.
Yo, telling somebody at the recording studio, I just came from the gym at like
3 in the
2,
morning?
3 in the morning is crazy. Like, yo,
Hit the deadlift, man.
Oh man.
What did he say? The dude said, yeah, man, this would end it. This would kill me. Yeah. It's diabolical, and I'm honored that a dude 58 years old who's looking at life in the feds, mind is on whack 100 and 100 side of Clubhouse. He gave it up. He said, you 100 side people, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Big shout out.
This big shout out. And he said, he ended it and said what?
That you
'Cause
trying
I-
to take his program.
No, he,
No, he's trying to
said
lose that. Like,
he
you
said,
trying to take his
whoever in my
program.
neighborhood takes my contracts, I know you're working for whack. Whack's been denouncing the program. Like, bro, I've been denouncing the grid program.
Reading the indictment, right? We're
He says,
your
I
favorite
didn't do
homeboy.
nothing wrong.
Top 5.
Hey, reading the indictment, because I've heard you on Clubhouse, and there was a whole while where you were talking about Big U a lot, and I've always heard when people asked you if you would ever do anything to him, you said, "Listen, I know his family. I would never wish anything bad on him." When you read the indictment, he's telling people like, "Yo, somebody need to break this nigga's jaw. Somebody need to whip his ass."
Okay, watch
and
this.
it's almost threatening violence a lot to you. Were you
Watch
shocked by
this.
that?
What? No, I wasn't. He know not to fuck with me. Watch this. Every week, he sent him over there to pick up the 1,000, right? I tell people where I'm at every week.
Yeah.
He knew where my spot's at every week. Bro, listen, Big U don't do none of that. He's a big body, had influence on other bodies. He himself don't do none of that.
But you think he killed this kid
No.
in Vegas?
Sylvester Robinson, they said he killed the kid, the driver.
Well, I mean, also
The driver said that someone else, not Big U, killed him, but
No,
Big U
he
was
said
with
Big
him?
U killed him.
Oh, okay.
The dude that was with him put the murder on him. The
But-
dude that was going to
you
pick
just
up
said.
the extortion money.
yo,
Yeah, it's in the paperwork.
Wait, say
Whack.
it again the way you said it.
I'm getting the top 5 call, too.
Huh?
by the way.
You're getting top 5 call.
Yeah, I don't talk to dude, bro. I don't fuck with dude. Dude's a troll.
I'm just going to say doing a pod.
Wait, so what was it you said?
What?
No, he's basically saying that the most of the proof about if Big U killed this
The
person
specific person
comes
who
from
killed the
this
kid.
witness who's
If
basically
you're driving
deducing.
me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're on the way. Yeah, this bitch ass nigga dissed me in the song. Boom, boom, boom. We get over there. You see everything that's going on.
He's a key witness. for
He's
that.
there. They tested his DNA to see if you helped drag the body. They tested Sylvester. But you know what they had Sylvester on? You were the one being sent to pick up the extortion money over 2-3 years. Like, we got you on 100 cases of extortion. They like 50-something years, 57. He ain't never did a day in jail. Then we're going to give you 30 years. Or if you don't talk to him, who was you with him? Nobody knew what time he left L.A. to go to Vegas. And he went, they the one that single out. They went from here to here to there, and here. Sylvester gave him that. That's why that DNA, how they have it, same way they had it on Tory, right? That's how they presented it on Tory. It could be, maybe it's not.
Well, but that's the only thing I think you were incorrect about though.
What?
Because when you said on Clubhouse, they found unless it's
No,
gonna come out as
I didn't,
supersede.
no.
You said they found Big U's
No.
DNA under his
No,
fingernail.
no.
They said
No, who
they,
said it? I sent you the record. The sister and the mother
okay,
said it.
Okay. Yeah, in the paperwork it doesn't say it. In the paperwork it says it's inconclusive. You can't rule it out, but you know,
You can't rule it out, right?
But it could be him. But it could.
And
also,
guess what the driver did?
It didn't help corroborate it. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Can we just get a
Wait, are
word
you
from
saying
top 5?
I don't with dude. You can talk to
okay.
him.
I just want
He's gonna scream my name.
He just
like
wants
I'm
to say
abroad.
free Bricc baby, I think. And Big U.
This dude called me 18 times last night.
Top 5's the only dude who's more dangerous in LA than academics.
That dude.
Hey, free Bricc baby.
Yo, Big U, man. Yo, Rock, why you do that to Big U, man? Why you do that to my nigga, man? Everybody keeps going to jail around you, but you.
He didn't do that one.
Yo,
He
top
didn't do that
5,
one.
man.
I went to jail. Big U went to jail. Bricc baby went to jail.
You saying I sent you to jail? That what you
Nigga, you
saying?
did send me to jail.
I thought
Huh?
I sent Top 5 to jail.
What?
I thought I sent you to jail.
Hold on. I thought you did
I
it?
thought I sent him to jail.
Oh, okay.
Yo, Five, you say you was gonna get the paperwork for your case. Did it say Whack 100 name? You gotta send it to the exposer on the other side.
Send it to my lawyer, man. That boy right there, that 6-year-old fake kingpin, keeps putting people in jail.
Why you was getting f***ed in the ass in there, though? No, you got hit, nigga. Nigga, the people, hey, look, my man's up there told me you got violated. You got violated. The same way you got mushed in the face, kicked in. Why y'all get this dude credit? We watched him on video get mushed in the face, kicked in the ass, and chased. You's a buster. Once a buster, always a buster.
No, that's
You's
what
a
turned him
buster.
into a monster.
No, it didn't. He's a buster.
He went to kill
You would
school
never
after that.
find nothing where a nigga mushing me in the face, kicking me in my ass. You's a buster. And he only do it because he can't come down here.
You called FBI, brother. You called federal bureau investigators.
Put that on your mama. Put that on your mama. Put that on your mama that's really your daddy.
You know your daughter's in my DM.
Put that on your mama that's really your daddy.
I'm flying your daughter out tomorrow.
All right, I'm gonna hit you up.
Like, dude
demon.
is obsessed with me. He called me 18 times from fake numbers.
He's calling Kanye too. You're top
They're
up.
friends now.
No, but that's what it is. He's a nobody.
Yeah,
Do you not understand? Dude is really a nobody. Piggybacking
I
off
think you're like
Drake's
his
name.
nemesis. Like, he looks at him.
No, because first he begged me, hey, big homie, can we go live together? I showed you the shit.
Yeah.
Can we go live when I didn't want to with him? Like, bro, you like a little flea.
Well, Kanye's giving him energy now. I'm not gonna lie.
You like
You
a
talked
little
to him
biggest-
about
he's
in
the
your
biggest
in your
rapper
interview.
from over there, like,
Flea.
doing
We ain't get to top 5.
I'll be the biggest rapper.
How long you interview Kanye for?
Craziest interview ever.
I believe
it's
it.
probably
By the
like
way,
over an
congrats, man.
Yeah, that's
Congrats.
insane.
This is
Nah,
about
I
to be your
appreciate
biggest
it.
interview ever.
Major.
Yeah, no.
This is about
for
to be the
real.
one.
How long?
Congratulations.
This is over an hour, probably like an hour 20.
Okay.
But it's a whole long thing. This is literally how it goes. It's one continuous recording from the moment I get out of the car.
Don't edit.
And he,
Don't edit it. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. I know my bro.
He walks out and hops in an SUV to go to Japan. Like
As
we
soon as
were
you get done
supposed to do
talking.
it. Yeah, we're supposed to do it at his big studio, whatever, like his warehouse, wherever it is. And then he's like,
Downtown,
"Yo,
yeah.
you're either gonna have to come to Japan because people are trying to kill me or they're trying to put me in the hospital, and I'm going to Japan now." And
Don't edit it.
then I was like, "All right, I could make it at this time." He's like, "Cool." He hits me back. He says, "I'm leaving at this time." So I'm doubling there to get it. He gave me 40 minutes. He pretty much turned it to 120.
So he really think Jay-Z trying to kill him?
Yeah, he hates all of them niggas, man.
Everybody
Yo,
betrayed
I
him.
gonna
You see
lie to
that
you.
long list?
Yo,
We aren't on it.
I gotta figure
Somehow.
out. He took a White Lives Matter shirt off his back and gave me. I gotta figure out what to do with it.
Frame it. Put it in
He
the
made
case.
you wear it.
Huh?
You put it on? Would you
Nah, nah,
would
nah,
you wear
he-
the swastika shirt?
Now, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh, that's
Nah,
drip.
he ain't.
Hold
That's
on.
drip.
No,
You better not wear it.
Let me
That's
ask
drip.
hold
You
on,
gotta
let me-
do it for the
let me
drip.
ask
Drip
you
or
if this
drown.
let me ask you if this is drip.
Sure.
So, again, everything's changing quickly because whatever's happening on Twitter is really happening in his real life, right? So he's like, "Yo, I'm headed to Japan. Fuck this. I need to go cool out there. People trying to kill me. If you don't get here now, you got to meet me in Japan." I'm like, "All right, let's go get it." I'm rushing there, right? So I'm reading his message. He types very different, like, you know.
Yeah.
And so he says, and I read it wrong the first time. He's like, "Yo, heads," heads, because usually I'm in group chat with him. He's like, "Heads, I'm about to wear my outfit," and I'm like, "Okay." He's wearing his black outfit. Then I read it back again, and he was saying, "Yo, heads up, I'm wearing my black KKK fit." Does the whole interview in a black KKK fit.
No way. Not with the hood on.
I mean, at this point in time, it's not shocking.
Nah.
Wait.
Nah.
So he's got an all-black KKK outfit.
The entire time.
Is he wearing the head, the headpiece?
I'm looking through two holes in his eyes.
What the fuck? Are you
Yo, we get
Are
to
you
get
sure
to
it's
his
even him,
hotel.
though?
That's
Are
what
you
I'm
sure
about
it's
to say.
him?
No. When I walk,
Oh, no, it's
everything's
him.
on video. When we walk in, he got his swastika chain on,
Oh my
right?
Nah, you gotta
He's
blur
like,
that, man.
yo, he's still like Kanye, so he's like, yo, move this couch, do this. Let's set this up here because we're doing it in his hotel room, right? Move this. Matter of fact, fuck it, I want to stand. Yo, I'm gonna go change.
He
Goes
was
to
just
change.
down the street from his warehouse. He at his hotel because he stayed
No,
in one spot.
shit, it was mad organic. Yo, he goes to change, and I'm like, okay, and he just walks out, and it's the black KKK outfit. I watched the video back. It kind of looks crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna look crazy. Like there's something uniquely controversial about that. Like when Myron put the KKK hood on, it felt like that fully put him in a different category, even beyond every other offensive thing he had said before.
When
that.
I seen that, I was just like, all right, so this is not going on YouTube. But again, I'm putting it out unedited. But I'm like, it might be an X drop. I think they hit me up and said we could do a Yeezy.com drop on with it.
Wow.
But we're gonna put it out unedited.
It was that
you know?
racist.
No, you
it was
can't
that
edit
much
this
controversial
shit,
shit.
bro.
Yeah, I'm not.
You'll never get another interview out
If
of
it
him
hits
again.
YouTube, it's going to be gone in 30 seconds.
Yeah. No.
It's that
It's not going on my YouTube.
If he's wearing a Klansman outfit, for sure, that could probably do it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, instantly.
You think X will let it rock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think
mean, they
actually
let way worse shit go.
What about if they blur the KKK, the mask?
Yeah, I'm putting it
Not on
out
screen.
unedited. I'm gonna put it on X.
Just do it for
I-
the streets.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, like again,
on SoundCloud.
it would be some legendary shit for monetization, but I'm good. I don't need to be monetizing. I'm fine. But I'm sorry, just put it on X or put it on a website.
Is there any part of you that's morally conflicted about giving a voice to stuff that surely a lot of people will say that you're a grifter and you're a piece of shit because you're platforming somebody who's saying all this horrible stuff?
Yo,
I'm not. Listen again.
listen.
That whole platforming thing is Kanye West.
Listen, look, I'm gonna be
Like we're
real.
not talking about like maybe
Let me
Nick
be
Fuentes
real.
or whatever. It's still Kanye West.
Kanye.
I think the shock value of what Ye's been doing with the swastika is overshadowing what he's really attempting to do.
No, he kind of explains
This
it.
is what
I'm not sure
this
people
is
are gonna buy.
what he's attempting to do. This is what I believe he's attempting to do, knowing how he thinks.
Yo, Vlad, I should chop it
Like
up.
they have,
Chop it up, yeah, chop it up. Put it on pieces.
Baby.
I believe Ye.
But really, X is probably going to be the only place you could do it because you can't do Instagram. Definitely can't do Facebook.
Yeah, you're right.
TikTok might let it rock.
I got somewhere you can
TikTok's
do it.
crazy with the
TikTok ain't
censorship
gonna
too.
let
Yeah. No, they're gnarly.
Yeah.
Dystopia.
Snapchat,
What's Rumble saying these days?
Listen,
yeah, Rumble.
listen.
Rumble would be down.
We called Rumble.
No, listen.
real.
Truth Social.
They should
Listen.
give you the bag for that.
Dystopia.
That's Rumble, basically.
I know the owners. They'll let you put and they'll monetize it.
Where?
Yeah, it's hold on.
Dystopia.
Wait,
I know
hold
the
on.
owners.
You know,
They
the
don't
only
give a
thing.
fuck.
Hey, listen. Once I did it, I'm
Shout
like,
out Latif.
and this is the only thing I'll say about it. Me deciding to publish it, I have zero financial interest. I don't want to make money. So number one, I'm like after doing it, I'm like I'm not putting this on YouTube and putting it on any platform. I'm not looking at any financial opportunity.
I think.
You
Listen,
get what I'm saying? I think this will be an opportunity for the people who care about Kanye and Kanye's opinions. You could judge him in whatever format, and that'll be it. Like, you know
I
what
think
I mean?
what
I'm
he's trying to do is devalue the swastika for what we know it to represent, as if people did with the word nigga, how it's just a worldly thing and you can hear it and nobody really cares. I think he's trying to which could lead to a problem for those people that represent and stand behind that, right?
I don't think you get to use that excuse when you're also kind of talking about how the Jews run the world and just ranting against them on a day-to-day basis. In that context, it's easy to take the swastika as meaning something very similar to what Hitler meant with it.
Part of what he tried to explain, he said, listen, you have, and I'll just say, you have other people that really profit off of black pain and they monetize off of it. They're like, you name me an artist that could drop a song through a DSP, have a label
I see what he's doing.
and he's like, they're monetizing off black pain. He's
but
like,
when he put this up, it's a problem.
but your pain, it becomes a huge problem if I'm exploiting.
Well, here goes the problem.
And again, I'm not saying I agree here.
Here goes the problem with that. Politics. This world ain't ran on right and wrong. And politics to make a right situation wrong and a wrong situation right, depending on the politics of the situation. In the world we live in, especially with entertainment, those politics will never be right amongst the powers that be that push the button for our type of entertainment. I see what he's trying to do, but it's like it's politically incorrect.
To say the least.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I get what you're saying, but it's the wrong jungle to do it in. But I'm gonna be real. He's the only dude we see get canceled, come back, and doing it, and nobody's making any attempts to do nothing about it. So,
well, he's already kind of been so thoroughly canceled that there's not a lot of things left to
not
really
canceled no
cancel
more.
him from.
he came back. They took it and he came back.
He's got a fan base, but it's not like he has
he's
really
still
any
canceled, just
involvement.
successful.
He doesn't
Like,
have involvement with big corporations. That's how you
What do
cancel
mean?
somebody.
How's he
typically.
canceled when he put some shit up and it's gone?
No, but that's the one thing they can't take away from him. And they still try. They still try to take it down in the Shopify store. They did, I believe.
Did
They
Yeah.
took the Shopify store down.
I'm sure he found another
You
good
can't
option.
sell swastika T-shirts, man.
Not the Super Bowl for sure.
But
Seriously.
what he's
I mean,
saying,
Any platform would take that
My boy
down.
really
But
got
he's
a,
saying-
he got a
but-
bust down swastika chain, man.
But
Yeah,
hold on.
if you allowed
You can't
that, there would
sell
be all kinds
swastika
of
on
Nazi groups selling shit
Amazon.
on that.
but
those
what he's
platforms.
saying
On
is,
Target,
But what he-
Walmart,
but
none
what
of these
he's
places
saying
you can sell a
is-
swastika shirt on.
you can sell something that say "What's up, cuz?" or "Crip of Blood" or "My nigga" on it.
Who's doing that?
I mean, what the fuck you mean? YG did it, I'm sure, when
Yeah,
my
a black
nigga was
guy.
out. But I'm saying, but this is what he said. Which again, I get what he's saying, but it's not politically correct.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's just not.
I also don't think it's
It's
been
not.
explained in that way at all. Like if Kanye were to come out and had stated his mission statement for his swastika merch, maybe people would have been a little sympathetic to the artistic statement he was making, but he didn't. And then he also combined it with him kind of ranting against the Jews,
Yeah.
as well as
A lot of his
calling,
vitriol,
calling
How do you
Drake
feel
a-
about- you
the
know
F
what?
slur and all these other
How do
crazy
you
things.
feel about it, bro? You are Jewish.
Yeah.
You've been quiet. You've been playing how do you feel about it? Ye ain't gonna never talk to you anyway. So how do you feel about
I've
it?
interviewed Kanye before.
They've gone back and
I
forth.
don't think right now,
Before Vlad TV.
because I don't think you would do it.
I would do it. I don't think he would do it.
Okay, well, how do you feel about
If
it?
if he walks in the same way he walked in me,
Yeah, I would do it.
With him
You'd
in the
interview him in
Yeah,
the
with the
Klansman
whole
outfit?
getup.
I feel like it would go over even worse
Oh,
with,
no,
with
whole
a
getup.
person
We
who looks
can
like
talk
us.
about
Yeah.
he said, "Oh, get up."
The whole getup.
Whole getup.
As long as the Godfather
but
co-signs it.
Yo.
Yo.
He's
Come on,
gonna
put
get
your own-
hell. A person like us sitting across from a black Klansman outfit. Oh Lord!
Yeah, I'm a-
Well, hold on.
you?
Before I answer your question, why do you think it was a black Klansman outfit as opposed to a white Klansman outfit? Because he had posted up a white Klansman outfit with the swastika chain on it.
Yo,
He's a
put it like
fashion
this.
guru.
Yo, put it like this. Yeah. Yo, here's the thing. Yo, I'm telling you, I don't know. Like Kanye is really interesting. Again, I walk into the suite. He's dolo. There's no security life blanket him. I pulled up and I was
None of
like,
that.
I'm here to see Ye. Like at some hotel. Like if you're on Twitter, when he says, yo, someone knocked on my door and they say, yo, go to a hotel. He tells me what hotel he's at. It's not even like no super security thing. I pull up and I'm like, I'm here to see Ye. They're like, oh, go up to this floor. He's there. He tells me the room number. I knock on it. 1 minute. He pops out. I see the swastika chain. He's like, yo, come on in. And then
And it's just him.
just him.
That's
That
how
kind
he
of says a
moves.
lot. He
Okay,
used to
okay.
be around like a
John
ton of
Monopoly?
collaborators.
No.
Yo, all he
That's how
has
he moves.
is a duffel bag, and it had 3 things in it. First of all, he's wearing a Sean John, that shirt he's selling, shirt. 3 things in it: a black Klans outfit, a white Klans outfit.
Oh, so
my
he got the
God.
white one.
Yeah, I don't know why he went black.
This dude.
And then a White Lives Matter T-shirt, which he
Of
took
course.
off his back later.
So he has no non-racist outfit to wear. I mean, White Lives Matter, you can interpret it however you want. The Klansman outfit is a
I
little bit
asked him
more
if he
cut
wore
and
that
dry.
shit out in public yet, and he's like, yo, he
Well, what?
the like Klansman outfit.
Yo,
Yeah,
imagine
he's
how
been out
much
in
that'll break
public.
the internet when there's a paparazzi photo of Kanye walking down the street with the Klan outfit.
I don't think he wore that one in public. I ain't seen it.
Ain't
Yeah,
nobody.
man.
gonna-
White
That's
Lives
gonna be a
Matter.
moment.
Yo,
I mean, he told me, he was
let
like,
me
yo,
tell you the
yesterday
most-
I was gonna.
Let me tell you the
Go all
most
out until other shit
craziest
happens.
thing I seen.
Can you
him
get
do.
through TSA
Well,
with
but
that?
you know, wait, to answer your question, I mean, I've
How do you
had
feel about it?
I've had family members killed by Nazis. Like my grandfather's, all his siblings died when the Nazis bombed our city.
You know we share that, right?
Yeah.
We have a lot of our people killed by Nazis
Guy
too.
at Parliament?
That's why it's crazy.
Yeah. So I think it's sad that this is being pushed in this type of way. And I don't know, from his point of view, I don't know whether this is like performance art. I'm almost thinking this is kind of what he's thinking at this point. This is performance. I'm going to show y'all how I take the swastika and make it my own and
Make it
monetize it and so forth and get everyone behind it.
Nah, he was definitely different.
What
Yeah.
happens when he tattoos it right here on his neck?
Oh, please do that. That would be so crazy.
He told me a story, and he
for
basically said that a
That's
lot of
amazing.
what he's saying, he's like, yo, I'm saying it. He's like, I figure out. He's like, people have hurt me, and I figure out what hurts them, and what hurts
There you
them,
go.
I'm gonna use it.
There you go.
And he's like, and because the Jay-Z tweet, he quadrupled.
Let
it.
me ask you
yeah.
something. Did you?
Wait, the Jay-Z tweet, he quadrupled in the interview?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Oh,
gonna violate.
hell no.
They
Let
might
me
be
ask you
suing him,
something.
right?
Rock Nation definitely gonna
Did
kill
you
you.
feel like you are having 3 to 5 different conversations with him at one time, and you had to keep up with which conversation he was at, where he was in. That's what he does.
Hey.
I can keep up with him. It's weird. That's when I knew I was weird, because I can really keep up with
When's
him.
the last time Kanye did like an interview, not Justin LeBoy interview?
A couple years ago when he was like supposed to do Vlad and No Jumper, he did like a bunch of he did Alex
Drink Champs?
Jones,
Drink Champs,
but
right?
I don't think he sat down with anybody hip hop.
Jason
And-
Lee.
Well, he does the shit with Justin LeBoy.
He did Jason Lee,
I
too.
don't know if that counts.
He did Jason Lee, because I set that one up.
No, but that was a while ago.
That was all
that was
still, like,
2022,
2, almost 3
2023.
years
The
ago.
only precursor I would say here, and this is very unlike any interview I've ever done, because everybody know I run my mouth. They call me Yapidemics. It's all good. This right here was more of a Kanye stream of consciousness being slightly, gauged or like, hey, okay, what about this? More than it's a lot of rants and tangential things where you could tell like it's so passionate for him. And again, it's kind of like, the optics on it. So I'm watching. Again, he has the hood on, so I could only see his eyes. And I could just see how some of these things like really bother him. Like even when I threw it back to him, extra pause. When I said, well, you're talking about Kris Jenner and you're talking about Kim Kardashian like that, but it feels like you're not taking accountability. You picked her, and
That's a fact.
He fought for her.
Yeah,
That was his dream girl.
Yeah, and that those are the moments where, like, I could just see it in his eyes. You know what I mean? Like
The
he's
pain?
just not only pain, but it's just like so passionate.
Mm.
Like even the Cardi stuff. Like and one thing
That's
I say
gonna
with
be
him,
gold.
yo, he's like really whatever you see on Twitter, he's actually saying.
He said he's gonna ruin Cardi's life.
Yo, he's like, yo, that was my last heartbreak.
Do you guys think he went too far
Yes.
when he mentioned the thing about Jay-Z's
Yes.
youngest child?
I feel like that might be
daughters?
the worst thing that I've ever seen a celebrity put out there into the universe.
Now you know what he's doing. What I
Well,
think
he said that
he said
that Kim sex affects his black children.
no,
Very
no,
much
no.
belongs in the same category. Yeah,
No,
that's, you
no.
know,
I think what he said
that
about
sex
Jay-
is his
trafficking.
but he's using a very expansive
Ah.
definition of to include like modeling, right?
So here goes the thing, right?
To
Just,
say
just,
sex
just to shoot him some bail on that
he
one.
thinks the exploitation of younger kids, whether you're their parents or not, if you're having them taking risque photos, you're exploiting their sexuality,
go.
and that is sex trafficking to him.
And he's previously said that he didn't like that Kim was doing all these TikToks with her and all this shit.
That
You
was
see
a
the
while
Andrew
back.
Tate thing?
Do you
and
think?
that she allegedly rushed her kids out of there because she heard the Tate brothers.
Do you
were gonna
think there's
meet
any
up
truth
with-
to that? What he said
Sure.
about
Oh.
Jay-Z's kids?
Oh, I mean, I ain't even seen the kids.
We're asking if they're
That's my point.
mentally disabled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, maybe if I'd seen them, I
Hold
would
on,
have
I'm
a better
gonna be
answer. I
honest
don't
with
know.
you,
That's my point.
because I talked to him afterwards, and I was just like, yo, yeah,
I don't.
bro, bro, we gotta leave the kid, and he was just like, what I'm saying is the truth.
That's
And right there, I was just like, I'm just going. He's like, if you could tell me different, tell me different. But I know something you don't know, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
because here it goes, right? This is a situation where if you're saying that, right, you could really be sued about it.
And
Unless
that
it's
seems like
true.
that could be coming. That's been discussed that might be coming.
But unless it's true, you can't sue him if it's true. And is he forcing?
Yo, he definitely holds little things. He's like, yo, he gets into a part where he's talking about Northwest, and he's like, all I wanted. He's like, this is the only family I have, and it's my actual blood. And he brings it back to Cardi, and he says, you know, someone like, he said, this is a girl that's privileged, and she could get whatever she wants, and she's like, you know, look who her father is, and it's like, at school though, it's cool when Playboy Cardi says, hey, I want to do a song with you. But he's like, the reason I go that hard for my kids is because my daughter, when Cardi does that and I disapprove, she tells me, if you don't like Cardi, I don't like Cardi. And basically he just said, this is the only, and like he almost basically said
She's
that
with him.
this is the only semblance of family he has. That's why when he's talking about his kids, like, he don't care about Cam, all these other people in the industry. He cares about his direct blood lineage. And that might kind of have like this correlation to, you know, maybe how people felt like everything happened since his mother died. Like, he really feels like those are the only people who are always for him, because what he talked about half the time was like, these people use me. It's like, yo, look what I did for Dolla $. Look what I did for John
Ty
Legend.
used him? I don't think Ty.
He's done with Ty, huh?
The only reason he said he's done with Ty is because Ty said, like, I don't condone
put
any
out a
form of hate
statement,
speech.
yeah. It's
And
kind of a
Ye
vague
was
statement.
betrayed
It wasn't
because
really
he's a
the
hate speech
denouncement
advocate.
that he's
So
acting like it is.
why did Ty even speak on it? Why he just didn't stay quiet?
He's probably got
he
so
gives
much
some
pressure on
context.
him.
No,
you
no,
know?
he gives some
He did
context.
the whole album with him after he was doing all that.
No,
It was
no,
like-
no, he gives some
No,
context.
that was prior.
No,
That album
yeah.
happened previous.
Yeah, it's previously.
But he's been speaking for a minute.
No. He gave some context. He said, I had a conversation with Ty. And he said Ty told him, yo, they're on my head. I got to say something. And he said him and Ty agreed that Ty was going to put something out to the effect of, hey, I love everybody, but Kanye's racist. It was something actually worse. And
Yeah.
instead, he
Oh,
said,
he said that?
yo,
He
said,
he didn't say that. He just said, I love everybody.
Yeah, no.
It was
No.
like a
that's the thing.
nerfed
So,
version
so,
of that.
so Kanye said they had that agreement. Kanye said, I'm on a plane. And he hits me and I tell him that. He said, before I could land, when I look at what I agreed that he could put up, which is worse, but it absolves him, if he claims he has to say something, because that's his big thing. He's like, yo, you guys don't have to agree with me, but all the people who I've helped, I got you $7 million. Jim Jones, you got $2 million off of me. You got, all you guys now want to just turn your back on me. He said by the time he landed, he said for him, when he looked at Instagram, he was speaking just like how some people usually express that they love everyone. And he's like, oh, so what we agreed to do, which I understood you. You didn't want to do. You wanted to do it to appease other people who are putting you against me. So fuck you. That's his demeanor to it. And I mean, he pointed out several instances from Travis, you know what I mean, Cardi. You know, he's like, yo, listen, we have music going, and you guys don't end up putting it on there. He's like, Travis reworks 4 songs when I fucking helped him, and he brought him out to Wyoming, and he does it without me. When all of these are like my kids.
But here's the thing with Ye, right? Eventually, in the process of being Ye's friend, if you're doing it for a long period of time, he's so controversial and he's so a leader with himself and his thoughts, he's eventually going to do something that you just simply can't do. And at that point in time, he's going to label you disloyal.
A sellout.
You get what I'm saying?
Ty Dolla $ign is like Fresh.
What?
Because Fresh is along for the ride with Myron. And,
he's the one Fresh with
you know,
Fresh.
he
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
really want to be sitting next to the guy who's talking about how Hitler was cool and 6 million didn't really die and all this shit. And Fresh is like, he's just.
Myron say that?
Myron says everything under the sun, pretty much. Yeah, at a certain point. And you can tell that Fresh doesn't like it, but Fresh is kind of along for the ride. But Fresh has not really denounced Myron in the way that Ty Dolla $ign kind of made his statement.
Yeah, I think that's basically what he said. He
Yeah.
said, just don't speak against me.
Right.
He's like, yo, it's like you have people like John Legend. I put on a red hat, you know. He said, this guy's start going against me. Even Pusha T.
I gotta piss. You guys gotta do this alone for
Even
a second.
Pusha T. Anyway, I mean, what else going on, man?
Hey,
Have you seen the Yellow Beezy thing?
No, I
Yeah,
didn't
that's
see that.
crazy.
Wait,
Capital murder, huh?
yeah, no, the
Who's
capital
being
murder.
charged with?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No way.
I mean,
They say he paid off the killers of Mo 3, right?
Whoa.
I talked to Rainwater. Rainwater said
Damn.
it been there. He just wasn't going to speak on it until it was spoke on.
yeah, I've been
So I guess whoever whoever the chick was, right? I guess whoever was tied to that, whatever they was all tied in, that was kind of crazy, man. I hate to see that. Damn, man, like Yellow Beezy, you know, good dude, but gee whiz, it looked like somebody got tired of doing time and talked.
I feel like hip hop is on edge right now. I see Bobby Shmurda, who has been incarcerated for gang related charges before. He just came out and be like, "Oh, hey, just a reminder, I'm not in the gang." It feels like people are kind of almost seeing another sweep happen, right? Where, you know, obviously a lot of the LA Rolling 60 stuff that isn't all rap stuff, but then when you see the situation with Yellow Beezy and other things, and there's a lot of like criminal things popping up. People are, you know, I think people are always surprised when they think something is left in the past, because I think a lot of people have felt like, you know, the guy who killed Mo 3, the guy who ran down on him on the highway, he got charged.
Right.
You know?
but I always
Yeah,
thought
you're
it was
right.
over a girl.
So people thought it was done.
So he must have told who paid him.
Perhaps.
See, but is that legitimate, or is that, hey, let me make
But them
up
arrest him?
let me make up a get out of jail free card? Oh, Yellow Bezy paid me. I'm now ready to talk about it.
No.
Well, nah, they ain't gonna do
He's the
murder's the
bigger
easiest
name.
case to beat. He got to have something to prove that.
No. To what you're saying exactly,
They ain't gonna
Vlad,
tell now.
when you said it was
Yeah.
over a girl, you'd be surprised how many situations, like when men get into it, but sometimes the very initial part of disrespect are part of it. Like even again with Kanye. Kanye was just like, he's like, act, let me put this in your perspective. This guy doesn't put me on his album when we did music together. Okay? I was there. The records that you see on there, the Thug record, this record, I was there when it happened. We worked in the studio. He doesn't put me on his album for whatever reason. But then he's on the album rapping about a brand that I was stiffed out of, Skims, that my baby mama owns, but he knows I don't get along with my baby mama. It's like if you're my friend, why are you even acknowledging my baby mama? So my baby mama posts your stuff, and you repost it, and then you add even more disrespect when you say, you left me off the album, but you say, yo, send me Kanye's daughter's vocals. So you're trying to do a song with my daughter, but you wouldn't do one with me. Again, when people have issues, and that's what I'm trying to say, it's like, it starts over the little disrespect. If that escalated, no one's going to be like, oh, that's exactly why, but it adds to disrespect. So sometimes it could be like Wack has a woman and somebody tries to talk to that woman after it's already known, hey, that's Wack's woman. If it ends up getting extra bad, it's not like Wack did that over the woman. It's because you disrespected me.
Right, but here's the thing overall, right? A whole bunch of people are turning against you, and you're looking at them as them being disloyal, as opposed to saying they would have been in the exact same place had I not been acting crazy in public.
But it's not acting crazy to him. I'm saying to him, Vlad.
That's
what
cool.
I'm saying to him, it's not. Does he see it as that? He doesn't see it as acting crazy.
Hey,
I'm just telling you.
Everyone else
I am
sees it a certain way.
promoting- Okay, so let's just take the Jewish part out. Hey, all my black friends, I'm promoting a Klan outfit right now.
Right.
No, that's why
Come
I
hang
said.
out with me and do music together.
To a lot of black people, the
That's a
Klan
shock.
is a real memory in their
Hell
family
yeah.
lineage that either they
Listen.
or their parents or their grandparents
That's a fact.
had to deal with. That shit is deeply offensive to a load of people in his world, his
I definitely
fan
think that's
base.
shock value.
Black, Jewish, Latino, and whites, because some whites, the Aryan nations, the Nazi low, like the guy, they're taking it offensive. That like it's a black dude
But
playing.
listen,
with
I interviewed Dominique Wilkins.
Huh?
When he did not enroll in the school that everyone wanted him to enroll in, a cross was burned on his front yard.
Right.
And his family had to leave town and move somewhere else.
This is real
This is
shit to a
someone
lot
who's
of
alive
Americans.
right now,
Yeah.
who has a statue in Atlanta right now, has been affected by the Klan firsthand. Todd Bridges from Different Strokes. Racists were mad because it's two black kids with a white girl. Remember that show?
Mm-hmm.
People had a problem with it. Cross burned in his front yard. Like, these are people that are alive right now. It's not like we could, oh, that's from the 1600s. There's no Klan anymore.
You know what Ye's gonna tell you? It's time for a change.
Time for a change.
That's what he gonna tell, and he feels like he's the one that can change. Bro, I know him. I flew around with him. I kicked it with him, like, to understand him.
Right.
It's really Ye's world.
Yes, it's his world.
Straight up.
No,
Adam,
listen.
you know what I mean? You go back and forth, and I'd be like, you know what? You got a point.
No, it's his
There's no points.
Yeah.
It's just how he sees it, what his mission is, what his objective is,
Right.
and that's it.
Right.
Either
Like
you're
I
with
said,
it
the whole
or you're
thing
not.
is a performance art.
I think he's
No,
like,
I really think
he's serious.
he's
serious.
Listen,
He's serious, Vlad.
you know how he explained everything that he's doing? He said, listen, I'm the closest thing to God on earth. And he says, what happens is I look at all the people I've blessed. Said God does that too. And when you don't see respect being paid back, he said, read the Bible, and he quotes some scriptures. He says, God tells you he's an angry God. He's a God who's jealous. When you are, and he admits to having those traits in why he's responding and how he's responding to people. Also, he hates, and I think, it's a lot of hurt there, but he's like, ironically, like right after we do the interview, I hate to even like bring this up, but like, because he brings up certain stuff about Cardi. He's like, think about this. He's like, we have 3 woman beaters and like and 2 alleged pedophiles. He's like, Drake is the biggest artist in the world. R. Kelly's in jail. He says, whenever they're done with Drake, they're going to use that Kendrick song, get some allegations, they're going to put him in jail.
I called that one.
Basically, he was saying that, what's the difference? He said, Puff, he's beaten women, he's done whatever. He's like, but Cardi has done whatever. Which, ironically, right after we're done with the interview, I look up the fucking video of, which, Cardi and supposedly his, baby mama supposedly put hands on her or whatever.
There's a video of him choking the pregnant girlfriend?
It's a body cam. It's a body cam.
Well, what you mean
there's also the Ruby
Is that
Rose.
what you saw?
The Ruby Rose.
Ruby Rose made some.
Is that what you saw?
Ruby Rose said he shot at her.
No.
Yeah.
Did you
In
see
my-
him
in
put
my
hands on her?
No.
Cause we gotta stop watering down what the women go through, bro. If we see it and it's happening,
No.
you did that. Nobody give a fuck about you being a rapper, bro.
No, it's a body cam. It's a body cam of the police responding to the domestic dispute where she's claiming that. She's saying I'm pregnant and this happened.
Wax gonna say that she could be lying.
Yeah, no, hold on. It's not about that. It's not about that. But
I'm saying if they had video of him putting hands on her.
Well, then it would be open
every
and
so
shut.
often, Playboy Cardi's lawyers hit us up and asked us to take down the Ruby Rose.
Oh.
They
video.
still consistently hit you up?
Not consistently, but every few years I get this. And my whole thing is I'll just point them to TMZ article and say, look, there's a domestic dispute.
Do they want to pay
Between
you to
these
take it
two.
down?
What's
Tell
that?
them pay me what I made the last 10 years, and I'll take it down. He might.
Yeah, in context, he's looking
Not
at it
really
like
my style.
this.
You know what I mean?
He was banging her when she was underage too, and she basically acknowledged that to him as well.
Yo,
I think she might have said it in my interview as well.
what was
That
that?
Ruby Rose basically acknowledged that Cardi was fucking her when she was underage, right?
What? No. What state?
No.
Atlanta, I assume.
Atlanta 16.
I think that's been out there. I think she said it about Travis Scott,
Atlanta
right?
16.
You had this clip.
There was a clip that she did on
How old
Flash
she say she
TV
was,
about
bro?
dating Travis Scott and I think 21 Savage.
Yo, Vlad,
Cardi was in
I'm
there.
gonna tell you this. This is a hidden clip where I think it's in some of my archives. I've been streaming for like about 15 years, and I'm glad that this clip isn't like still public. Where before any outlet, this is way before you even knew him. She came. We were just like trying to get like attractive women on the stream, and she was telling us about. She literally admitted. She was like, "Yo, these 4 rappers slept with me underage."
Mhm.
Oh,
Who?
She verbatim says it.
Ruby Rose.
Whoa.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And
She was in-
I'm glad that video isn't, again, not that I'm not defending nobody, nothing like that, but
She was underage in the Bad and Bougie video.
What does that mean? So
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just saying it's
in the
kind of out of the
video.
ordinary,
Hold on,
right?
bro,
Just
hold on.
typically, when you watch a
She
video,
did-
you don't really worry about that,
It's
right?
just-
Just in the
Black-
video, she
in
doing
the one
something in
where
the
she
video.
came on
No,
my
I'm just
stream,
saying she was
Yeah,
in
that
there.
She
don't
came on
mean
my
nothing.
stream, like she was basically trying to like gaslight a little bit like what you were doing in your interview. Essentially,
Whoa.
she got off the stream and the whole chat was calling her out, and I'm like, yeah, I know she was lying. She was still watching, and she called me back and she said, listen, all right, I'll tell you the truth. And she literally just admitted to like, hey, yeah, I did, when I was 16, when I dealt with this guy, and it was all
She's from
rappers.
Georgia?
Well, I don't know if
Live
she's
there
from
at
Georgia,
least,
but
yeah.
she was talking
16
about rappers.
is the legal age of consent in Georgia.
And that's what I thought, because she did that maybe a year or two before before you even got to her on my
Not to
stream.
say I condone it, but Georgia, Jersey, it's a lot of Nevada, legal age of consent. is
That's why I
16.
thought she was kind of like, she was doing an interesting posturing move where she knows exactly, like, if you don't want to say that, don't hint to it.
Yeah.
Because in the past, and again, I'm glad, I think this is a buried file, I hope nobody finds it. I think I've even tried to go find that clip, like, just to like look at him like, yo, I can't believe she turned into someone, because now it's gonna matter if later on she was like, and that's why I said what I said. Like, at some point, if that OnlyFans money ever run out,
Yeah.
she's coming out with, hey, all these rappers she's named, at that point were like
The book.
up and coming.
She's gonna write a book.
It was up and coming.
Well, someone
all
else is
these
gonna write a
rappers
book.
now are huge superstars.
Right.
Yeah.
Which Just pray that OnlyFans money keep going. You know what I mean?
She got a good nest egg.
And she might
Yeah.
get wiped up, man. You never know.
She can still tell.
You never know.
Shit.
She might go.
If a documentary series come out and want to give her like
but
some
would
checks,
people really give a fuck about like, hey, Travis Scott was like 20 banging Ruby Rose when she was 16, and this was like 15 years ago?
yes.
You think people are really gonna care? I
In this
mean,
climate, hell yeah.
No,
It,
in the right
it ain't
circumstances.
gonna matter if they were in Georgia or a state where the legal.
well, that means
age
there
of
would be no
consent,
charges.
They're
Sure.
good.
Yeah, but to drum up a narrative, especially you know what happens now. It's like maybe if it's an isolated incident, it doesn't happen. But then, like for example, like now with even Drake, they're like looking for anyone who's underage Drake has ever like even responded to.
Yeah.
Because now it becomes a narrative. Once it becomes a narrative, it's like, you know what I mean? Like even if it's not true, they're just gonna paint
it's there.
you know.
Somebody's gonna always say something about it. It's always gonna come up. You're always gonna find yourself defending yourself one way or another. That's just how it works. 70% of the world is dumb as f***. So 10% of the people gonna cling on to it.
I just interviewed Joe Tacopina, ASAP Rocky's lawyer.
Oh, nice.
It's a boss right there.
Yeah. Yeah. I asked him, I said, how much does it cost to, if I have a gun case, how much does it cost, to get you, to represent me? He goes, a lot. I said, okay, let me rephrase this. I said,
Vlad technique, man.
I said, I have a lawyer, for example, one of my lawyers, she charges $950 an hour. How much do you charge per hour? He said, $2,400 an hour. I said, God damn.
Jesus.
Okay.
God damn. I've never heard $2,400 an hour before.
So what's the ballpark
have
on
you
what
heard
somebody
that?
like
Whack,
Rocky
whack.
had to spend to get off?
Wait,
No,
hold on,
I don't think he
whack.
paid that much.
You
Couple million?
spend money on lawyers. Have you
A
heard
whole lot, no.
$2,400?
That's crazy.
No,
I've never heard $2,400.
I don't think Rocky paid that. Like I remember the old Snoop Dogg line when he did like So Seductive and he was talking about the producer. He's like, listen, he says, what you gonna charge me? You're gonna charge 10 times them other niggas. You ain't gonna tell me their price.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm putting you on. Like this Joe Tacopina dude, he's put on. This case put him on. Now, he had a reputation too, so I'm not saying like he's
Right.
a bum-ass lawyer. But now, like him and Brian Steele, like come on, like yo, these guys are like billing through, like even their paralegal assistant, who's like just looking up shit, is probably saying 200 an hour.
Yeah.
So they're taxing the shit out of anyone, especially if you got it. You get what I'm saying? But 2,400, like right now, I can see it happening.
$2,400 an hour. I have never heard of
Yo,
one.
if you
You should
shot
have
a
asked
nigga?
him was, what's the average amount of hours you end up
Yeah, I
billing?
know. He wasn't going for
Then
it.
You tried
it
to
gets
get Brian
You know,
Steele?
I've seen him with two Richard Mills on in interviews. Like he's getting it.
You're trying to get Brian Steele and it ain't worked out yet?
Brian Steele?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Did you try to get him on
Interview him.
interview as well?
Yeah, we haven't gotten him. But I got Drew Finley.
Okay.
That's Lil Durk's lawyer,
Right, right,
NBA YoungBoy's lawyer, and he was YFN Lucci's lawyer right when he got him off.
right.
Young boy's coming home in a month.
Yeah.
Wow.
Young boy's coming home in a month. I'm still waiting on Dirk asking for my email. He's trying to text me. Or no, he's emailed me. I didn't know they could email from the penitentiary.
Yeah, they get email from the feds.
You're gonna be
There's
sending
I would
got an
out
definitely
album
be
coming out,
I'll
right?
be his pen pal. Yeah.
Who's going to be on there? Do you know?
So you know his album was supposed to come out. I think either the month after or the same month he got arrested. And then what usually happens with everyone.
Why wouldn't he just wait till he come home? Be coming home in a month.
Nah,
You're talking about Dirk now.
No, we're talking about Dirk.
Okay.
I mean, it's the same thing that happened with 6ix9ine. It's the same thing that happened with a lot of these guys who have RICO cases. Like, first of all, the label is like, yo, I'm not clearing this. Like, even, when it came to 6ix9ine, he had to go through Create to drop. Like, 10K was like, we're not putting out Dummy Boy after you just called a RICO. You crazy as hell. They about to come here and subpoena all the recordings, all the masters, all the mixes. And, so they said no. I do know Dirk's label. They were trying to be as careful as possible. And, shout to DJ Bands and, Dirk's team, they sanitized it. They sanitized it to a point where it's like, yo, it's really good music, but he ain't talking no shit that could be used in the thing.
I tell you
and that's
this,
kind of
though.
interesting.
I tell you this right now, we got a thing going on with the incarcerated. Tory Lanez is in the lead.
Mm.
Tory Lanez album was hot.
Tory Lanez is and he's
His
doing it
album was hot.
independent.
He's doing an independent, really on the little jail thing. You can hear it. I can hear the little concrete echo behind him. It's
Yo,
crazy.
do you realize the law is getting a lot of even when Cardi played, so Cardi called me a night or two before the album was gonna come out, and he's like, yo, I'm gonna play the whole album. And he's kind of like giving me a little story with everything, but he's like, yo, I got Thug on here. He's like, Thug ain't talking no gangster shit. And I'm like, well, legally he can't. You know what I mean? He can't say no, which that's like the changed for a lot. Even YoungBoy coming home on probation, like certain things he can't do. Like I'm wondering how their music gonna be. Like
I don't know, bro. That's different. He just paroling from the feds, bro. Like I don't see them putting them type of stipulations
They
on
did
YoungBoy.
already though.
Who?
Thug.
No, YoungBoy.
They're talking about YoungBoy.
Thug got conditions because he got that bullshit ass.
Oh, you know what the difference between Dirk and Thug is? Is that
No,
to me,
hold on.
when I listen to Dirk, it's like the drama and the violence and the descriptions of things that you really know what the f he's talking about is actually a big part of listening to Dirk. I listened to Thug for all those years and never really sniffed out that he was really doing his thing out there. So to me, that's like I don't really need Thug to be rapping about violence. Dirk, without talking about any violence, it's yet to be seen if anybody's going to really tune into that.
Yo, here's the thing with YoungBoy though, right? And this is what they told me about, like his last when he got out. Fortunately, he just keeps
because he was still fighting the case.
No, it wasn't then. It was he had to resolve something. This is before he caught that gun case in Louisiana, and then got caught in California. They said that they had him, and this is kind of normal. You can't be around gang members, so he wanted to go on tour, and they said, "Well, who's on the lineup?" They said, "Unless you're trying to violate, and we're gonna arrest you, you can't be around gang members." Now, even work-wise, they worked out a deal that he had to hire either this like these off-duty cops, or I don't know if it was I don't think it was U.S. Marshals. He couldn't linger in the venue. They escorted him to the stage and escorted him out, just because at these venues there were people that were gang members and other people that were supposedly affiliated with him, that they're saying this is the only way you could guarantee that you're not violating. And he had to do that for a while. So they would flank him. He would have like managers or whoever like that's just not affiliated walk straight to the stage, perform, and he has to get out. He hasn't, he has right now. They've been offering him like $600,000 a show. They think he could do arenas.
Wow. When
he's coming out, and with the stipulations, that might be one of the things. But we're gonna see how it works out.
Wait, they only offered him $600 in an arena.
Well, it seems a little low, doesn't it?
That's low as hell.
No. Well, it's not
arena,
low.
You lose out $1 million when you play in an arena, bro.
Well,
unless they
it depends
scaling
on price
it
point,
down.
though.
Unless they scaling that shit down to like 10,000 or something.
No, we're not talking about full arenas. Sometimes lower bowls.
Yeah,
and what happens too is like, if you're dealing with, I went through this with Rod Wave. Is like, he fills an arena. Like I went to the Toyota Center in Houston. He fills it, but you're not charging like Drake tickets on average are like $200, $300. Like a $200, $300 ticket for a YoungBoy or Rod Wave shows, you damn near getting a meet and greet. You're paying $40.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying. So it's like when it's lesser money, and after you pay whatever, So
how do you feel about Drake being so stressed out about Kendrick's success? He canceled his tour.
Oh,
what? No, he's not. Yo, Drake FaceTimed me last night. He's in Houston.
No, he canceled the tour, bro. We saw
Yo,
it.
Drake called me in
We
Houston
saw it,
last night. He put his
No,
pops
we're
on
not
the
talking
phone.
about last night. We saw it.
it was poorly routed.
No,
right?
no. Ain't no routing. You approve the routing before you leave. You talking to a manager. How do you feel about him being so stressed out? Mentally gonna know.
No, let's talk
whoop that shit when
Let's
you
talk,
be on your
no.
live.
Let's
so
talk
now
manager.
we hear live and direct.
Let's talk manager.
How do you feel about Drake being so stressed out?
I think Top
that
Dog
he canceled his tour.
I think Top
for the
Dog
Kendrick success.
Top Dog.
Say it again.
Top Dog.
Say it again.
He called in the favor to say, Wack, you can't be that neutral no more on social because you were so neutral at first. Now it's all Kendrick, West up. It's all that.
He's
Stop
a rat.
No, who?
Drake's a rat.
How?
He blew the whistleblower.
Wait, so let me ask you a question.
A lawsuit?
No, let me ask you a
Ain't
question.
no lawsuit, bro.
Suing your
What you
record.
talking
Suing
about?
your
Ain't no
record
lawsuit.
label's a rat.
Bro,
You're a manager.
Yo.
No, you're a manager.
Yo.
So if Interscope
listen.
didn't pay out everything they owed to the
Check
game,
this
or
out.
Geffen actually,
Check this
or
out.
let's say Koch, wherever
out.
he's released, if he
I
sues
know
them,
you
is he a
didn't
rat?
think I was going to
Is
let
he
you
a rat?
get up out of
Hold
here
on.
without us
No,
politicking
hold
this.
on. Is that a rat?
Did you watch what UMG
No.
said? Let's touch on this. The first
How's that gonna
important
be a
thing
rat?
UMG said was because Drake lost the rap battle to Kendrick. UMG said this.
Okay.
Right?
How does that?
You said a rat.
rat.
I'm going to get to this. We released his
Bricc,
songs.
This is how he put you in a trick
We
bag.
released his songs when he said all the heinous things about Kendrick. Kendrick said nothing.
But how is he a rat? You
I'm
got to
gonna tell
explain
you.
the rat. You ain't get there yet.
When you
This is what Wack does.
When you start talking federal offenses, payola, that's ratting. Especially when you're talking about this very same thing that helped you climb the ladder. Now it's a problem.
Hold on. All right. Can I make a hold on?
Bro,
and I want
Joseph Isgo is a close friend of mine. He did 10 years in the feds for payola.
You're using weird street
This
rules.
a fact.
You're using weird street rules for this. Hold on.
Joseph Isgo.
Let me ask you a question. If
payola
and Vlad again, you know, this is Godfather over here, and I would never expose any of our conversation. But let me just ask you a question because I think you might have some experience.
Okay.
If an employee sues an employer to say, hey, listen, I worked certain hours. I was supposed to get compensated based on overtime, but you didn't.
Right.
So I wasn't paid the adequate amount. So and maybe they approach the person and say they want to pay, so they sue them. Is that ratting?
No.
That's not ratting.
No.
So you saying that Drake's suing UMG? How is that ratting?
And he's justified a million different lawsuits over the years, including street dudes. But for some reason, this one is ratting.
Because, okay, let me ask
Top
you
dog
something.
send the kite. That's what happened.
The best argument against it is that it's against the spirit of hip hop, not that it's ratting.
Let me tell you how gangster is. We ain't even got to tell each other. We know what to do. Check this out. So you telling me, right? Now, I really like you telling me. The very same tools that was used to catapult Drake, he never said nothing about it. Now he's saying payola, a federal offense. Joseph Isgo, Google him. He's one of the last. He's one of the last Gambino family members standing.
Bingo.
He broke Michael Jackson, Van Halen through the means of payola. They gave him 10 years in the feds
You have
for
a point
payola.
there. I'm giving you a point
Come
there.
on, bro.
Hold on. I'm giving you a point to say,
Yo,
could we make
you outside?
Can we make an argument
Hey,
that
bro, let Top Dog and Kendrick in here. I got a surprise for you. Oh, we're not playing. Let Top and Kendrick in here.
they're not harmful.
What?
Drake want to catch a
I was going to do that same thing with Hit a J3. I thought it was more believable. I was going to say Hit a J3 was here just because I thought it'd be a little more believable.
Hit a
Nah,
J3.
You a little nervous being in LA?
Nah.
No, being here. Like
here?
Here, I'm like, yo.
Those the goons out
Luce
there?
is locked up.
Huh?
Luce is locked up, so he ain't
No,
going to
Luce
beat your
called
head
me-
in
no,
with his
Luce called me
gun.
from jail. He called me before you.
Wait,
Guaranteed.
He's coming home?
No, he called me before
Oh, yeah.
you.
No, I talked to him last night.
He thinks you lined him up. I ain't
Yeah,
going to say
right.
too much. He think I had him lined
I
up.
talked to him last night.
I talked to him last night, too. I guarantee you.
First question he asked me, how'd last night's episode do?
Could I ask
He's still counting views
Yeah.
from behind the wall.
The first thing he said to me,
That's crazy.
Ak, you
Isn't
that
the only
crazy?
per-
That's
the first thing he
crazy
said to
right
me,
there.
Ak, you the only person who I could trust to put out a statement for me.
Oh, he's a snake.
tweeted
then.
that out.
He should trust me.
Hell no.
He playing the game.
No. Hold on. Yo, Wack.
Now you
He
get
hollered
it.
at you too, didn't he?
No,
definitely.
Wack. I'm gonna be honest with you. And you know. Oh, I was gonna ask you about
No, say it, be honest
bail
with
money for Bricc or a lawyer.
Nah, he got
I've been talking to
next
his
court
mom.
date May 15th.
Yeah, you got it.
He got extended.
Hold on. I'm gonna be
He
honest
already
with you.
beat you out of bail money.
Hold on.
Yeah, he already got some
Now-
bail
now-
He
money.
got
yeah.
bail money he didn't even use for bail. He didn't have a bail.
Yo, and by the way, I'm gonna bring Vlad into this too. This is platform shit. I'm gonna be honest with you, and you tell me, I think we all have or whatever, and but there's respect all around.
Mm.
After seeing this indictment, again, I would, if you continue to lean into certain conversations, it's like you're saying, yo, these guys don't have the IQ. Like even Wack, let me tell you this. I read the entire indictment. A lot of what Loose Cannon corroborated, which they already had proof, you're sitting there with him, and you're doing the same thing you do a lot of times. So you're telling me that Big U did this and he called him back and he gave him the money? Again, Loose
What's wrong with
doesn't.
that?
You're
What I'm
setting
saying-
him up to fail.
What I'm saying is
No,
that
no, no,
Loose,
no, 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 no.
Loose
That's what
doesn't
you ain't
know.
gonna do, bro.
Loose doesn't
Listen.
know he's Wack. You're
Let me tell
smarter
you a
than
few
every
things.
street nigga.
Let me tell you a few things you ain't gonna do. You can't tell me a man's poor performance with his woman is my fault. You ain't gonna tell me a man not brushing his teeth is my fault.
What?
And you ain't gonna tell me a man speaking his mind is my fault. If you sitting here at the table with us and you say something,
Wack, stop.
and I want to make sure
Wack,
I'm
if
hearing
that was your friend,
like the people want to. Hey, listen,
that was
bro.
your friend then. If that was your friend, Wack,
What?
Wack, me and you were talking about this indictment, and for someone who I pride myself on reading all these things, like
What you
really
mean?
going the extra mile, You know even more than me. You're smarter than the average bear. When you're
listen
sitting,
to me, bro.
when you're sitting there on a
I'm not
podcast with
the
a guy,
word catcher.
and you're literally
The fuck they think
like,
you are, bro?
You're winding him up. You're putting the battery
You're
in the back
winding
of your
him
little
up.
toy
No,
soldier
they say
to
you
go
do it all
against
the
your
time.
big op.
They say both
big
of
you.
y'all doing it all the time.
Hold on,
And
wait,
it's
wait,
cap.
No, let's be
Here's the
real.
difference. Here's
Hold
the
on,
difference.
slow
I
down. Vlad,
listen-
you get the blame for this all the time. You ask a question, and it's on who to answer it.
Here's the
You
difference
know
between
what?
everybody.
Do you know when I do what I'm supposed to do? Everybody witnessed it. Y'all witnessed outside of no jumper. Did I do what I was supposed to do?
You didn't do anything.
No, bullshit. Oh, bullshit. I stopped some shit.
Whack. When
Did
you
I not?
lined Up, when you lined up,
Did I not?
when you
I
lined up,
didn't.
You mean you stopped it?
You telling me I didn't stop nothing outside this building?
unless there was a threat that we didn't see off camera.
Are you telling me out there with this weenie, the PDF file, Jay Reed, y'all telling me I didn't stop
Allegedly,
nothing?
you could get sued.
Participate.
No, you're a motherfucking lie. I didn't stop nothing. Next time
What'd
I
you
won't
stop?
stop again.
What'd you stop?
Huh?
I mean, it happened though.
Would I
They were
stop?
gonna kill him.
Would I stop?
a wax saves your life. What happened,
Nigga,
man?
would I stop? Are y'all got amnesia?
Oh,
Don't
shit.
do that. Don't do that. Because it could have been a whole other scene out there.
Adam, don't play dumb.
Are you for real?
Not gonna lie, sometimes Adam plays
Get outta
dumb.
here,
Hold
bro.
on, I know. Hold
Did
on.
you watch the video?
I seen the
So you're saying they would have
Get-
killed him if you weren't there?
You listen, bro. You
They
heard
would have gave
it.
him a leg us at least.
You heard it.
Let's give him a leg us.
That's what you.
Are you
that's
for
what
real? All right, I got you.
Maybe
So
I
wax
gotta rewatch
stop
it.
the situation.
What? Without my voice, that shit was finna go somewhere.
Whack. Let me ask you one question. And
I don't know how you forgot
Whack,
that.
Whack. You
I
my
didn't know
homie,
that.
but I do want to.
That's the
ask
first I heard of that.
you. Yo, Whack. I want to ask you a
Yo,
question.
bro, hold on, Vlad.
What?
Did you watch that video?
Yeah.
Did you hear my voice?
Yeah, I heard your voice.
Did my voice stop some crazy shit from happening?
Yeah, I feel like it toned it down.
It was
you were
de-escalated.
trying to tone it
Bro,
down.
you're crazy.
I don't even think I watched the whole
So
video.
that's me being a homie. If bro want to sit there and talk his shit, I'm gonna let him talk his shit.
Whack. After reading this indictment, I know you read it even better than me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you believe that, again, obviously the police are going to do what they do, but it's clear that they're listening to podcasts?
So
Oh, yeah.
what?
Hold on. They're clear
You
they're
don't give
living
a
a...
fuck what they listening to?
No, hold on. But here's the thing. You are aware of a lot of other things that you're not going to say. But like, all right, I'll use the Bricc Baby thing. I'll use the Bricc
Bro.
Baby thing as an example. Give me 1 second. So, yes, Bricc Baby has some situations. Respectfully, I'm going to be honest with you.
I exposed them.
I would have said to Adam, yo, if you're my friend and I'm your employee and you value me, and I think the story is that you bailed him out of some stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure you knew a little bit more. I would say, yo, conversations regarding a case that I should only have a lawyer speak for me. Only have a lawyer speak for me.
What are you talking about?
The case about the weapon or whatever the fuck he
Okay,
got.
so
The
here
AK.
goes. No,
That should not be
here
on
you
no
go,
jumper.
Squareville.
Okay, all right, here we go.
Squareville.
You
It
doing
that
me what you
it
did
that
it.
he didn't. It's not that he didn't want to talk about the case because it may get him in trouble. It's that the stipulations and what he was doing and possibly doing and not going to court for that case is gonna have the streets looking at you like, what are you doing? You don't catch an AK-47 case and go 18 months, damn near 2 years without a court date. You don't do it unless you got something else going on.
But-
So he can't stop that with me.
Okay.
Long as Bricc is, you know what Brick's dumb at? Let me ask you something. If you knew how I was,
Yeah.
would you be popping my name, antagonizing me, knowing my capabilities if I go to digging into you, or would you leave me alone?
Yeah, but
Yes or no? Which one would you do? You know you got
Whack,
this case.
whack.
You ain't
We've
told.
talked about this on the phone privately, and I think it's okay if I say it. You said to me, there's a few dudes who I know, it'd be a long day going at them because they cerebral, they talk that shit, they gonna get that extra stuff, and it's like, yo, me and you, I'm glad we're in that boat, and I'll put even some other people in there.
Yeah,
Like Charleston White, I think he's pretty decent. Not everybody's of that ilk. When you are going at it with a lot of other people, it's
No,
not
that
even.
ain't what I asked you.
No. Only thing I'm saying is that, do you think those type of street, like I get it, that's some
Check
street
this
shit.
out.
I'm a square. You're right. That's some street shit. Do you think that should be politics on a podcast where a lot of those things I've seen happen, like the feds looked at, again, not that the podcast was trying to encourage some shit, but there was fallout from conversations happening that led to further conversations because
Hey,
now,
bro.
now they're listening to wiretaps.
Hey, bro.
So now people are like, yo, man, this nigga whacking. Yo, they're actually detailing the.
That's on your dumb ass. Stay off the phone.
But Whack, you're smarter
Hey,
than all
check
these
this
guys.
out, homie. I'm going to say this. Midget, anorexic, right? If you throw a cat in a pool of piranhas, are the piranhas going to say, oh, that's a little cat, leave it alone? They going to eat that ass up, right? I'm asking you, if you're Bricc and you know you got skeletons in your closet that you don't want exposed, do you go fucking with a dude like Whack 100?
Yeah, but
or
that's
do
not
you leave him alone?
Or do you think that's playing fair, though? Because you wouldn't do that to anybody.
Nigga, I'm going to do
you
that
didn't-
to anybody come playing with me like that, bro. So you telling me I supposed to let Bricc pop my name and I know what I know?
Well, I'm asking if there's some street moral code or ethics
Ain't no
to say,
what more, bro.
yo, I'm
the
not
street-
gonna
check
set
this
you
out.
up
Check
to
this out.
self-incriminate.
How you self-incriminating? He already was arrested and charged. He was hiding the fucking case because he working with the police.
But even again,
Fuck out of
hold on,
here.
hold on.
The streets need to know that,
wait,
bro.
Wait, hold on. Wait, Whack.
He already
Wait.
charged.
No, I get you. But Whack, here's the thing.
You want to see the work?
No, hold on.
Put the work
You came
up.
with the clubhouse shit. Whack.
Put
Hold
the
on.
work. We got
Hold
the
on.
work.
Hold on.
Y'all want
Whack.
to see the work?
Put
Wait,
the work
Whack.
up.
Didn't you say Loose has a incident that is isolated, but they're now putting it in context to say it's under the Big U enterprise? What I'm saying is that you're right. These things existed. No, you said that earlier. Come
They
on now.
existed. They
Okay,
exist.
but hear what I'm saying. When you see a Rico drop down, they're now putting everything and linking everybody
Listen
together,
to
whether
me,
it's
bro.
right or wrong. So don't you think certain things should
Listen.
stay off of a podcast or
I'm
clubhouse?
telling you right now.
Again, I mean, I don't care.
We
I'm a
own
civilian.
Bricc baby ass. Before I started this, check my Instagram.
Yeah.
I posted the work. Why?
I thought everybody like make it cool.
Because he said I was lying. He told you I was lying, right? So if you call me a liar and I got the work to show it, because now I was out, I got exposed, right? Bro, listen.
You don't feel no
try
remorse?
to justify my strengths to another motherfucking weakness.
You-
Leave me alone, bro.
Hey.
I wouldn't, if I had dirt skeletons in my closet, I wouldn't fuck with me.
All right, hold on. All right, so,
I would leave me alone.
all right, hold on. Wax. So let me bring it to Vlad and also Adam. I remember someone from Kodak's. This is when I was connected with Kodak's camp, and for the very first time before we did our interview, and they were like, "Yo, yeah, you know," because I've always loved Kodak, but they say, "Yo, there's a moment Kodak wasn't fucking with you." I said, "Damn, why?" I felt like I've spoke highly of him. He said, "Well, in court, they brought up something that you, like a video you put out, right? And at least in that situation, it made sense why that person was just like, yo, Ak is involved in something that might lead to my arrest, right? Obviously, that's not the reason why, but, you know, you want to stay clear that if you guys seen your name, and like, I mean, you seen No Jumper in the indictment, do you, like, if that was me, I would be like, all right, certain
That was good
conversations.
promo.
No, I ain't free. No, certain
good promo.
conversations.
My thing is, I've never wanted Bricc to come on the podcast and say some federal ass shit that can get him in trouble. I feel like sometimes.
Would you change the thing? That's what I'm asking. Would you change? Like, if I seen my name there saying my conversations that I facilitated on my platform basically corroborated these crimes that's locking up somebody I call my mans, I'm going to say for future episodes, yo, listen. And that's what I thought you were doing even when you went to Chicago shit, because they're not your mans. You know what I mean? But this is your backyard. You don't see me doing shit. I live in New Jersey.
Right.
I don't do shit on New Jersey now.
I went to
That's a
Chicago to
fact.
hang out with
You know
friends,
what
for
I'm
the
saying?
record.
Bro.
But either way, all I'm saying is that almost every time I've been on camera with Bricc is live. And number two,
That's a fact.
I never instructed him to
No, we're not
talk
blaming you
about
for
certain
it.
situations. Like him and Luce, people like that, they get on camera and they start kind of like one-upping each other, and there's stuff they want to say and they don't really have the
Yeah, but Adam,
self-control
you're
to not
evading
say
the
it. I feel
conversation
like.
I'm saying, because we're platform owners. If right now I get somebody from Southside Chicago and I tell him that I'm gonna give him a position that he could be on my show or be with me on a podcast, bro, he might tell me his homie smoked somebody. Like again, I'm not saying these are kids, so I'm never gonna say we're to be blamed. But
Right.
when you see some shit, and I think Bricc is your friend.
Yeah,
Like I've heard you say when you go out, you have Bricc with you, and it's like he's holding you down. That's like your man's. If
For
my
sure.
man's go to jail, like my friend, if my friend go to jail, I'm gonna say, it's not my. I'm not gonna say, oh, I did it, but I'm gonna be like, yo, you know what? I know how this platform shit works. For future things, I'm not saying you can control people because you're right, it's online. But I'm gonna steer conversations away from this. That's all I'm saying. Just steer conversations. I think Vlad is taking accountability in the sense of.
No, we don't.
No. Vlad, no, he said he don't ask about open cases. Am I wrong?
Bullshit.
Wait, say it one more time.
Boosie's your man's.
Yeah.
I talked to you, and again, it's a private conversation, but I don't think it's that great. You're not gonna. You interviewed him again.
Yeah.
You're not gonna say, "Yo, Boosie, man, this is what I heard about your open case, man."
Yeah, right.
It's your man's. It's your man's. You're not gonna do that.
That's a different context.
I'm very careful with the word.
Bricc is his man's. If a host, he hires gang members to get on these mics.
He's not the one. He's not the one going at Bricc.
Remo, and you got my man Traplo who comes here when he wants. Like most of the people who come here are gang members. Yo, you got what's the dude? There's a buff nigga that comes here who's a squabbler. Like he just be like, "Fo Extra," that's the name. I love watching him. Again, if he's your man. Like, we are 10 plus years into this.
I have had these
conversations.
Believe it or not, I've had these conversations with 4Extra, with Bricc, etc. I've told them that they don't need to talk about this shit. When they do that, it is very much of their own volition.
I still want to get this
Nobody can find me a clip of me leading Bricc Baby into talking about that kind of shit.
I would never blame us. But we gotta.
You're throwing me, bro.
Go ahead.
If dude knows he got some skeletons.
Whack, you're smarter than them.
That's my point.
Yo, when you're
why would he fuck with me?
Brick's a pretty smart guy, though. He's not like your average dumb 18-year-old kid.
Brick's smart.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of this
we
shit.
all look at Bricc as our equal.
All fake.
No.
Right.
No, okay.
So you're telling me I just supposed to let it go?
No, you're different, Whack. You're different.
I'm gonna fire his ass up.
I'm talking about
gonna keep
I'm not saying
his
Bricc
ass
is dumb,
up.
but platform-wise, and I think we just know even legally.
Ain't none of them fuck with me. None
You
of
get
them
what I'm saying?
dudes.
You guys, like, we are like up, like you could tell what something's gonna. Like these days when we do content, like even we're doing this thing. I know Adam is right now clipping this up. He's like, "Yo, so this is gonna be a clip right
you
here."
You got to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
3 hours in, I'm not thinking about that though. For the record,
when you have someone like Bricc on here, I guarantee Bricc probably, and again, it's not your fault, but if it's your man's, you got to start looking out for him, right? When I seen Bricc first come on here, Bricc realized when I tell some real shit that extends outside of what the public knows. Number one, the comments love it, and that gives an uptick in the podcast. Adam's gonna also reward it, and that makes me look like because he wasn't a good podcaster at first.
But from my perspective, the stuff that has moved the needle with Bricc is not him self-snitching. It's just him having a very well-versed, realistic perspective on street shit.
Bro,
what's the viral clip that Bricc had talking about his own drama? It's always about him just giving a real perspective on other people's shit.
I don't know, because when I interviewed him, the stories about himself
CW4?
dealing with certain
Lil
people,
Durk, Lil
like
Pop?
Gunna or whoever else.
Right, you're right.
Dirk, I think that's
but I never felt like he did
reacts.
anything to incriminate himself in those conversations.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I never heard him say anything that made me think he was involved with that shit in any way.
You're playing 3D chess. I listen
it's just
to you on
him
Clubhouse.
commenting on it.
Yo, I want to tell everybody, y'all street niggas, stop coming online. This is why Big U play the shadows. I see this play from my way. Hold on. But here's the thing. Bricc U, not Big U, Bricc U. Big U, in my opinion, tried to put, he's seen your voice getting bigger, which that's a problem because now you create narratives. I know about creating narratives. I create, these artists, any artists that don't like me, it's because I've created a narrative about them.
What narrative I created?
It doesn't matter what, once your voice gets a certain type of, width or whatever, like you could create narratives. I think Bricc Baby was supposed to either, debunk that, whatever the case is.
He lied, but guess what? The paperwork came out.
We got the work.
We got the work. I don't create narrative. You want to see me create a real narrative?
Yo, Whack.
Are you picking on me?
I'm trying to
create a real narrative.
Yo, I'm trying to say.
Big U was fucking his son's baby mama.
Yo, the only person I don't think street dudes, and Flacco said this point too. So
hold on, wait. You called in here playing with my name. You saying I'm lying?
No, I'm just saying that's crazy.
Are you saying I'm lying?
Where did you get that from?
I don't even know anything. This is the first I've heard of this.
I'm the baby mama. We got the content.
She told you?
You talked to her.
Why was she fucking Big U?
You talked to her.
Okay.
She called in last week, remember?
That was that, okay.
Remember she was on the phone with 600? We got 2 hours of content.
Right.
This is a fact.
Yo, Wack, it's not fair, man.
But that,
Yo,
that's,
wanna bet?
that's a new element.
Want to put a bet? Somebody want to bet?
No, I think you got it. Of course I think.
Do you want to bet?
Here's the thing.
Somebody want to bet?
Yeah,
I
pull it
felt
up.
bad for
He's a sleaze bag.
I felt bad
That's
for
what
Loose
he
Cannon
is.
when I remember
600,
that
drop
interview,
the content.
and you know it. You know it too. When Wack got Loose Cannon, Snoopy Badass, and Wack does the. So you telling me it's a lineup? Yo, and it's so crazy because that's the reason why Snoopy Badass, like, he didn't realize it was getting lined up till, like, he went back home and niggas seen, like, what the
I don't know how he didn't know what was happening in that moment.
Bro,
Because
y'all
to me, it was
interviewing
pretty
gang
obvious.
members.
You're weird.
Yo, y'all,
Why you keep saying
You were
that?
saying that you told
Yo,
him to
Why
his
you keep
face.
saying like people from the streets are stupid or something?
Yo, because here's the
They
thing.
not, bro.
No, here's the thing.
They not.
Here's
We
the
ain't
thing.
doing that,
Wack,
bro.
you're the
We ain't
only
doing that.
you're the only street nigga that could keep up with me on the mic. That's a fact. I would talk circles around anyone if we had to get to an intellectual conversation. You damn well know these niggas is stupid. You know they stupid.
I'm not gonna call them stupid.
You know they stupid.
We got. Hey, yo, 600.
Yo,
you,
Wack.
you want me to bring her in?
Bring what?
The baby mama. I can bring her in.
Yo, Wack.
I'm down to explore all angles on this.
Yo,
There
Wack.
it goes.
I
Just
knew
leave
you was
Bricc alone.
diabolical when you told that nigga Rockstar to say, if that shit had happened to me, what you should have did was go to the car, go get your shit. You know what I mean? You a Crip, right? Should be no more burgers sold.
Burger stand shut down.
Yo, Eddie, he sat there and listened to that and didn't say, what the fuck are you talking? He actually thought about it. I'm like,
And for the
yo,
record,
Wack is convincing this nigga to crash out.
no, I'm not.
If I could convince my enemies to
Hold on,
crash
bro.
out, that's great.
Hey, bro, that's not convincing. That's reminding the person what the rules are when you sign up for this unorthodox.
Wack, you wouldn't do that.
What?
Wack, you're not doing that. Wack, you
Are
have
you out-
kids, you're up millions of
no, no, no,
dollars.
no. Hey, bro,
If
bro.
someone
Bro.
had a okay, all right.
Nigga,
And
you
I hate
gonna
to bring
get-
it up. I hate
you
to bring it
gonna-
up.
listen.
Hold on, I hate to bring it up.
I-
But the whole
nigga.
thing that happened when they claimed that Rollin Loud, some guy tried to step you over Nipsey, you didn't shut Rollin Loud down.
I was right there.
Hold on,
Oh, you were there?
bozo. The nigga ran.
All right, but you could have shut it down.
But what did he actually do to you?
He swung and missed and ran.
Okay.
This the crazy. Rick Rock told you that when we brought Rick Rock in here.
Okay.
Rick Rock was right there, right? If you go look at that episode, he said I was right there. Dude swung, missed, and ran. This is when I knew they hated me. Any nigga that swing, miss, and runs, you don't praise the nigga running. He ran.
Oh no, they hate you. Well, that's why
No,
I
he
don't
ain't touch
like
me.
how you get my man Trap, because the reason
Nah,
why
Trap
your
playing
name.
games, he got to get like that because Trap gonna stay in his place.
Hold on.
We
The
on the
reason
West
why
Coast, bro. We
your
are
parts-
on the West
You're right.
Coast.
The reason why
We
your
don't
name jumps off
play
the
them little
page.
game, huh?
The reason why your name jumps off the page when people are looking through the indictment is like, they're like, oh, these niggas really, like, your name comes up so much in how much they hate you that's like newsworthy, right?
He gonna-
Now,
I'm
if
gonna
he
make
added
it-
context
but
and say
he hate me a
Wack
lot?
was
Are
lying,
you telling me, okay, well, listen, Big U
yeah,
was fucking his son,
bruh, stop,
Jabari.
man.
What?
Baby Huey's
Okay,
baby mama.
Okay. I'm glad that sentence
Hold
continued.
on. And let me put a little more to it.
Y'all about to get cease and desist.
No, we not, because we got the content. We gonna bring her
We
on
got the
here.
work.
Let me put a little more on it.
Adam's not doing that.
And
Adam,
we're
you
not-
bringing that? You
listen,
doing that?
Listen,
What?
watch this.
Y'all in LA.
No, we bring her
When
on.
I leave, I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm
Check
out
this
here.
out. Check
I ain't
this
worried
out.
about none.
Not only was he having sex with his baby mama, y'all ready for this? We're not talking about when she became the baby mama.
You gotta tell the story on Vlad.
He was also doing it when she was babysitting baby Huey. So she
Vlad,
was
you let the
16.
story run.
It's a fact.
Big use your man. Big use your man.
Yo,
Would you let
Vlad,
the
you
story
know I
run?
like bets.
I'm
You
not
got a
putting this
bet?
up.
10 racks?
I'm not saying it's
Hold
true or
on,
untrue.
Vlad.
I'm
Would
not
you
saying-
We
let
got a
the
bet.
story
I'm
run?
definitely not gonna bet.
We got anybody got a bet?
Definitely
Trap?
not gonna bet.
I ain't done my
On
homework on
Vlad
this one.
TV, no, I wouldn't run.
Oh,
it.
dude, look,
Okay.
I'm-
See,
I'm-
and
we got a bet?
There is
No, I don't
discretion.
know.
Anybody got- you want to bet?
But
I don't know, Big U. I don't know
here's the
what's
thing.
You want to bet?
I wanna-
Remo, you want to bet?
I don't want no parts.
You know she called in last week. Anytime somebody's on the phone with one of us and calls in while I'm on No Jumper, you know we got the content.
We got the work.
Only thing I don't like what Wack is doing, like, I get it. Like, all your,
Man,
all,
I'm finna, man,
all
listen.
your street ops,
Man.
you have realized that, here's the thing. The LA scene of gangsters all want to get to podcasting because that's where they're seeing money at, and they're seeing how Wack is dominating that, even though I don't think Wack gives a fuck about making money off of that.
But okay, as part of the overall narrative, a lot of people are looking at LA like the most obvious example of a gang subculture community, et cetera, that has basically been taken over by podcasting, in which everybody's just sort of telling on each other, and they're looking at this current Rico as basically the
Who
pinnacle
told
of that.
on who?
Yeah,
Wait, nobody told on nobody in that Rico but his own people and himself. Did Big U not tell on himself on the wiretaps?
That's right. But here's the
For sure.
yo.
Like, what we talking about?
Hey,
Nobody
listen,
told on the
for
dude.
an outside of LA, viewer, and everybody knows the only place or the biggest place, obviously shout out to the Fig Community and everything.
No, that's the only one.
But the biggest place for like LA, or West Coast hip hop coverage, it is No Jumper.
Thank you.
The thing is, I thought y'all niggas was capping because I'm like, how nobody catching no phase? I'm not seeing nothing happening. The thing with Chicago, we see less talk and more action. Over
Exactly.
here, we just saw like, all right, this is your 20th episode. I ain't even gonna lie, I was like, yo, how the hell Wack work at the same building with like two niggas he don't like and he ain't meet him for 2 years? How does that work?
We got respect. We keep
And
it
then
separate.
now, after the indictment drop, I'm like, oh shit, this
People
shit's
respect
real.
the schedule.
I'm like, now I want to tap in even more.
Listen, bro.
Because it's real.
Let me, because
This is indictment
you're not
podcasting.
finna do that to the West Coast, right?
Indictment
For
podcast.
one,
For real, I like
there
it.
is no podcast
Yeah.
on the West Coast that is the voice or face of the West Coast. It's real power ruined, real cripping, hoovering, blooding, Suranian on the West Coast. Those streets is a whole nother jungle. This right here, right, is corporate West Coast in its own sense and own way. If I was out there doing dirt,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be here at all. It's stupid. Now, if you doing dirt in the streets, then you shouldn't be here. And if you are here, you should find your alter ego and become them while you're here. You shouldn't be that guy that's doing the dirt in the streets. So you're not finna water down my coast like that.
Yeah.
And
I
listen,
see 4 extras
listen,
come up here and
listen,
get locked up like
listen,
every
I
week
gotta-
after he
well,
does
listen,
a pod.
That's for stuff he does outside
Listen.
here, for the record.
I
Yeah,
have
but
a
he's telling you what he
voice out
does.
here on the West Coast.
Yo, I'm toting
but
the
what I
hood.
do
They
up
catch him with a
here,
gun.
But he never
And
talks
listen,
about doing anything illegal in the streets, even though anybody who's
What-
looked into his
what I
record
do
knows
up
he's
here,
been a part of
right,
some crazy shit.
is
He,
not-
he talks about beating people up in jail.
It's not a representation
I hear you on Vermin.
of what our streets
Vermin.
are.
I said it wrong?
Vernon.
Oh, Vermin.
Vernon.
My bad.
It's not a representation of what our streets are. Our streets is a total different world. 85% of the people in those streets don't even know how to find your page.
Okay. Vlad's taking off.
Vlad.
Hey, this is a Fendi approved podcast. You and him both sponsored, huh?
First
I
of
know
all,
my man
it's-
Vlad be.
It's
like
the
that?
first time I've actually seen Vlad on the West Coast. We're East Coast linkers. We went out to dinner last time.
He feels more comfortable
Now, Vlad
out here.
did
That's
that.
why he got his hair tied back.
Yo, I think Vlad is like in between us three. Like you're closer. I think you're definitely closer with Vlad. You're closer with me. I'm closer with him than I'm closer with you.
I probably talk to him more than you.
Oh yeah. We went out to dinner. Like Vlad's my man's.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think this is so dope how everyone comes together and
Well, that's
no
real.
one's competing.
Right.
Nah.
None of us have ever competed with each other on any level. We've all been supportive.
That's a fact.
Yeah, because we all got different lanes.
While all the radio personalities
Oh,
and all the
people with each
corporate
other. Yeah,
stooges
they don't do that.
are like at war with each other and us. They all hate us because we're
I
basically
don't-
doing a way better job independently of what
Yo,
they want to be doing.
Adam, have you thought about this? Like, Hot 97, Power 105, or like radio beef.
Yeah.
Like this week, everybody, like I see you guys with 16,000 viewers. Lit. I like it. In the radio world, it would be like, fuck those guys. Instead, we're all here like, yo, let's get in on this.
Yeah.
Let's
You know
get in
what I
on the Rico.
This is ground
Get
zero.
my ass in there.
Yeah, man, but this is dope, man.
Listen,
thank you for
when I-
inviting me.
No, for
When
sure.
I seen
Yeah.
Loose Cannon up here,
Yeah.
we hadn't even talked, right?
Mhm.
But I didn't hate. Know what I did? I called in and added to it. The numbers jumped.
Mm.
This is my home. So I'm not both they like I'm reading the comments. Adam has Wack punching at the air. No, you don't. I'm gonna do my part.
Yeah, Wack showed
Call
up.
in and add to it.
Wack
Yeah, I
showed
heard
up. I
about
was
this.
interviewing Reggie Wright Jr.
Yep.
He just popped up at the end.
He did the Tommy Sotomayor.
Oh, he didn't do the treating and shit. Hey, by the way,
Yeah.
one of the best things I think, again, I don't think any of us facilitated really, but you guys not seen, like, because me and you, we locked in early. You and Adam locked in early, but I remember every time, Vlad's name came up, and I was like, and this is why I keep saying you're smarter than everyone. Wack, you know why you're smart on all these street things? And I say it's just not fair. you've locked in a very special one-on-one close relationship with like the top independent media outlets where like, yo, if somebody is trying to go against you, like we all fuck with you, right?
That's
And I think you realize that even with even with Vlad, where you guys had like whatever issue and you guys sorted it out, but you're smart. The average street nigga is like, when I see him, I'm gonna put hands on him, and doesn't realize like he could only help you, right?
That's
like
it.
having access to. Hasn't he been like one of your biggest guests recently?
Yeah.
Like I watch your.
Yo, I enjoy interviewing with Vlad. That's
Yeah.
real talk.
Yeah,
And
we do
whenever
that.
he
Yeah,
calls me,
yeah.
I adjust and I get there in his real spirit.
But like this,
You know what I mean?
Adam and Wax show, right? There's something gonna go on. He's like, yo, bro, you streaming tonight? He's gonna call in on my shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go listen to him on your show doing
I
segments.
brought Trap to
And
Clubhouse.
a few months later, he's going to do the documentary about it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Hey,
I fuck with you, Trap. I just had to put a little heat to you.
yeah,
No,
no,
Just a little bit.
I've
I've learned my lesson, man.
Me and Vlad just did like
see you,
5.5
man.
hours of content. So, yeah.
All right, bro.
Appreciate you, dog, for real. What you want, Heath?
Yes, sir.
Yo, when you dropping the yay, let's
I
do
mean,
it.
you want to just get the photo of us all sitting in place?
Yeah, let's do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
When you dropping the yay
as soon as
content,
I'm back
Yeah.
on the East Coast,
after you drop the yay
Yeah.
content, I need you to come on the app.
Clubhouse, of course.
After you drop
Appreciate
that,
you, Wack,
after you
or,
drop
Vlad.
it, I need to come on the app.
Hey, you
Not
know,
before, because they're gonna ask you all the questions.
Yeah.
I want you to drop it.
You know what? I when does this come out?
Sunday
Okay.
at noon.
You know what I definitely give you credit for, and this is what people don't realize. That hunter side is like they be like you have what I created with the chat niggas. We're like people like you create like the super team of people coming to you with info exclusively. Like half of the stuff that I break these days, like my team told me. Just like
Yeah.
your team
Yeah,
tells
yeah,
you.
that's a
You're only
fact.
as strong as your team.
That's a fact.
And
Shout out to my squad.
yo, you got a crazy paperwork team. I'm gonna be honest.
Shout out to the 100 side of the trenches, man. My man,
So
Prince, Lavish, my spies. I got like 36 of them now.
Adam, how much are we committing to the legal defense / bail fund for Bricc Baby?
Shit, we going to figure it out. I had some rappers tapping in with me
100
telling me that they
bands?
want to help out as well.
50? Oh, he said.
Listen.
That nigga ain't worth that. Oh, hell
Listen.
no.
No, okay. I
It's a
will
bad
tell
economy.
You this. I will
No,
tell you
no.
this. I made a call from Loose Cannon.
Yeah.
My attorney, Alex Kessel, you know about him. You watched me beat all them Blueface cases.
Yeah.
Top 3 attorneys in LA.
Yeah.
Right?
You put him on it?
I called him and I told him I got a few dues. I was thinking you may want to do something. The going rate for a Rico trial is probably 175 to something.
Jesus.
$1,000?
Yeah, he told, because it's a Rico trial, right? He told me, for me, if it was my people, he'd put a cap at 100, and all he wanted is 50 up front.
That's actually a
That's
good
love.
deal.
God damn, that's
And
a
that's
lot of money.
iffy.
You gotta commit 100 bands to Bricc.
The extent to which I do not have a spare 100 bands is crazy.
Where you be fucking the hoes? Like you fucking mad at hoes?
That
Like
room-
Right
Across.
across, yeah. You want to
Come
go
on,
smell the
man.
couch? Go
Right
ahead.
across. Right there.
Yo, if you
gonna
owe,
give it a whiff?
you owe Bricc some loyalty. I gotta imagine when you're going out and Bricc got the thing on him, and he's like, "Yo, somebody."
Bricc
rip
don't
on-
I've
got
never
the
done
thing
that.
on
That's
him.
never been a thing.
See, you talking that shit about lining artists up, people
What?
up, and you say some bogus shit like that.
Nah, if my man hold
Bricc
me
don't
down, I
never
got it.
had a thing on him.
I never seen Bricc with a gun.
I've never seen Bricc with a gun.
Never.
What are you talking about right now, Act?
Yo, Wack put these niggas in jail and act like yo they're innocent.
I put him in jail. What the fuck?
Wack done told us everything. He got a gun case. He got the thing at his house. AK-40. Nigga,
No,
Wack put up the type of AK.
Hold on,
I
hold
walked
on.
away. Y'all dropped my phone when I
Hold
seen
on.
it. Yo, Wack, you
Hold
see
on.
what you posted?
Hold on. Okay.
You know I'm
put
a
it
gun
up.
collector. And I'm
Put
like,
it
yo,
up.
I don't even got this shit.
Put it up. Put it up. Put it up. What I posted.
I said,
Did you
damn.
see what I posted?
Yeah, how you even know that?
What did I? Okay, I'm gonna show you. See?
Nah, Wack, you something
put it
else,
up.
bro.
No, put it up. Where is that?
Hold on. Nah,
Come on, bro.
You know,
I covered my ass.
now you know exactly what you
okay,
did, man.
where's it at? Where's it at?
You put the paperwork and then
Okay.
you put the gun on the last page.
Wait, hold on. Watch it. You see the type of gun, right?
Yeah.
The paperwork identifies the gun. And
Wack,
identifies the date.
you've been telling us about this gun for 3 years, bro.
Date too, right?
Yo, Wack.
I mean,
The
Bricc
date
talked
too, right?
about it too, honestly.
Yo, how the hell Wack
The
know the
date
serial
too,
number of the
right?
gun? Like 3 years.
Big
I
U
didn't know
wrote
the
it down.
serial number. I just knew he had a chopper. And Big U, for the record, I'm gonna say it.
The DNA's found.
Big U was blackmailing Bricc Baby.
Oh my
No, but
This
Luce
a
said
fact.
that. Luce said that
This a
the
fact.
night
Luce ain't
before
lying.
they got locked up. Luce said that to Brick's
Luce
face.
ain't lying. And if you read what's coming out, they say we now have a video of of a shooting. He was blackmailing him with that.
By the way, my other theory about why the feds did a complaint instead of wait for grand jury now, but it's really on a less of a scale. Once I seen them all appear on the podcast, that's also often like where they're like, okay, if we're not gonna get more violence, basically because they're getting into it. Oh, y'all getting cool now? All right, cool. We don't have to keep sitting on this. Let's bring it in. So again, these are like loose, like kind of like theories, but shit. I ain't gonna lie. I definitely think Wack tipped off Big U, and they probably were surveilling him. And the reason why they didn't pick him up that day, he started moving very different because what Wack said, and they said, this nigga finna run, and if he's the main nigga in this and he runs, it ain't gonna be good. So they said, let's drop this shit now because Wack keeps saying Wack is announcing 2 weeks from now.
No, it's very out of the ordinary for there to be an oncoming Rico and for so much of it to already be being discussed on social media and on podcasts.
Who was doing that?
When does that happen?
What
You
happened?
and 600.
Yo, Wack, I ain't
No,
gonna lie,
listen,
man.
the
You had
Hunter
that.
side, listen, y'all got to look, stop giving me all the credit, man. Okay? Don't stop acting like
Would
you
you admit that there's probably an agent that's in the Hunter side?
a bunch of them.
No, undercover, like FBI.
It's that trans
bunch of
one.
them.
The trans
ATF.
one.
In the goo? I'm sure.
Okay. So okay.
So everything you say, you're saying it as if the feds might be listening.
What's off limits in the streets? Because I think that's what
What
they're
do
saying.
I say that I'm not supposed to say?
If you're talking about an active investigation, is that street worthy?
What do you mean to talk about active
Okay,
investigation?
let's say you robbed a bank, right? And they're investigating who robbed the bank because you had a mask on. And I'm like, yo,
That's telling.
okay.
If they're investigating and they don't know who did it, that's telling.
All
But
right,
you got to remember, the parents is telling us they already took his blood. The parents is telling us, they're telling us is this. So that means that's already in their filing. That's what they're going to do regardless. Now, guess what? What if they would have picked Big U up on March 30th, and then I played the content where the lady saying, don't say anything. The police don't want nobody to say nothing. Then what would they have been saying to me? And I didn't say nothing.
Well, why couldn't you tell them privately?
I did.
He did though.
I
He
texted
showed me-
his
he
wife.
showed me the text.
All right, but you leave it privately, and if they don't want to move on,
They
it,
didn't respond.
like
yeah,
you
why
said-
go publicly with it though?
Yeah, you go publicly.
Why go public with it?
For one word, it's content.
Yo, Wack, man, I don't know why niggas smoke. I don't know why
Watch this.
niggas
Hold
be
on.
with you.
Hold on.
It's
Wait,
content.
hold on, Trap. Just to make sure, because the homie wasn't here.
Okay.
LJ, the night when I jumped out in the underground parking lot, when I was dolo.
You want to take the seat?
No. Hold on. Where were you at? I was never by myself. The fact that the so-called gangster thought I was by myself let you know how gangster he ain't. I had 3 people. Boom, boom, boom. But my first line of defense is me. So if I could deal with it the way I'm going to deal with it, great. But when it would have started, do you know what happens when you're running into it? You're ambushing yourself. You can't run back my way. So he thought I was what? By myself.
Hey, that's what it
If
said.
I
That's
know,
what he said.
listen, if I know I got a team right there, you think I'm going to be acting as if I'm in fear? I have a team right there that he don't know. Yeah, he thought he said I was by myself. You heard what I told him. Get to it. But he didn't know my team was right behind him. He had no idea, right? He lays a bad leader. He led his people into an ambush.
Hey, when we gonna squash you and Drake beef, man? I want to put
I
that
don't
together.
got no.
Nah,
the
you
fact
talking
that Drake.
crazy.
Did you
Drake-
talk to him about it?
Until Drake, bro, did he say I'm the police?
Nah,
And
he
I ain't
didn't say
never
that. He
said
didn't say
nothing.
that. He didn't
Well,
say
that's
that.
what Adam said.
Oh, that's Adam. Adam's gossiping.
I didn't say that exactly. Drake suggested that he was curious what the plan was for the audio of
did I
him being
ever
involved
say-
in a hit.
Did I ever
Was-
say that?
was
Did I ever
gonna be.
say Drake was involved in a hit? that I ever even, I never mentioned nothing like that. I said Drake needs to get away from this dude before he fuck around and have him in some bullshit.
Top
That's what
Five's a
I
good
said.
guy.
No, he ain't.
What?
He's a little coward, my nigga.
And why you going on Charleston White about the 16-year-old snitching video, man? Like, bro, he been telling us he a snitch.
No. What we went in
Really?
on,
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that? We never talked about that.
Check this out. We got the paperwork, we got the content,
We got the whole.
and this is what's going on. Did you know that every time, for one, he had a movement, kill the cops, kill the white people, rape the white women, and all this, right?
He said that was a character.
But yet, when his homeboys did that, he told on them. This is what I don't like. For 33 years,
Okay.
Charleston White appears in their motherfucking hearing to parole and says, I'm in fear of my life, don't let him go. Right now today, every time they go to board. Them two brothers that's been in there 33 years. He goes, every time they go up the board, they will let him go. The only thing stopping him is him. He goes to board and says, I'm in fear of my life, don't let him go.
Well, Charleston said he also told on Bricc Baby too, right?
He said he the reason the feds on Bricc Baby.
Man, he capping.
That's bullshit.
That's bullshit. He capping.
They got way more shit than that. How we feeling about this giant Yellow Bezy news that just dropped?
That's
Yeah, I
crazy.
just
If there
saw that.
wasn't
That's
so much
crazy.
other shit going on, we would be solely focused in on how
But
crazy
we got
that
to
is.
remember, Yellow Beezy's part of the Rollin 60s.
Yeah, well,
We got to look out for Jin Lee.
You know, it's like all rainwater maced him. You seen that, right?
I was there.
Yeah, he maced him up.
He was there.
I think I've seen Yellow
Wait,
Beezy
Rico
like
was
pop
right
out on I think it was a joint episode with
That's
Say
crazy,
Cheese.
though.
Hey, listen, if there's a murder committed, yo, I ain't gonna lie to you, I ain't see Yo Gotti dumb long. And I know, like, bro, you stay low.
Gotti out the way.
No,
He
no,
does the
and
corporate
here's the
shit.
thing.
I just seen him at the iHeart Awards or
Nah,
some shit
but
with
like,
Glorilla
hold
doing
on.
photos
Again,
on the red
I'm
carpet.
not intimating or anything or insinuating anything, but what I'm
He
saying
out
is
the
that
way.
you know the police aren't stupid. Like they when it comes to rap, they're always saying that's the guy who did the hit, but there's a nigga who paid for the hit, or there's a guy who set it up. And I think probably Yellow Beezy probably thought that, all right, well, you know, he went down, he was a little sloppy, whatever. I'm good.
Bro, whoever that dude is that went to jail for gunning that Mo 3 on the freeway, gotta be involved in identifying Yellow Beezy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Justin Johnson keeping it solid though. That's a nigga in the Dolph case. That nigga, yo, it came time to his defense. They said we have no defense. I was like, wow.
Say Cheese just did a post with these are the two men who were originally charged with shooting Mo 3 on the highway in 2020. Records showed numerous calls between these two the day before and day of the shooting. Cell phone data placed them in the area of the location Mo 3 stayed the night before the shooting near the scene. So they got the picture of the two guys, but they're basically suggesting that Yellow Beezy might have paid them to take care of this.
Yeah, I think that was some quote from.
And
way
by the
back.
way, hey, listen, I have a hunch, and I think I'll be able to bet. I don't know about with the Big U situation. Yellow Beezy knew they was on his ass. Like there's a lot of there's a lot of rappers who do shit and they realize shit start looking a little bit different for them
Yeah.
because either the feds start like they see something happen, just like how you said. Wait, they called an AK-47 ain't no charge? Wait, hold on, that don't sound right. They realize that there's a larger investigation, especially when you're a bigger name, and it might take a while.
Yeah.
Like I've seen a lot of artists, I won't say no name. They move different.
Yeah.
They're
Lil Baby.
moving. They're moving so cautious and paranoid. Some of these artists, I don't even know what they're into.
Lil
but
Baby.
I don't know either near the there. You know what I mean?
He
But
used to talk about a lot more street shit in his music and even went so far as to change the name of his crew or whatever label because and shit, that press conference that one cop did really made us confident. We thought that indictment was coming down on Lil Baby that week. He's still remember when the cop did the press conference about him?
oh, recently, yeah.
That was
Dude just
insane.
talking.
I feel
think
like
he
they're
just a
gonna-
little baby hater.
I feel like they're going to do it, not even just because
They're gonna
if
do
they could
what?
build a case, put a case on Lil Baby, because I think in Atlanta,
Right.
they're super disappointed they didn't get thugged the way they wanted to.
Little baby ain't doing nothing for them to put a case on it.
But baby,
You
his
just
homies
want to
did.
see it so you could talk about it.
No, not even. I feel like having researched into like how the Atlanta DA like
What
really
the
built
Atlanta
these.
DA got to do with Lil Baby? Lil Baby give back to the community.
No, but what I'm saying is,
Take care of his people, bro. You
no,
know
but I'm
what
saying
Same
they
with
want to
you-
try and
same
take
with
him
Big
out
U.
for
No, he
the
don't.
publicity.
Huh?
Because they've been saying it. You said that they made a public statement after that shooting, blaming it on Lil Baby. So they clearly have it out for him. That's what I'm saying.
Hold on,
Baby, bro.
I want to just put it on it.
It's
But I'll
always
say this.
10 different people
You start
that
seeing
want to put
artists-
some work in that hood, bro. You just because Lil Baby was over there 2 days prior and something happened, Lil Baby ain't that dumb to have somebody double back. They know they're going to say it's him. But you know what happened? Them dudes that got into it with him 3 weeks ago say, let's go do it now because they're going to think it's him.
Yeah, but
Come
think
on,
about
bro.
what
Like,
we
look at
think
that
about
Lil
what we
Baby
just
been
said.
working. He been doing his thing, bro.
Think about
doing
what we
his
said with
real
Big
estate,
U, though.
taking care of his family. Big U ain't Lil Baby.
No. You're not getting what I'm
talking
saying.
about right now, bro.
The ancillary people, right? When you say the loose cannon shit don't got nothing to do with that, shit. When you purport to be around a bunch of people, they're claiming one thing. Sometimes you might have cut them off.
Lil Baby ain't around a bunch of people like that.
I'm not talking about him necessarily. I'm saying anybody. But I do see artists, and there's certain people, like even and I speak to them sometimes, and I realize their demeanor is much different, and it's like, again, I don't think Yellow Bezy is like, oh, what? Y'all call me? I think he knew for a little while. He probably was laying low, trying to move a little bit different.
To be fair, Yellow Beezy never said shit about the MO3 thing. There's even a clip I just saw going viral on Twitter of me asking him about it in an old interview, and it gets kind of awkward. He doesn't say anything about it. I don't know what the I said, but I was trying to ask him about it just because you got to ask him about it. He didn't say shit.
Adam ain't shit.
He's been a lot better at
gotta ask
committing
him
crimes because he's a big story that he's involved in. You don't remember?
A murder for hire essentially is easier to conceal than a RICO, right? Because, like, for example, think about
who's charging them. State or feds?
State,
state.
Right?
But think about, like, in Atlanta, right? When you hear crime, like, especially they got this page called News Made It. I'll go on there. They'll be like, "Yo, this is the man's that's down with 4L. He's doing this. Like." They then use what these rappers are claiming as their group as, oh, these are gangs, and then they cover the crimes that these guys do probably isolated. This nigga is beefing with this other nigga because he fucking his baby moms. He got nothing to do with the rapper. So now we see the nigga in the club, he slap him, he shoot him. You know what they're gonna say? Well, you know, I don't name someone else. Like whatever gang guy shot this person, and then of course the overzealous prosecutor is gonna say, well, you did that in furtherance of the gang. Mm-hmm. You didn't do that because he's fucking your baby mama. You did that because you're this gang member in this gang. And then you know who's the head guy? The guy who's funded and financed, and then they come pick people up. And I think people are realizing, you know, I hope, you know, for the rappers, I'm just saying rappers have changed their ways. Some of them. I'm seeing some of them, they're moving different. They see what Thug go through, and they're like, I'm good. You know what I mean? You see Bobby, like, I mean, he obviously went to jail. But I'm hoping there's not much more things like this coming out.
No,
LA, I ain't gonna respectfully to LA. I think a lot of what I was seeing with LA, it felt impervious to Rico's. You see New York, let me tell you, a rapper started throwing up some sign, oh, it's OY, yo, blah, 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 this.
They on it.
Rico, literally in about 9 months.
Yeah.
Like, they're not even giving it that much of a chance. 9 months. You get what I'm saying? Think about K-Flock, who just got found guilty 5 or 6 charges today.
He beat the murder, though, right?
He did beat the murder, which means he's not going to get life. And the top charge is Rico, so I think he's facing 20 if everything goes concurrent. And he's already spent like 3 or 4. But here's the thing. New York, they don't give no one, you don't get that runway. I think a lot of times we're like, wait, how come these guys in New York, as soon as they claim a gang and we see violence associated with that gang, instant Rico? But we've been hearing on the West Coast, these niggas is throwing up their set, they wearing colors, they're not podcasting and doing it, and we never see, well, we do see Ricos at times, but we're not seeing these infamous Rico cases. This is really like the first one.
In a long
that connects to the hip-hop community that we're like, oh, okay, this is someone that was affecting culture. Like, you know, like they're accusing Big U of like extorting like basketball players and embezzling funds with Shaq and Draymond Green. You know what I mean?
No, wait. First of all, listen, wait.
Oh, man, you about to correct
Shaq and Draymond Green donated for the kids' programs. What he chose to do with it
that's embezzlement.
Is on him.
So that's what I'm saying. They're accusing him of embezzlement. So it's like, yo, if I give you money.
On him. You seen that, right?
Well,
Adrian Broner.
Adrian Broner? Adrian Broner ain't told, bro. Stop it, bro.
Come on now. You talk about everything else. Talk.
He's in there.
He's in
No,
there.
no. But did he tell?
He told that
He
they
hit them
came-
for $6 million on the dice
and
game.
he said they came over there.
He got to go to
and pressed
Houston.
him. He said they came over there and pressed him.
Yo, if he hit niggas for
What'd he
$6 million on
say,
the dice
bro?
game, why don't
Bro,
he go to
Yeah,
Houston?
but I don't know if that's him telling or if it was on a wiretap, them discussing that happened.
Well, won't you pull it up? You
about to
pull
pull it up.
everything else
Yeah, I'm
up.
about to pull it up.
Well, let me ask you.
Over there with Papa Smoke hair, blue at the tips, goddamn cellophane tips.
Can you scroll down
Yo,
on the
did you move,
topics a
did
little
you
bit?
move to the U.S. yet?
Yeah, I'll be out here.
I'd be
here,
out
got
there.
the spot.
That's good. That's
Yo,
good.
the nigga
I'm-
said,
I'm still
yo,
back
he
and
said
forth,
I'll
but
be
I'm
here
taking
like
care
he know Trump might try to get his ass. Like, that's what I told him. He's like,
I'm
yeah,
legit. I'm legit. I can
I'll
be here. I can be here.
You got work
He's
visa?
still kind
I
of
got visa,
skeptical
yeah.
about fully
work
admitting he
visa.
lives
I got
here
a
now.
visa.
You got a work visa.
I got a visa for my special talent.
He could do 6 months, right?
He's like an Indian
I
programmer.
ain't gonna lie. The
Right,
way,
he's a ton-
the
ice
way
over here. I
Trump,
see your
the way
Trump posts
Trump
on
moving,
Instagram, man.
people
Yo,
think he
Trump
only
got
trying
like-
to get Mexicans.
Trump
He
got
get
like
every immigrant.
everybody. Trump got like 50,000. You seen he just leased a jail in like Ohio or something?
Yo, he was trying to send niggas to like
He
Nicaragua,
just
man.
leased a jail. You know what I'm saying? No, he did.
No,
he
no.
got like 30,000 down there.
I know.
What you think Dirk gonna do first week?
Dirt, me,
Yeah, with his new
um,
project.
60. No more than 60.
That's
40,
45, 50.
40 to 60.
It's
45
not-
to 50.
I'll give a 40 bottom, 60 top. He ain't gonna do more than Lil Uzi did.
Yo, think about Young Thug with his
Doug
project.
ain't gonna do no numbers. I think he waited too
Really?
long. I think he waited too long.
Damn.
And I think the only reason why he waited too long, that's my brother, because I think he's not free to say what he wants to say.
I mean, the mere fact Cardi told me, he was like, yo, listen, we got the Thug verse that ain't talking no gangster shit. And I was like, well, I think that's got to be all his verses now.
I wonder could he put AI in there saying the gangster shit.
I mean, if you want to play around with getting your shit revoked, and then now you got to prove, because they said that with one of the Dirk shit. They're like, yo, they're claiming that
Oh, yeah, I heard
I rapped about the killing after this, but yo, my engineer got the studio files that said I recorded it before. And it's like, well, you could just like edit the fucking fields and just put a different date.
Nah, no, you can't. You can't do that.
You could definitely edit the
Yo,
meta tags
yo, Act,
on the
what the
file.
fuck is wrong with you, bro?
What?
You come up here talking about what the exposers is doing, and we just talk about what's on the internet,
I'm
and
just-
you exposing.
I'm just telling you they could do it.
I don't know if
tried.
it's real or not, but
I
somebody,
tried.
I didn't screenshot it, but somebody posted in the No Jumper Reddit while we were doing this, they posted a screenshot of a DM conversation allegedly between Mimo and Lil Durk, where Lil Durk says some shit like, oh, that's that Whack 100 shit. Like he was basically talking about it, but it got deleted out the Reddit. It's not on Mimo's story. You would think that Mimo wouldn't want to be posting anything that
Still
would,
shout out Lil Durk.
that would
And
indicate
shout
that he
out
was
to my
using a phone.
shout out to my new partner, Burner Boy.
Oh, you fucking Brand Boy?
We
That's my
got
guy.
a partnership. He's our ambassador for
He's-
Incredible Diapers in Nigeria.
Oh my God, that's good.
Yeah, so that completes the team. We got Floyd Mayweather, Nick Cannon, Burner Boy.
I'm wearing one right now.
Right, naturally, we got the team, Steve Marcano, R&B, my man Sam, my man Zachariah, you know what I mean? But yeah, like we just locked
Yo.
that in 2 days ago.
How do you
Hey.
feel about your DMs with Drake being leaked to the world?
Oh, my DMs were never leaked. It's not my DMs.
There's a lot of people posting DMs.
I don't
that
know why they
Yeah,
allegedly-
think
y'all
about
was
the-
saying some weird shit, bro. I wasn't gonna say
Hold on,
nothing.
it-
Because you my brother.
A
No,
lot of it
not
was
my DMs.
grand, but some of it
why
looked
was
like
you
it was too,
comparing
right?
briefs?
No, what?
Yeah, the DMs you talking about, yo, what style and what
Hey, listen.
what type of briefs
first
you
of all,
wear?
hey,
No,
let me
for
say-
real. We want to know now. I mean, since he brought it
Number
up.
one, my DMs were never leaked with the boy. But
So that ain't you?
No,
Go on, yeah.
but even then, anybody who I'm associated with, shout out to my man Grand. You know what I mean? As my man Soldier Boy said, man, that's just AI. That's fake. That's fake.
Mm.
So that's fake. You comparing, asking what kind of briefs and what style.
I
Low
mean,
cut or long.
okay, you're lying, but
What?
the DMs that we did see, it seemed
What?
like it's not Drake saying a whole lot, but it does give you a window into what Drake receiving information from his various moles, you included, and Grand also being part of it. Were basically
There's no
feeding to
messing
him.
with me and Drake. This is Grant. This is
A lot of the
Grand
ones
Wizard.
I saw were your icon from
No,
your
no, no.
Instagram.
No, that's me and Grant.
Oh, okay.
That's me and Grant.
Oh, all right.
that's
that
not
makes
you and
sense because
Drake.
why would they have access to
So you was
Yeah.
acting grand about the briefs.
No. Like I was clowning Yes Juice. I was,
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
that's
nothing
what that was.
harmful
All
in my
right. Yeah,
DMs.
okay.
I ain't gonna lie. to you.
At
what's up
26,
with
just
Jules?
make sure at 26 don't show it because grand number in there, and I don't want it to leak.
Okay. good.
Okay, yeah, definitely we should address that. Yeah.
It's at 26 seconds.
Yeah, we don't need to play it.
I mean, is there anything that's like that crazy? What you would think about like a private conversation with somebody who's
One thing that was kind of crazy where Drake kind of alluded that one of his homies was talking to a 14-year-old or some shit.
Huh?
Okay. So,
Yeah, who was he talking about?
Damn, that's crazy.
Now,
You heard what Kendrick said.
No, he was clowning somebody for talking. He said that. I didn't figure out who.
This is why you trying to get on trap falsely, but he didn't do this to you. This is the false
He
narrative.
just said it.
No, hold on.
I didn't hear about this.
But he didn't say it right. And also, I told you, this ain't even been proven to be real, but I'll say this. We have to read it. We have to have some context to what we're reading. If you go to the part of, and I read this, remember again, it's not mine, but it said, I had somebody on a podcast, and they said they were in Miami, and when they were younger than of age, they were talking to a guy that was older of age. The person that was speaking, giving the story, they were of age, but they were saying a previous story about them. So I again, I'm not here to defend nobody, but to incorrectly interpret that, it says Drake was talking to a 14-year-old.
No, he was clowning somebody for doing
Drake
it.
was
Oh my
removed from it.
God.
He was clowning somebody for it. I didn't say Drake.
No.
Oh my
but
God.
That's even an incorrect context.
Cell block 1 gonna be a problem,
It's
bro.
incorrect context.
All right.
Drake,
What the hell?
so a girl, like imagine a girl
Too
who's
much
30
explaining.
saying, imagine a girl who's 30 is on this podcast, be like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I was 14, I was fucking with a guy who was 25.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what the person says. And
Wait. Well, who did that?
so imagine a woman that's
You still
30
in
years
violation.
old. No. So you're telling me if you're talking to a 30-year-old,
And she said at 14 she was hitting. Who?
No. She
Who?
said
We
no.
don't
She's
know.
giving
I don't know.
a personal story about some passion. She said she was dealing with a guy that was
Well,
overage.
who's the guy?
Nobody knows.
Who can't?
Nobody knows.
Why'd you say Drake?
It was in the DMs that.
Yeah,
All in the
hold on.
DMs.
Yo,
What we
Brandon-
talking about,
Brandon
bro?
Drake.
No,
Nah,
we
bro,
should
you
clear it
talking?
up.
Nah,
Hold
we
on.
ain't gonna mix this up.
No, we
Nigga,
gotta
we on some-
find it because no. This is what y'all do.
Hey,
is
yo,
start another narrative.
Turn on the keyboard, hit A minor.
No.
What's going on?
Drake. So the woman who's of age told a story that when she was younger, she was fucking with somebody over age, and Drake says to her, "What the fuck? Like that's what y'all are doing?"
Where that's
So
at?
Drake was shocked.
Yeah.
So Drake was like, he even says, "What?"
Why did you?
If you're going to interpret it as
So
anything,
why
it's
did
him
you
taking a stance
insinuate-
against it.
Yo,
So where did he get that from? Why is he saying that?
but
It's from the DMs that.
because the
leaked between-
Kendrick fans who are like delusional
Stop putting
suckers
that
on
on the
Twitter.
homie, bro.
No, I said Kendrick fans. I didn't say
No,
Kendrick.
why just couldn't be
Because-
regular people?
Just
because the
double
people who
click
are
the
running
middle
the
of the
headlines
message.
saying this was proof that Drake did something is Kendrick fan pages.
No. What?
Hold control and do the plus sign.
They're on Twitter.
Yeah, it's on Twitter for sure.
Yeah,
But
it's
it's
on,
in this video too, right
There
here.
you go.
Okay.
Drake.
All right. Slow it down. All right, keep it going. Okay, keep going. All right. I don't know if this is the one.
Yeah, there's two different
No,
videos
it's
attached
not
to
the
this
one.
tweet. You can hit that arrow to go over to the next one too.
Nah, yeah, that's not the
What
one.
is this y'all
All
got
right,
going on?
that's
here
the
we
one
go,
with
here
me.
we
And,
go.
that's the one with me and
Yes,
Grand,
Jules.
where I said, yo, the bitch should have shut the fuck up. And I said, because she started, I said one tweet out, I said, eat a dick and die. And then she started spiraling. And yeah,
Complex filled with a bunch of woke suckers. You really think that? That's so shocking that you would have that opinion.
I've been telling you that ever since me and Joe left, the last real niggas left out the
Nah,
building.
yeah, for
They
sure.
forward about, listen, and I always told people that they say I was the #1 media personality. That's why I speak my truth when I'm #1. Because when you're not on the list, nobody cares.
Right.
Then there's a whole thing about Cardi super fans were beefing with me because they're saying you said Kendrick was creative directing the album,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not true.
Right.
And I said, Cardi called me the night before, and you know how artists are.
Mhm.
He performed the whole album for me. He said, yo, guess who I got on this? When I get on the phone with Cardi, this is fact. First thing he says to me, yo, before I play this shit for you, I don't want you to be on no pick and side shit. Cardi is not in nothing. You know why he's saying that? Because the reveal that he played later was 3 Dot verses. And he says, yo, Dot is creative directing it. Now, here's the thing. His fans, #1, his fans think he's a liar. I've realized that because I'm like, I'm echoing what the guy said, right? Like, Cardi's not going to come out and say I'm lying. 'Cause he knows what happened.
Right.
But his fans, I guess he's been lying to them about mad shit. They think he's
Filthy
lying.
came out and said that wasn't true. Which is one of Cardi's like prominent DJs, beat producers.
And I can't have a back and forth with him because only if Cardi came out, I would crash out.
Yeah.
If Cardi came out and said, "Nigga, I never told you that," I'm like, all right, bet. So now I need to record the conversation with you niggas because y'all ain't gonna say.
It got you looking crazy.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
real though.
yeah. Listen, what I said, and
But
by the way,
I don't think you would
I've
be
said
lying.
it. I said it. I haven't retracted it. You still see Cardi posting me. You think Cardi's like, yo, Axe said this shit and he's lying on me. He's not clearing it up, and he's still showing me like, come on, you know what I mean? But you know his fans is gonna believe it. I'm not gonna argue with fans because like, you know, they're diehard fans. We're waiting 5 years for this. I'll let it ride.
So this is the screenshot right here of the Drake conversation that we were talking about.
So can we not read it in context?
We can read it in context.
So this is supposedly, it says, I think this was either Sound 42 or something like that, because you know Drake used to have these little radio shows, and Drake says these hoes drunk as fuck, trying to be a podcast poetic with laughing emoji. This is my man Granny says, yo, laughing my ass off. I'm saying, he says I was just thinking to myself like, who even really trying to be deep? What are they saying? I'm guessing whatever conversations happening. You know what Drake says? We edited out so much. The one girl was like, I was. You know what was is instead of is? I was 14. The man was 25. I was like, what? LOL. And then Grant says, nah. And he says, yo, I gotta get out of Miami. If anything, it sounds like when he's hearing stories about women who were younger, not now, they're saying when they were younger, they were dealing with men over age. He's saying those stories bother him to the point that, by the way, also look at the date.
It sounds like he went on Fresh and Fit.
Yeah, the date is 2023. Or the year is 2023.
Oh, so this is before the beef and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is way before the beef.
Yes. So essentially, what he's saying is like, yo, clearly must have had a Miami phase, and he's like, yo, there's a lot of fuckery that's happening here. I got to get out of it.
Yeah,
so that's what I was trying to say, the context, because you know what I mean. I never seen these. You know, Grant has his own relationship.
Right,
People think I'm Grant. Grant has his own relationship with Drake.
Right.
And you know, I have my own relationship with Drake, but obviously we both with Drake. And shit, I read this shit too for the first time with everybody, but I realized there's overzealous people that unfortunately would want to paint him as a pedophile just because, and in reality he reacted.
Who as a pedophile?
Drake.
Who wants to paint him as a pedophile?
The world.
No, they don't.
UMG.
No, they don't.
You literally just said press the A minor button. Like these little phrases,
bro. We talking music. What's the problem? Why y'all so touchy?
You don't even know.
Drake ain't big enough to
name a song. Name a song that its production is based in A minor.
Not like us.
No, it's not.
I'm not musically familiar with that sort of stuff.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I got tired of dude in here rocking his bifocals. I got some too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, why you ain't on my man Trap, man?
He said I ain't the only one with glasses.
When Trap does the No Jumper motherfucking documentary, I'm gonna be on. I got popcorn. I'm gonna have some wings, oxtail. This is gonna be great.
We're cooking, man. No Jumper Rico.
Yo, it's gonna be like how Wack took down the entire building, and only people left was him, Remo, and Adam.
Bro,
I ain't trying to take down the building.
Listen, bro, when them dudes caught them charges they caught, I wasn't in the building. I ain't got nothing to do with that. None of that has anything to do with No Jumper.
This is true.
It's just real shit. Like,
they may have appeared on this podcast, but their crimes happened elsewhere, like in the alley.
Is in jail for has nothing to do with No Jumper.
I mean, Forex is in jail for like hanging out on the corner in his neighborhood.
Vernon Avenue.
Avenue.
Obviously not 4 extras, but I'm gonna be honest with you. If we look back at Wack's history since he's become a prominent media figure, all of his ops are dead in jail. And he ain't have to put hands on one of them, and he ain't had to quote unquote tell on one of them. They all sent themselves to jail, or they got took out of here.
Yeah, but who's dead?
I don't know. I'm just.
Who's in jail?
I'm about to say Jay Prince.
Who's in jail?
Shit. Well, I think Jay Prince is smart enough not to engage. I think Big U sent Bricc Baby up here. He sent a toddler up here to go at Harvard graduate.
If the Pacoima Pyru Rico drops.
Huh?
When's that dropping?
Bad leader.
And you know what you did? You got all of them in the chain gang.
Hey, is the Pacoima Pyru Rico going to be the sequel to the Rolling 60s Rico?
Yeah. I couldn't tell you what's going on because I'm a baby gangster first.
Oh.
I'm original baby gangster first. So
what does that mean exactly?
That's my clique. My clique is 1990. So at the end of the day, you know, it's Pyru first, original baby gangster, then it's PPB. Period. So
you're a hood hopper.
I don't know what the ain't no hood hopper. I don't represent my whole hood.
Oh.
I got it's pedophiles, his rats, his busters, his all that. Within my clique and my circle, we went solid.
How more comfortable did you sleep after you realized a couple niggas that wanted me gone is in jail?
It didn't change. What do you mean?
Come on,
y'all,
Wack.
bro, listen.
Wack, I ain't go. Wack,
bro.
we played dirty. A nigga we don't like.
No,
somebody trip him. Somebody just he get in a head-on collision while driving. Yo, he get killed. Anything that happened to him, we're just gonna be like, yo. I tweeted this out recently. I said, God handling all my ops. I seen Jess Hilarious. I seen her. She was talking shit about me.
What you mean? What's wrong with Jess?
She was talking shit about me. She hated on me because at first when I seen her, like this is years before, I didn't know. I thought she was transgendered. We were in the woke era.
Get the fuck out of here, bro.
What?
Jess is beautiful.
Bro, I did.
Yeah,
but I made a mistake. I guess she's not a...
bro.
Hold on. But then after that, she started going in on me like crazy, and I couldn't even get a chance to apologize. So I bet if it's up, it's up. So again, you know what I mean?
How you clicking it on like that with a female?
Yo, listen. Yo,
Gotta do
Wack,
it.
you click it on with anybody, man.
Jess Hilarious
but
is going
she
to come
didn't
join
do-
No Jumper.
You violated
We
her.
will welcome her here
No.
when she's done with the Breakfast Club.
Huh?
She always was sending these pot shots at me, and I was just like,
Like what?
like just always be like, yo, this guy he misogynistic. Yo, this guy's an asshole. He fat.
You are an asshole.
Well, listen, all I know is that she got fired on her day off, and she's the one who got her sub. Yo, you can't have. Imagine you a teacher and the substitute teacher replace you.
But you remember when they were looking for the female replacement for Angela Yee? They were looking and trying out so many people for months and months and months, and it felt like they kind of decided like, all right, this Jess girl's the best option that we got. Maybe Charlemagne was putting a little bit of pressure to make it happen for political reasons, and then they do it. It's not going that great, so they keep trying out more people. They try out the Lauren Del Rosa girl or whatever, and all of a sudden people like her way more, and then she's mad at Charlemagne and Envy because they're not standing up for her in the public eye when really they seemingly agree with the comment section that's hating on her, which from my understanding, it's like most of the comment section is hating on her.
Yo, fuck what you talking about right now, Adam. Listen, man, Trump back in office, man. Listen, all the woke shit got to go.
You got him elected.
Hold on.
That's what they're saying.
Nigga. That's my nigga. Listen, Trump back in office, that woke shit got to go. And all we figuring out, if y'all think that y'all finna go have maternity leave during the peak of your career and come back and still have your spot, you better be good at your goddamn job first, okay?
You just had a baby?
Yeah, she dipped out to have a baby, and she chose the person to replace her. The person just played better, and they said, you on the bench now.
People love her.
Yeah,
the other chick. People talk about her like she's amazing. I haven't watched that much
You
of
can't
it.
do the 100 show no more, and you say, yo, I can't do this for 2 months. I'm working on my diapers. Yo, Beast gonna run this shit. Then after you come back, you're like, I'm back. They're like, yeah, you back and everything, but we still fucking with Beast. You could be number 2 to Beast.
Yeah, but you know the thing about it? We all run the 100 side.
I know that's 100.
Breakfast Club not like that.
Let me ask you a question.
Not a
Do you
democracy.
think the girl she picked to fill in for her should have said, nah, I don't want this job. That's my homegirl?
Hell
Nah,
no.
because-
they thought they were going to be besties in there.
No, yo, here's the thing.
Working together.
It was, if you're playing football, you can't have 2 quarterbacks on the field. What happened was that her natural role, she's a IG comedian. She's the person who could talk shit. She kind of represents the women who are a little bit ratchet, whatever.
Got you.
Charlemagne kind of covers that box. They lost Angela Yee. She was informative. She was, she was talented at, okay, hey, let me give you the information that you need to know. And here's the thing. Jess is damn near illiterate. She can't read.
Man, come on, bro. Cut that out.
No, there's a lot of
She read with her
examples of
fingers.
that.
Niggas,
Yeah.
Come on,
they
bro.
pointed it out. I ain't lying.
Cut it out,
She
bro.
reads
Reading
with her
not a
fingers.
specialty.
Cut that out. You're not finna do it like that.
No, that's pretty well
That's some
documented.
bullshit.
No.
Nah, come
Hey,
on,
I
fuck
seen it.
y'all
She reading like this.
Yo, she was
Come
stuttering
on, bro.
worse than
Maybe-
Flacco reading.
maybe she needs
Yo,
some glasses.
I know my nigga Flacco can
I
read.
just got
when Flacco's
glasses.
under here under the bright lights and he pressure, he started doing this. But other than that, yo, I'm watching Flacco on his own channel, fluid as a motherfucker. I'm like, go ahead, Flacco, kill these niggas.
Yeah. And
But
sometimes when
Jess
I'm
couldn't
sitting with
read.
Flacco, I feel like, oh, are you stuttering because I'm here?
Nah, bro.
Because it's a little bit like
You know
higher
damn
stakes
well.
when I'm there.
You fuck
But
with
then
her?
I see you with random people, and
That's
it seems
crazy.
like you're not having that hard a time.
Nah, she couldn't read. And it's not you know they try to set up Floyd, but Floyd could read. He just was.
No,
he-
we're not
he
doing
fuck-
no Floyd bashing.
No, Floyd could read. He was a fucking up on
Floyd
the drop.
definitely can read.
Because I fucked him on drops before.
Yeah, we ain't doing no Floyd
Just
bashing.
hilarious. It ain't one drop. Like every time it come into a reading segment, she is struggling. Like it's just one of those things you're like, get it out.
When
So-
you're doing podcasts, though, and we see this with the news, There's a lot of people
shit.
you know that have a hard time reading, and you don't really realize it until they're live on camera and they have to read something.
Hey.
Yeah, are you going to apologize for saying that you fucked her or what?
Oh, you Tasha K?
She wants an apology.
Wait, was the box good?
Her shit probably hit better than R&B.
Oh, hell no.
Check this out, bro.
No?
Don't nothing hit better than R&B.
Not wait till you try that Tasha K.
What do you mean, wait till I try?
That's that good.
What are you talking about, wait till I try?
I mean, that bankruptcy.
What is he
pussy
talking
dude
about?
hit different.
What is he talking
Bankruptcy
about, wait till I try?
Oh, shit.
Talking about wait till I try.
Give it a shot.
Yo.
Nah, she got a husband. We got to respect that.
Yo, I talked to
They got a
Cardi
little
B.
Palm Spring effect.
Yo.
Little desert.
By the way, you got to salute to Cardi B. Yo, so I hit Cardi B not too long ago.
Wait, really?
And I was just like, you know Cardi, people.
You hit her?
No.
Nah,
Come
bro,
on,
come
man. Offset my mans. Don't do that, brother.
All right, good.
Anyway, yo, so you know, this was about like her Cardi B trying to seize another like way that she's making income. And I say, yo, Cardi, I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't like this chick neither. I like that you're keeping your foot on her neck. And Cardi started telling me like, yo, listen, to keep it real, I'm in the hole. I spent over $1 million trying to make this message, but it's worth it. So I'm gonna keep collecting no matter when. And I'm like, I like that dedication.
No, that's definitely some scorched earth shit. You know, grind your op into dust.
Yeah, that's wild.
Shit.
You know who went away?
Who?
The racist chick.
Who?
Flo. She had to disappear. She got to disappear probably forever.
Who does Flo?
Flo, Scott
Storch's ex-wife that had the viral clip of her talking trash to the Mexican valets.
I just seen Scott Storch.
Where? Oh, the clip?
In Miami or out here?
Kiki in the river, me, Andrew Tate, Fresh and Fit Boys, we're there. This nigga pulls up in a yacht. I mean, is he still married to Shorty?
No.
Okay, all right. So yeah, mad business around. I'm like, oh shit.
Sure.
I'm like, I thought he said the money slowed up.
I think it's coming back in again.
Nah, that shit coming back in.
It was when he
bro.
was a cokehead that the money
that
was
nigga
running
pulled up
out.
with a yacht. I'm telling you, that nigga. Again, but you got to realize Scott Storch had money. So like maybe when we heard that he was going supposedly broke, him going broke is like him having our money, right?
Yeah.
Which is like, yo, I can't just keep fucking off shit all the time.
Nah, facts.
But he probably got it back now.
Wait, you just say you were hanging out with Andrew Tate?
Yeah, man. Tate's the guy. I just commented a boxing match with him.
No way.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. You don't fuck with Andrew Tate?
Yeah, I mean, I ain't got no problems with him.
My girl seemed kind of surprised when I said that I would have him on. I'm
Why?
like, what the f do I care? I was just talking to Myron. He said way more offensive shit than Andrew Tate.
Wait, women still hate him?
I think a lot of women do, yeah.
For what?
The sex allegations, the
No, I think that's hate what he say
things
about
like that.
relationship, but like Trump back in office, man. Like,
I mean, you don't see
Where
like
is
the
that?
leftist people on Twitter who are basically acting like Dana White even shaking hands with Andrew Tate is like the most deplorable thing that Dana White has ever done. I mean, there's a lot of people out there still treating him like Hitler.
Hey, Dana, my nigga, but come on, man. Like, yo, Dana was
Him talking to
Dana was
Andrew
two
Tate
pieces
does not
joint, you know
compare
what I
to
mean?
Power Slap. Power Slap's the worst thing that Dana White ever did.
Nah, Power Slap kind of cool though.
Popping though. I'd go.
You do?
You'd get
I'd go and-
smacked.
No, I wouldn't play. No, I'll go and watch it.
I would love to see you do all your videos with a retard voice after that because your brain's not ready for that trap.
Do you think more people tune in?
Bruh,
They'd be like,
I don't like the sound of this at all.
Yeah, we don't.
I don't want to say who you're going to sound
Any more
like.
topics on there before we wrap it? up?
Yeah, I've been on camera almost 7 hours already. I'm kind of cooked at this point, and I feel like we really almost hit everything. Did you see Dejan Paul getting in a fight at Rollin?
Yo, wait, I got to do that. I'm going to be real. Dejan Paul, thumbs up, salute. He didn't run. He squabbled up. I ain't got nothing bad to say about dude.
Yo, I heard a gay nigga got like the most squabbles of it. That's crazy.
That's him.
That's Dejan Paul.
Oh, word?
The one fake. He fake got shot, but he was for real shooting some
how'd you
shots.
see
So he caught a leg as and giving niggas squabbles?
He didn't get shot. What
No,
about
he didn't
Rosecrans Vic kicking him in the head? You like
Yo,
that?
who had more squabbles?
Who was he fighting?
Him or AD?
He was fighting a guy named Big Swift.
Come on, bro. Don't disrespect AD like that.
Dejan and,
No, you say he
Dejan
got
and AD
hands
got
up.
a squabble up. I think
Who was
that's a
Big
good
Swift?
fight. Big Swift is a rapper that is managed by Rosecrans Vic, or at least was. He's from a hood. I forget where. Lush said he'd been friends with him for a long time. So him and Dejan had been going back and forth on Twitter, talking shit, whatever. And then Rosecrans Vic got thrown in it. So there's multiple years of drama on social media between them. Dejan sees Big Swift. Big Swift spits on him. Then they squabble up, get into a fight. Dejan knocks him down within probably,
I
5
seen
seconds
it.
of the fight. And then obviously all his homies jumped
But
in
he
and started
squabbled
whooping
him.
him.
He squared off with him.
He did.
What's been the outcome of some of the beefs I started on here? Like, y'all two, I ain't gonna lie, it's a good combination. Rainwater and the white boy. Who
They had a macing incident.
Rainwater macing.
He was front stage for that
Yeah, he
shit.
maced him
That's
last
gangster
week.
though. That's gangster. Mason is gangster, right?
Jen Lee
Yo,
came
it's-
outside to press his ass, and the Masons came out.
Wait.
Yeah.
Is Mason gangster or not?
I mean,
Or you have to squabble?
that's
It's
your
questionable,
thing.
right?
Yo, there it goes. He
We don't
squabbled
gotta
up.
watch it. Well,
Look,
just don't
look.
put it on the screen. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
shit.
Look, that's him with the.
Oh yeah, they got
Fall
it.
back.
Actually, I guess we could because they edited the whole thing out. Dejan just posted another angle on his Twitter that's way better, where
Well,
you
you
can see
ain't
the
beefing.
action.
Maybe he want to squabble with you over getting shot.
Nah, he gonna get popped for
said he
sure.
should
Oh, you gonna shoot him
Yeah,
again?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
hell
yeah.
no.
Again.
That's crazy. Yo, we'll shoot you the next leg, nigga. Fuck out of here.
It's crazy though that this was our main story for the week until the Bricc shit happened, and then all of a sudden this seemed far less important.
It kind of, I ain't gonna lie. It kind of seems weird me talking shit about Bricc, and I know I'm not gonna hear nothing tonight or tomorrow morning.
Yeah, you guys had
That is
that
crazy.
cohesive relationship
You know
for a
what I'm
long
saying?
time there.
I mean,
Yeah,
you might call from jail, like, you know.
yeah, we're
I'll put
waiting
the
on
word
that.
out.
That could definitely happen at some
Yeah,
point.
hit you yet?
Nah, his family did, but not him.
Damn, he know you fake. Like, he ain't even trying to hit you for nothing, man. Yo, Lou scared to hit me early, man. So, yo, Bricc ain't hit you?
No, he ain't hit me yet.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh yeah, watch this. This shit crazy.
Is it right there?
Yo, does it? It kind of looks like it.
Nah,
He
he-
get packed
Oh,
out,
he
right?
dropped him.
Yeah,
he
look
got-
at
Oh
him.
yeah, dude got dropped.
But you see, even before they jump in, it looks like Big Swift was about to get on top of him.
Nah, bro.
Yeah, and look, he's on top of him here, although he's been kicked in the head multiple
They
times.
rushed him. And
Yo,
they
why
did
does
a fake
everyone
rush.
suck at filming so bad? What is this?
They did a fake rush. Hey, bro, take it back. He was
Yo,
feeding them
I ain't
to
gonna lie.
him.
Big
Yo,
boy
he's
won.
laid out. Look at him right there. He's
Yo,
just laid there
not
like a
only the
fucking
big
whale.
boy won, to keep it real.
Look. Bam.
Wow.
Bam.
Wow.
Bam.
Yo,
Bam.
he ain't
Bam.
playing
Yo,
around.
I'm gonna keep it.
That's the
right.
Inglewood in him.
He
It
caught
came
him
out.
about 3-4
Yo,
with
I'm
that
gonna keep it a
right.
bean. Like after he started connecting them combos, I would have started running because I would have had a Saucy Santana flashback.
Look
Nigga,
at
you
it.
ain't gonna, the gay nigga not gonna knock me out. and
Dejan
try
is
to fuck
our
me.
Saucy Santana for sure.
Yeah, no. If he had just when he knocked him down, just humped him on the ground, big dubs.
Oh shit.
You gay? Like
That
you
would
know
have
what I
been
mean?
hard, yeah. Nah, I
Yo,
would have
so
supported
what
that.
is the dudes? Has he said anything?
Rosecrans Vic.
Yeah.
Nah,
He removed
yeah.
What is-
Power 106
Because
from his
Dejan
bio.
has sworn that he's going to sue Power 106 for
Did he
the
ever
fact
sue y'all?
that he acted like he was going to, and then he didn't.
He said that
really-
if
didn't
he
have a leg
said
to
that
stand on.
if Power 106 don't fire Rosecrans Vic, he gonna file a lawsuit against him.
He's playing dirty.
That was the last thing I heard him say.
Why? Is that a power event?
No, but
Rosecrans
he was
Vic
there as a Power
representing
106
Power
employee.
106.
Oh.
So I feel like the lawsuit definitely has legs. He probably won't have a hard time finding somebody to take that. But
Hey,
I wish the best for Vic. but-
Hey, can we talk about the Meek Mill shit real quick?
Sure, yeah. What's going on with that? I don't even know.
So Meek Mill he quote tweeted one of my tweets, right? So I had tweeted, I said, hey, listen, I'm reading through the indictment. About 30% of the incidents that they're saying, the cops or the feds are saying there's some corroboration, or they're mentioning online conversations or podcasts that either corroberate. Again,
Right.
it's nothing that happened on there, but
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
using it as, hey, this,
Corroboration.
blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And really, I put that out there just for these street dudes to realize, hey, listen, hey, I know some of y'all now look at it like, yo, it's an easy way to get a bag because I got these stories and I could benefit off of it, but you got to look at a nigga like Keefe D and look at other things.
So show it on the
Be a
screen.
little bit smart, right?
And can you flip to the next one? Because I assume that's
Yeah.
where, because this is just a random person saying, sounds
Yeah.
like that shit Meek was saying about you.
It's
Okay.
So,
and then-
so he quote tweets another person who
Right.
says, if you're saying that there's stuff on podcasts that's in the indictment, it sounds like all the shit Meek was saying about you. So Meek then retweets and says, Meek talk too much. Shut up and rap. So he's kind of almost like parodying what people say about him. More rap, less tweets. No more tweeting. You think the geeks want the street guy really from the street talking while they get intimidated and be insecure? These are all bots and campaigns. Now,
so Ack responds, take some accountability, dummy. You cried about violating probation when you posted an Instagram video of yourself doing a wheelie and got locked up later.
hold on. Let's stop there.
Okay.
Let's stop there.
That's a fact.
What Meek was trying to say is that, he's trying to take the angle that it's you square geek podcast dudes that's jamming up the real niggas. And I said,
No.
Meek, you being on this prison reform was because you violated your probation doing a wheelie. I see people argue on Twitter doing a wheelie is not a crime. Riding an ATV in the middle of the street in New York City where they could say you're operating a motor vehicle unsafely, that is a crime, as minor as it might be.
Yeah.
And when you agree to probation, which all these niggas take pleas to be on probation, you say you will not commit crimes, no matter how small or how big. Here's the thing. How did they catch Meek Mill? There's a Billboard article. It literally says Meek Mill and his crew start doing wheelies and start moving a certain way. The police show up because somebody called the cops. No one gets arrested that day. Everybody left by the time the cops got there. They went on social media and they seen Meek Mill in the same location. He posted the video and they realized Meek Mill posted a video of what they were called to the day before. They then arrested him the day afterwards. What does that mean? As a street dude, you posted the video that got you locked up. And then when you get locked up years later now, well, obviously you cried about it in the interim, but now you're saying it's the blogs and geeks getting you locked up. You posted the incriminating footage that got you locked up.
Facts.
Let me tell you this.
If you don't post it, the blogs can't get it.
If you street dudes don't have whack 100 IQ, stay off social media. Some of you guys are really
But also, everybody's complaint about Meek Mill's use of Twitter is not like, oh, Meek, you're not federal enough. You're not airing out your crimes enough. It's just that you tweet like you're retarded. That's the only thing that anybody's ever given Meek a hard time about Twitter for. And I like Meek.
Yay voice.
But he communicates on Twitter as if he's got a 45 IQ. And it leads people. I feel like it's been a big, massive contributor to his public image taking a hit. I think that if he had just shut the fuck up about the Diddy lawsuit that accused him of hooking up with Diddy or whatever, it wouldn't have become such a massive
Keep talking.
narrative.
He got his government mayor friends. Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he talked to the governor about act.
Told on act.
Like, put like this. Like, imagine that governor hit up one of his federal friends and was just like,
there you go.
Well, according to well-reputed reformed gangster Meek Mill,
he says
this is the guy responsible for murders.
Has conspired to have several people killed. That's what he said, bro. It was crazy.
Now, Meek has a long history of telling, though. Like, you see, Meek telling this in the interrogation room, does it on Twitter.
Definitely told on us.
He does pillow talking. You know what I mean? that's the reality of it. When I seen him tell on me, I'm like, if you tell on a civilian, you tell on anybody.
You think Meek ever going to have another hit?
No, I'll give him one credit. The song, he got the song on Friday. They saying it's his best verse. And I listened to it, like, he's going crazy. You know what I mean?
I got to check that out.
Hey, I'll give him some credit on that. You know? But I'm going to be honest with you. Meek is somebody who, you know, if I was his manager, if I was somebody who's working PR-wise.
His voice is kind of, you know, like maybe it's played. It sounds dated. It's like.
Wack ain't like that nigga ever since he doubted that Whacking game win for cheesesteaks in Philly, man. Wack ain't like
ain't no doubt that we pulled up.
Meek just needs to like choose his medium better.
It's like,
if Meek Mill made Instagram, every time he had something to say, if he made an Instagram story post of him saying what he felt, it would be so much less embarrassing than the way that it comes out
Adam,
on Twitter. He's not a native typer.
You're giving him too much credit. Like we this is how I know we look at Meek as a retarded kid in class, because you give him every credit rather than speaking the truth. Think about it.
ESL.
Yeah.
Yo, the reality is this: Meek has had an illustrious career. Most artists don't have the career like he has.
Sure.
He's done. There's no trying to put the toothpaste back in the tube. Well, if he does that, no, he's done.
It's over with.
His sound is dated.
Yeah,
He's a good rapper, but
nobody wants to hear
he used to rap for the quote unquote YNs of a different generation. Those people got kids, moved on.
And they ain't listening to it.
If Jim Jones can still be relevant at 50, I feel like
Jim Jones
Meek Mill got to come back.
456 albums the first week. That's not relevant.
That's a lucky number.
You and 50 at Petty.
That's a fact.
I think you sent me the sales too.
I did.
He did the calculations.
456.
Why you and Jim Jones? We gotta get y'all together.
Hey,
what about Blood Love?
I guess the trip to the park didn't work.
Maybe he sold
Wario over
in the park that nobody
sold nothing.
You sure?
He sold 4, bro.
Jim's doing good.
Bro, listen, that shit make you 3,500. Right? Come on, bro. The nigga spent more on his wardrobe and his video. You know that.
He made $2 million off introducing Kanye to the crypto guys.
When?
That's what Kanye's mad about. That's why he has beef with Jim now.
Yeah, that's what Kanye said.
Why did they fall out though? If he did it, if they made the deal, what happened?
Nah, Kanye told me the story.
He didn't get it. He didn't know.
Story.
Yeah.
No, but I get Kanye, and you know, again, with all this stuff with the Jewish people, I ain't got nothing to do with none of that. You know what I mean? I don't want to talk about none of that shit. But the Jim Jones story, because I even questioned him on. I'm like, kind of understand. Yo, he's like, yo, I gave this man $2 million. No, I ain't giving. He says, Jim Jones basically says, yo, I want you to take this meeting, right? You're gonna get I'm getting a percentage of if a deal gets done. Basically, was already baking the cake. If you introduce me to Ye, I get $2 million. Whether the deal gets done or not.
I've had these crypto guys hit me and be
The
like,
second
"Oh,
deal-
so and so follows you. Can you introduce me to them? I'll give you huge sums of money." And I'm just like, I'm not gonna fuck up my
gotta watch
relationship with
that.
this guy by suggesting such
a lot
thing.
of lawsuits you see.
Jim
that
Jones
top five made
properly
money.
analyzes
A lot
the
of
situation and realizes
lawsuits
that Kanye is going to be open to
come
this sort
from
of
that.
thing.
Because what
Yeah, I
they
guess
do,
so. I
they
mean-
pump and dump.
Yo,
And they sue everybody tied to it.
So second
Been through
meeting, Ye says he finds out about the money, and he says at first he's like, wait, you're getting $2 million, but you're not even like say we don't do. You're not even saying, yo, I'm gonna bust this down with you because that's kind of a play.
Right.
Ye's like, yo, all right, I get it. Jim Jones broke as fuck. He needed $2 million. Yo, you know Ye's
Nah,
like,
Jim's just a gangster.
So he's like, whatever. No, everything's still cool.
Yeah.
He says he doesn't mean whatever. He says we're feeling away because he realized that Jim is kind of being sneaky just to get some money, and he's like, he hates when people use him. He's like, yo, at least let him know, right? So then he says, all right, cool. Him and Jim finna go, he says he wants to go design the new like urban like attire with Jim. And he's like, yo, Jim, let's do it. He says, yo, and this is gonna sound crazy, but it's gonna make sense. And like this is how I felt when I first read, because I'm like, yeah, you're wilding. He tells Jim Jones, he's like, yo, find me all the hottest dudes in New York, pause. That got a drip.
No Diddy.
And basically send all of their fits or whatever and like how their style is and just send it to me in a PDF. Okay? PDF.
Pause.
No. Like,
Yo,
like,
A lot of strong pauses on this episode.
This mind
yeah.
is always in the gutter.
No. PDF document. This is some fashion shit. You know what I mean? Ye's a fashion like mogul.
Right.
Yo, he says, Jim just tells him, he's like, yo, nigga, I don't know how to do that, bro. And he says that was just the most offensive thing to him because he's like, if you could use me to get $2 million and we're trying to work together, for me to ask you of something and you're just like, I don't know how to do it. Fuck it.
I think Jim should take the $2 million and run. Hanging out with Kanye, nothing good's going to come of this in the long run.
He did.
He took the $2 million, he's out of there.
Yeah, I support that decision.
There seems to be these people that will just pay to be introduced to celebrities. I've heard that's how Top 5
Well,
got
the
got
margins
back,
on the
you know?
crypto shit is so ridiculous that if they can make that kind of shit.
$2 million for a meeting with Ye, though, that's crazy. Come on. You just got that for free.
These crypto dudes, money is not even real to them. If they could get the amount of money they probably made doing that deal with Kanye.
Like, what are you talking about?
What do you mean?
Why would a meet with Ye be done for free?
No, I'm saying Agatus met up with Ye. I'm assuming you didn't pay Ye $2 million.
But that's
to meet up with
Ag.
him. No, but that's why that's who I was referring to.
That was his idea. He tweeted, "I need an interview with Ag right now."
Yeah, that's a Kanye play.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, shit, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if a meeting with Kanye could be worth that, depending on what you're thinking. They're thinking if Kanye gets behind a coin, we're talking about market caps in the billion.
Oh yeah.
Yo, let me ask you something. Do you like black people for people, or do you like it because we're interested for you to report on?
I like black people as people, I like all people.
I didn't ask you about all people.
No, but I'm just saying that.
All lives
You be
matter.
fucking black chicks, bro?
Huh?
You fucking black chicks?
I'm
Actually,
just
I'm
curious.
just
Probably.
I'm just throwing that in
I'm
the
just
mix.
curious.
I'm just
Like,
throwing that in
like,
the mix. Yo,
you
you
look at
gotta
us
smash
like-
a couple black chicks just to get that.
Do you look at us like interesting specimen, or do you just look at us as people?
I just look at people as people.
do
man.
you
Because I
report
do
on-
video on white guys. I did the Cameron Terrell story. You know about that?
Yo, why'd you do the Central C joint?
I did the Central C one.
Has anyone heard a response from Central C about that?
Not
Yo, it feels
directly,
like
but
the UK
there was
is
a whole
kinda trying to
situation
switch
off the
on
back
them,
of it.
It's like I don't like what's going on in the UK. Maybe you could put me on a little
Yeah,
bit more
I'll
in the
fill
game.
you in. I'll fill you in.
Yo, so Central C, he's kind of crossed over. First of all, he's huge in the UK. He's huge in Europe and international, right? But he crossed over, and to have a UK artist sell 37,000 first week in the US, that's selling more than Ice Spice.
Pretty
Respectfully,
unheard of, yeah.
right?
It's crazy.
And what's happening now is like the place where he's from, they're now almost trying to do what like we call like crab in the barrel shit from like inner cities here. Like, yo, he ain't like that. He ain't real. Yo, he ain't never did this. He ain't never did. They're almost like kind of trying to debunk him being whatever he's purporting.
The
to
same
be.
thing would happen to any American rapper though that was talking like they were really in the streets. It's like people are always looking
Is
up
he talking
poke
that
holes
crazy?
in that shit.
He's kind of talking crazy.
He
Really?
points
About
out a lot of
shootings and
examples
and
that
people
you or I
ready to
wouldn't
kill
have
for him
picked
and
up
shit.
on.
A word?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know he was talking about. I didn't know that.
Ain't Jay Digger the real one out of there?
Digga D.
Digga D.
Yeah, Digga D goes crazy out there.
But
But that's the thing.
That's
There's
his
like a
art.
whole area. It's like Digga D, Fredo, and Central C, all these West London guys, but obviously they're all kind of in different sets that all have issues, and it's just like a whole crazy thing. But then Central C was just this guy that kind of came out of nowhere and started sort of repping the sets from these areas. And
That
just
was my
inserting
favorite thing
himself.
about that documentary you did about him is how you showed how his music went from dog shit to hard as fuck over the years of him just like working at it. No, unfortunately, the conclusion is you should rap about street shit and act a little bit more street than you actually are in order to make
some
your
people
shit pop up. To me, that was
they say his manager writes a lot of
motivational.
his stuff.
I feel like that shit was motivational to a lot of the artists out there. Hey, it might take you 7 years, but if you really work your ass off, maybe you can land on something.
Ghostwriting, bro.
No, I've got to give him his credit as just like a great artist. He made amazing music. He kind of navigated through the industry in the way that he needed to, and I respect him as an artist. But like at the same time, the reality is he kind of took all of the gangbang and violent stuff that was going on in West London and made that his image, even though he wasn't in it. And that's just something you got to acknowledge because there were really guys that were living that lifestyle, going in and out of jail, that were really trying to use music as a way out of it. And like he basically took over the entire lane.
He's a better performer. He's a better rapper than him. That's it.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I feel like
I don't think he fucks with me. I think it's bad.
Yeah, no, I think he gotta hate you because like your video is like the first big indictment of his character, whereas like it's like imagine the game coming up, like the world is looking at game like this is a super blood from Compton, and some reputable like documentary guy says, yo, whatever y'all believe in is a fucking fraud. You know what I mean? Like in the midst of him going up, like
First of all,
but he was at the top at that point. I
the
would say.
game
Oh boy.
is the biggest blood when it comes to rapping in the world. That's a fact. On Power Rule, and I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna
Playboy Cardi.
Over Wayne.
Wayne.
Yes, over Wayne.
Cardi right now
Fuck
is
is
one
you
of the
talking
biggest
about?
rappers in the
Cardi
world.
blood?
Wait, hold on, wait.
The whole album
yeah.
is telling you he's a blood.
Oh,
Hold on,
I got something coming for you.
Why is
Oh,
Game,
the
why
Cardi
is Game a
documentary.
bigger
Oh.
Don Moore than Wayne?
What about Slum? Ain't he a blood?
In terms of
I
being
don't
more
give a fuck.
famous.
Listen,
ain't King Slum a blood?
I'm gonna say it like
Yeah,
this.
Thugs.
What?
I don't know. I'm asking.
Nigga, y'all comparing Thug to Game?
No, I don't know.
Yeah,
real?
Thug's way bigger.
I don't know who's a blood and
Get
who's
the
not.
fuck out of here, bro.
Are you crazy?
You want to go catalog for catalog?
I'm gonna keep it. No, I got
You
somebody.
want to go
Hold on,
catalog?
I
For
got
what?
Maybe.
Wait.
You want to go catalog for catalog?
Yeah,
It's
I
not
got.
going to be
Thug.
a devastating L if
We
it's
got
an L.
Thug
Game
beef
and
on
Wayne.
what, about
Yo,
8 years?
Yo,
Game.
respectfully, I got somebody who's a bigger
Okay,
blood.
well, let me hear it.
Jim Jones.
No, we not. No, we not. They put him on. First of all,
I'm trolling. Look at this.
first of all, let's understand this. We are
Kendrick?
from the West Coast.
He brought it to Harlem though.
Jim Jones had to come out here to get a stamp.
Yo, whack.
One
you
stamp.
Did he
hate
not?
Jim-
You got
yo,
plenty
whack
of
hate-
stamps.
Nah,
Yo,
no,
whack
he didn't.
hate Jim Jones so much,
No,
man.
I ain't got nothing. Blood is a rat. That's on
He
him.
going to super violate you.
He's a rat. That's on him. So at the end of the day, and you know what the 6ix9ine told us. You just be fun.
Nobody-
Who was the number 2 if 6ix9ine
Nobody
didn't?
don't care about rat
Hold
no
on.
more. Whack.
Hold on, I
Come
know.
man.
If 6ix9ine didn't get on that stand, who was the number 2? Keep it real, Act.
Man, we don't care about rat.
Keep
no
it
more,
real
man.
though.
We don't care.
No,
man.
keep it real. Who was the number? If 6ix9ine didn't take that
Well, yeah,
stand,
6ix9ine said was yeah.
who was the number 2?
Yeah, all right, but listen, we don't care about that, man. We rock with
We
Gunna.
care. Let's keep it
Gunna's our guy.
100. What I'm saying is, Game, respectfully, is the biggest Don Mood rapper in the world. That's a fact.
Wait, are we talking about rap wise, or are we talking about like being actually that
No,
guy?
we're talking about it as a rapper.
Nah, he ain't bigger than Wayne. Come
He
on,
ain't
bro.
bigger than Wayne.
Ain't bigger than
But
Cardi
as
right now.
Street wise, I would give it to Game, but over
Stupid.
No.
celebrity
I'm gonna be honest
wise,
with
you think Game a bigger celebrity than Wayne?
Hold on.
I said Don Mood, homie.
Yeah, what does that mean
What's the
exactly?
specific-
What-
yeah.
Nigga, that's
I don't know. Yeah,
blood.
like the gang member is.
The
It
You
just means
talking
blood
about?
in general, so every blood
Yeah.
is a Damu?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Okay, then Wayne is obviously more famous and has a better catalog than Game.
No, listen. Check this out.
Aren't
Game-
you Cash Money? This should still be
The
a W
game,
for
I
you.
don't give a fuck, nigga. This Power Row. The game
Is Pyro and Damu the same?
The
No.
game is the biggest Damu rapper in the world. It's a fact. Don't go to anything, nigga. Anything.
We're talking about at the peak or
Anything east of Cali, don't talk to me about
We're talking
it.
about right
And
now.
I'm going to leave it right there. Straight up.
What
You
about
ain't
Kendrick?
fucking with
Kendrick
the
don't
motherland.
count?
Kendrick's not a gangbanger.
Not
He
a
just-
banger, but
No,
he's
he's
from a
just
hood,
from
right?
Compton. No, he's
No?
from Compton.
Oh,
He
okay.
grew up in West Side. We ain't doing that to K-Dot.
Well, YG was on his run like he was kind
Get
of doing
the
his thing.
fuck out
No,
of here,
I'm not
bro.
comparing the game though. I'm not like
Get the fuck outta
game
here,
is a different
bro.
level.
Talking about y'all get disrespectful.
I think Game at his peak is probably hotter than Cardi now, and Cardi's hot right now. But I ain't gonna lie,
Yeah.
Game had like the
Yeah.
entire. He not only had the West
You
Coast.
really said
He ha-
you want to go catalog to catalog with Thug. You really said
Oh, no,
Wayne. Wayne. But I also think Thug could give him a run.
No, you're right. Game wins that catalog for catalog. But who was hotter at their peak?
Game.
No, I'm talking about Wayne now. Wayne definitely hotter at the peak.
No, bro, listen.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to
come
say
on.
it like this. We talking this Damu thing, right? That start right here, right?
Yeah,
Ain't nothing outside of here gonna outrank what's started here, bro.
That's like a dude from New York saying hip hop started here, so nothing from outside of here can be hotter than the shit that originates from here.
No, we talking
That's
about
bullshit.
gang banging. You a white boy, don't know what the fuck you talking about.
No, I'm a white boy who
we
knows more
talking
than
about
you.
gang bang. You don't. You don't. You don't know
I do.
nothing about that.
I'll spit shine that head.
Wayne was definitely rapping about a lot of blood shit, though. I'm not saying he's
give a
from
fuck.
here.
The biggest.
That's the homie, but we're not going to give him that rank over the game. It's not going to happen.
But if we're talking music, we got to give it to him over the
No,
game.
we talking about who the biggest Don Moore. That's just what that is. I don't give a fuck who you are.
Well,
You
to
got
be
to
fair, they're
give
both
credit
upper
where
echelon. They're both in the top conversation,
listen,
for sure.
Bro, listen. That's a homie and all that, and even Wayne will tell you. When it come to that, he going to salute the homie.
Who's a bigger rapper right now, Lil Wayne or
I'm
Game?
talking about rapper. I'm not talking about rapping.
Before, I feel like we were talking about rapping.
I said the Game is the biggest blood in the rap game in the world. That's what I said. We're not talking about rapping.
Much love to the Game.
Well, somebody's got to tell Kendrick that because Kendrick ain't been showing him no love, man. I don't like that, man. He should have been at the pop out.
Put Kendrick in a box.
No, but Kendrick was showing love to all the gang members except the Game.
Crips, Bloods. What do you mean?
You think it's because the Game aligns with Drake that the Game removed himself from that?
The Game fuck with both of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think they like the both sides shit.
He ain't played both sides nowhere.
That's why I think he stayed neutral.
He ain't played both. He's supposed to. Two niggas rapping, he know.
Yeah.
Let him rap.
Yeah, but noticeably on the pop out, like we have everybody who's like shit. I think then we have E40 who's doing the voiceover. We have Dr. Dre again, not necessarily speaking about gang members, but just like showcasing the West Coast. No, hold on. But what I'm saying, showcasing the West Coast. Like I feel like
all up and coming rappers hit that stage, bro. What y'all don't understand?
Yeah, but yeah.
If get Snoop wasn't there, nigga, you think you don't fuck with Kendrick? If Snoop and Gang went, that took away an hour from these little niggas coming up. That was for the up and coming locals. Man.
So are you telling me that Kendrick rocks with Game? Because the Game seemed pretty sad when he was talking about that.
Yeah,
He was like, "Yeah, man, I wasn't really part of the shit."
He would have liked the invite, but he's playing both sides, so he didn't get an invite.
No invite to go nowhere in Cali, bro.
Well, you need an invite to perform on stage at a concert.
No, you don't.
You can't just
Could the
renegade
Game
it.
bring Drake back to Compton
If
for
Gang would have popped up and said he wanted to hit that stage, they was gonna let him hit that stage. That's a fact.
Could Game bring Drake back to Compton for what's it called, 100 Part 2?
Gang could do what the fuck he want to do if that's what he want to do.
Is Drake welcome over here?
Of course.
Think so?
Nobody got no issues with Drake, bro.
I think Hit a J3 has convinced himself he has an issue with Drake. Glasses Malone seems convinced that he's Drake's op now.
G Malone ain't got no, bro.
I mean, the way they tweet.
G Malone talking hip hop, talking music. Nobody wanted to.
Nah, they full of hate. They full of hatred for the boy. Who?
No, you're not. Yo, who's the big artist right now? Do you think Drake, Kendrick?
Drake.
I'm not
Drake brought it back.
I was kind of
Drake
shocked
brought
that
it back
Drake's
kinda
R&B
like
album
Nokia.
did 250. I thought it was gonna do 175.
I think Kendrick can surpass it
Hell no.
right now. When we talk about overall numbers,
I think when Drake drops his next solo, he's doing 400, 500.
Yeah. Drake's a way bigger artist still.
250, 350. That's it.
If Kendrick drops an album past all this hype and there's no dissing or whatever, the numbers ain't going to be as good as this most recent one. Why not? Why would it be?
Why wouldn't it be?
People were tuned in because they wanted to hear what he had to say about Drake.
Why wouldn't it be? His last album was great.
The Morales one?
He didn't diss Drake on that.
Anyway, listen to that shit.
What?
There was like 10 years when nobody was really paying attention to Kendrick's music besides the Pitchfork crowd. Let's be real.
What do you mean? Every album he- what was he talking about?
We all know it.
Now 2017 he went crazy.
talking
He sold
about, bro?
600,000. Damn.
Yeah, it was Good Kid, Mad City, then the Drake thing, and in
Damn.
between that there was a
What
gulf
happened to
of
Damn,
where
crazy.
nobody was with
What
it.
happened to Damn?
I was doing podcasts during that era. We barely talked about it.
Bro, because Kendrick don't f with you.
Yeah, but you don't need to f with me. We were talking all about everything else that happened in the culture.
I mean, bro, some shit that you ain't on the level on, you can't talk about.
Name a song off that album.
I'm just saying. I told you, I don't listen to a lot of Kendrick. When I'm watching his numbers, catch me listening to a whole Kendrick album. 1, 2 songs, 3 songs, that's it. You know, shit.
But you be listening to Drake album.
No, I don't.
R&B you put on that Drake
my
album.
female, I don't listen to Drake. I have like 2, 3 songs I may listen to. I don't listen to that shit. Shit's soft.
Yeah.
Whining and crying. I don't want to listen to that shit.
Now your girl wouldn't listen to that. Come on.
No,
Yeah,
that's
she
on
definitely in
her.
the crib singing,
I said she
we in
ain't
Miami
finna-
going up
she
another
ain't
night. Come
finna
on.
drown me out with that shit.
Yeah, your girl's sick of getting to banging on wax.
I don't with music. Are you weird?
Now you can't squabble up. That's
Your
a fact.
girl is banging on wax. She gets gangbanged.
All right, just like that, the episode comes to a close. I gotta go do a gangbang.
Ooh, I wish
you wanna go
I don't
fuck bitches after this?
understand me and the music, right? When you listen to other men.
No, I don't like that.
Fantasizing about the man. I ain't fucking.
I got a lot of
If
old
my
sex tapes.
female turn on a nigga voice, I'm gonna leave you right.
I got a lot of sex tapes from back in the day
You gonna
that got
listen to my
Smoke
voice.
Pert playing in the
I'm
background.
gonna talk to you.
It seems
That's a
misguided.
fact. Now you thinking about it.
No. Well, 'cause I never thought about the woman being turned on by
That's
the
a fact. That's what it is.
by the
She
artist.
fantasizing about what she in. I'm not. If a female ever in her life turn on a man's voice while I'm making love to her, I'm gonna leave the bitch right
Yeah, I don't want to listen to Drake while I'm fucking because Drake is doing something
And then
in the
here it
music
is.
that I can't do.
And then
Drake's-
here
I
it
can't
is.
make music this
Wait.
beautiful.
And
Drake's
then
giving
here
you the
it is,
assist.
Yeah.
Right? While you fucking your woman, she being serenaded and fantasizing about the voice, and you gotta hear a man's voice while you fucking.
You know what's
half
crazy?
gay.
I don't want to
Wait,
listen
hold
to
on.
somebody I
Whack.
know while I'm
Whack,
fucking.
whack. Do you fuck to the sounds of the 100 side
Yes.
trenches on Clubhouse?
The show, he ain't turning that off.
So
You keep it playing, right?
So what's the noises that's gonna be playing? Are you watching Netflix or you say you don't really
I
play
mean,
music?
TV, no, bro, listen, I talk to my woman.
Oh, okay.
During
You coaching
fucking-
her through this.
Yeah,
shit.
that's a fact.
I'm gonna kill you.
I said, talk to my woman. Real shit, but like,
When you
turn on Drake. Her, this what I
whack
want
when
to
you
know.
hit it, are you ever saying on Paru I'm about a nut?
No, I don't do that.
Okay.
Let me tell you what you do. Take your girl, right?
Okay.
And just hit her without no music. Pay attention.
Okay.
Wait a
So
day
this
or
experience
two,
right here.
Wait a day or two, and then put on Drake or some shit like that, and hit her. If her pussy is wetter that day, nigga, it's a problem. And on that note, I'm out.
Yeah, I gotta take a piss. We might as well wrap this up. Shout out to Ack. Shout out Trap Lord Ross. I just saw your booty crack and I feel pretty uncomfortable with it. Shout out to Remo in the back.
I can't do it. That nigga serenade me and my bitch. Why not?
All right. Adam and White Pot, smash that like button. Shout out to Ack, Vlad, Trap Lord Ross, Donnie on the boards, Heath on the timestamps. Let's
Who
go.
you like to listen to?